wanting to. We didn't want to stop doing it. Okay.
Nope.
And so there were some legal challenges. We got everything corrected, and we're in line. We're good to go. As we said, we're an above board show now.
So this will be above board garage sale. We think
the 6th Cody and Gold garage sale, Wednesday, June 10th, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. We'll have some fun during the show with it, but the whole auction site will be up and running. We'll continue to tell you about it for the next couple weeks leading up to it. One, I think the experiences are going to be really fun. There's always the quirky items that you guys like, some really unique items. And then, it's, of course, for, I think, a very important institution here in Kansas City.
Yeah,
and that is the museum.
And I say this not just because we do this to benefit the museum. We originally asked the museum with no official partnership at all. We just said, can people send you donations in year one? When we did it in screenshots through our Twitter DMs. And so the idea that they officially recognize us as a partner, which we love, and we get to raise money for them, we're really super excited about it. So if there are things you think that we've missed out on, that you want to be included, items you think that have come up over the course of the last 2 years on this show, we'll still offer the normal stuff where you can try to block me from doing songs or custom baked goods, or maybe because of your surgery, maybe we'll do can someone do a tasting? A private tasting with you?
Sure.
Where Alex can finally taste things?
Yeah, let's get a private chef and just taste different dishes or something like that. We're going to have some unique experiences. I know I think you kind of were highlighting a little bit. One of the coolest experiences that we know we've confirmed already that we're going to have for the garage sale is that private tour, as you said. At the museum with Bob Kendrick, which is just,
it's a once in a lifetime.
It's sensational. We'll see. We got a couple things in the works. I don't want to mention a few that we don't have confirmed yet, but I'm excited about a couple things. Look, we already know we're going to do something where you can have lunch or dinner with the Cody and Gold show, right? Our entire show, all three of us, Drew, myself, Cody, which is hopefully going to be fun for some people. Some other unique experiences. I think we'll get CDOT and the drive maybe involved. Golf with the producers is always very, very popular, where Drew and the producers will pick a golf course, and you guys can go out and golf with them. And then you can give Drew crap the entire time as he wears an AJ Green jersey, whatever you want to do.
Somebody
on the golf
said
course.
dibs on Drew's Hooters outfit.
That's right. That'll be up for grabs.
Absolutely.
Do we have that washed? Has that been washed yet?
I think did you wash it, Drew? Or did you just put it back in the closet? Somebody's asking, Scoop over on Twitch is asking for your stints. Did you keep them?
Oh, I did not keep those.
Rinse them
That's
off,
nasty.
put them in a
That's
jar.
so gross. No,
I did not wash it after wearing it. I just set it in the room. I washed it beforehand,
it's got your stank on it.
Maybe that's
And I
better
also
for
don't
some
stink,
of you.
so
I
we're good
don't
to go.
know. We
There's
don't
some
kink
real
shame on
weirdos
this
out
show.
there. No, we don't
We told you we
kink shame on
don't
this
kink
show.
shame on this show.
Maybe you like it that way.
Yeah, that might be how you prefer it. I don't know. Also, the stents. But I didn't even think about keeping those. They did show me them after they pulled the stents out of my nose. It was what you would expect, disgusting.
You might remember we auctioned off a photo of the X-ray of my foot.
That happened.
I autographed it one year. So if you're new to the garage sale, we have a lot of. The original premise was, oh, look how nice that these teams do these charity auctions where you can go to George Brett's house and play poker with famous people. And we're like, well, we can't do that. But we still like raising money, and we got a lot of weird stuff. I think one of the best items in the entire garage sale this year is an autographed, authentic Chiefs helmet. And you might be saying, who's it autographed by, Cody? Is it autographed by Patrick Mahomes?
Nope.
Is it autographed by maybe future Hall of Famer Travis Kelce?
Nope.
No, it is autographed by the one, the only, Luis Reese Zammit.
Because, of course.
It might be the only autographed Luis Reese Zammit helmet in the entire planet. From the 816, someone says, can you guys get a hot dog race versus Cody? I'll talk to the team.
Everything's on the table.
If they would allow me to do it, we will certainly try things again.
We've got a couple weeks to finalize some experiences and some items, and we will certainly keep you guys updated. We'll let you know when the site is live and everything. That'll be much closer the week of the auction and everything in the garage sale. But I know there's some of you. I mean, we have. I'll be honest. We have, in terms of items, unless it's something very unique, we are pretty good on items. I know some
we
people are
got
texting
2 years
in.
worth of.
But
so we still got some jerseys and helmets and bobbleheads and some other stuff.
But if you have something you think is got to make it for time reasons this year, the garage sale, you can hit us up on the text line. We'll take a look. And especially if you have some experience ideas. I know there's some people around town that have helped us in the past as well, that maybe they own a local business. They think it's something kind of cool. We're looking for more experience-based. As much as we appreciate, hey, I can donate whatever, we're looking for more experiences that are fun for everybody that can raise a lot of money for the
the hot dog race.
Baseball Museum.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Like every year, one of the experiences that we go to Kelly's and you get to have one of the little framed pictures up on the wall for a year, it's a good time. We obviously like supporting those things. So if you've got any suggestions, we're open to it. But we have a lot of stuff going on, and we're excited it's returning June 10th.
Let's go.
The Cody Gold
Finally,
Garage
we're
Sale.
very happy about this. This has been
Take that, Johnny Palumbo. We're back.
This has been a headache, frankly, for a couple of years, and frustration is something we never wanted to stop doing. So we're very excited to announce it officially is back Wednesday, June 10th. All right, let's talk about schedule release day here, though. That is today. The NFL has done a masterful job of getting us all to be addicted to the NFL to where we care about finding out what TV networks are going to carry Chiefs games and where. But as I said, I think it's important because you want to plan out your fall. You want to find out what road trip you're going to go on. You want to find out how you navigate your kids' activities in the fall. And how about your holidays? Because yet again, we learned yesterday the Chiefs will be playing on Thanksgiving. And we still might find out later tonight that they're playing on Christmas. We shall see. We know the Chiefs as an organization want to play on Christmas. We'll see if they get their wish. But the Chiefs and Bills, there's multiple reports out there now. I guess it's been confirmed at this point. But the Chiefs-Bills.
That one's confirmed,
Chiefs-Bills Thanksgiving night in Buffalo at their brand new stadium. I can get on board with Thanksgiving more than the Christmas holiday. I would rather
it's a
them
day
not
in which
play
I'm
at all.
accustomed to football taking place as part of it.
We're accustomed to it, and it's not, and everybody's family tradition is different, so I'm just speaking for myself. I would rather the game be at night than smack dab in the middle of the day, depending on when people choose to eat their dinner or lunch or however your family does it, and hang out with the family. At least at night, I don't know about you, we're done with most of our stuff. And so at night, you can just hang around and watch the game, and you've already enjoyed a majority of your Thanksgiving versus it's the early game, they lose, and you're in a bad mood the rest of the day on Thanksgiving. So at least it's Thursday night. That's a hell of a matchup if we think both teams are going to be what we suspect they will be, which are two playoff contending teams.
No, I think
maybe Super Bowl contending teams.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so, look, I told you I was hoping they would get a slightly easier run of the primetime games. Chiefs, Broncos opening up on Monday Night Football. Short week, late season, or mid to late season against the Bills. That's a tough one, especially in Buffalo. Wasn't going to be easy anyway. But Buffalo in prime time, Thanksgiving night, that's a stage. And that's the kind of thing where they're going to be late. The thing I like about the timing of it, Gold, is talk about a yardstick test. Like you get into a game where you're on the road against Buffalo, prime time Thanksgiving night, when these teams have had more than enough time to figure out who they are, who's healthy, what they're good at, what the new coach is good at in Buffalo, whatever. It's an interesting game, but that's also, that Thanksgiving slate's nuts, which we can talk about as its entirety. But it's fine. I expect the Chiefs and Bills to be in prime time most of the time, and the game happened to be on the road this year. So I kind of wish thered be a single year where maybe they didn't play on Thanksgiving and Christmas and every other holiday that's ever existed, because I still think they're going to play on Christmas. Maybe not. At least one of the games announced isn't the Chiefs. So maybe it won't be them. And we know that the Christmas Eve game is not the Chiefs. So, or the Wednesday, isn't it Wednesday, Christmas Eve? Christmas is Thursday this year. Is that right? Can't remember now the exact timing.
Friday.
Oh, Friday. Okay. Because remember they were talking about, that's it. It was the Wednesday Thanksgiving game. Because they ended up being on Thanksgiving night. Seems right to me.
Thanksgiving week is insane now. Like, I will say the NFL, they're no idiots. That's for sure. Yeah, I mean, the Thanksgiving slate in its entirety is absolutely ridiculous. We know the Chiefs are going to play Thursday night, but the way they loaded up Thanksgiving, I mean, it was kind of a masterful job. You referenced the first game is Chicago and Detroit. Kansas City's going to be the night game, but including the Wednesday Eve, I guess, Thanksgiving Eve game, it's a hell of a slate. I don't know about you. I mean, you're parked on the couch for the entire week. Thanksgiving Eve, Packers, Rams, Bears, Lions, Eagles, Cowboys, Chiefs, Bills. Like, it is as good as it can get. I don't think the NFL could have done a better job from a just pure heading into a season matchup standpoint for Thanksgiving week. Now, Sunday's games are just going to be, I mean, dog, you know what? I don't know who the hell's left to play on Sunday of Thanksgiving.
You sacrifice your Sunday for your.
But
for that week, I don't mind it though. A lot of people are off of work. You're hanging out with family on Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving is more of a traditional football day anyway.
Cody, how many of those games are you going to be able to watch
on Thanksgiving?
Yes.
And Thanksgiving Eve too.
So Thanksgiving, believe
it
or not,
over that stretch, are you going to be, because you talked about it with Bink, like in terms of you being occupied with things to do and stuff.
So I would say like Christmas is a tougher one for me, as Alex had mentioned, the same for him.
Yep, same.
And so like generally speaking, Thanksgiving has actually been a calmer holiday, I would say, for us than it is some other ones. So normally on Thanksgiving, I go one place, and it's in the middle of the day. So the fact that they have at least put it in the evening means it won't interrupt much for me at all, Drew, other than I can't just zone out after having drinks with my family. You know, sometimes the holidays in the Tap family might be like, oh, look, party, happy time. Everybody
You're going to be hammered
goes,
and locked in at the same
like,
time.
yeah, I would say like it probably changes, admittedly, probably changes the dynamic a little bit for me on the how I handle the day, but it's not like a huge deterrent. It's just a holiday thing. And it does stink. I'll say this. It's the triple whammy of things you normally don't want happening in a big game. On the road, short week, difficult opponent. That's like a nightmare scenario as far as winnability, right? So now I know 2 games for sure for the Chiefs. And the winnability part stinks. Monday Night Football, even though they're at home, but Patrick Mahomes might not be ready. Most people think he will be, but we'll see. Divisional opponent, you know, like those things I don't necessarily like on a Monday. And then to follow it up, it's like the Thursday road short week Bills game. That doesn't seem like, on paper, Gold, a real winnable one. If you had told me it was a 3:25 Sunday on normal rest, I give them a 5% better chance of winning the football game. So from a schedule thing, it doesn't line up great, admittedly. But the rest of it is fine. You know, I expect him to play in some holidays. I've come to accept that as the Chiefs.
The rest of Patrick Mahomes' career, the Chiefs are going to be playing in marquee slots. I mean, we've had this conversation for years now. I mean, I know we anticipate the schedule and it's fun and we're wondering, will they play on Christmas or Thanksgiving? At this point, we should just expect it. I'm not saying you have to be thrilled with it, but we should just expect that this is the case because there was not that long ago, anybody that's been in Kansas City most of their life or a Chiefs fan most of their life, Cody, you and I grew up here, like, you know, there were times back in 2005, we would have died to have a game prime time, Thanksgiving, marquee. Everybody's watching a game at Arrowhead.
Sure.
Or Monday Night Football. We've been spoiled. Now we're like, too many.
A few less would be nice.
Too many games. Let's also enjoy it. I'm not saying that I love the Christmas Day game if that's what happens. In fact, that's the one I do not like at all.
At all. Zero.
But there will be a time again. In 10 years, 15 years, I don't know. There will be a time again where the Chiefs are not on 3 or 4 primetime marquee games again. And so the Chiefs as an organization are maximizing that from their own financial gain. And as a Chiefs fan, you should still, I think, somewhat appreciate the fact that everybody wants to watch the team that you love and you root for. Everybody in the NFL wants to watch that, whether it's they're hate watching, which they are in a lot of cases, or they just want to watch the best quarterback in football and watch Andy Reid, a future Hall of Fame head coach, and go on and on, you know, Travis Kelce, et cetera. That they're marquee television, must watch.
We'll get the full schedule tonight. NFL Nerd, their account is usually very accurate.
Who runs that?
I don't know, but it's got like 60,000 followers.
Normally they're the best one, I think.
They are pretty accurate. They currently have 2 other potential leaks for the Chiefs schedule. Please don't take these as fact the way we're talking about the other 2. First one would be Week 4 in Vegas at Allegiant Stadium, October 4th.
Okay.
That's not a bad time for Chiefs fans to go, admittedly.
I mean,
before any of the holidays. October is maybe not quite as oppressively miserable in Las Vegas.
Am I going to have 2 Vegas trips in a 6-week period?
5-week period, I think. I mean, it would be pretty tight together because you and I most likely will be there in August. We have been the last couple of years. And so so October 4th, week 4 or week 5 or whatever it is, I guess, October 4th against it's week 4 against the Raiders.
Will Mendoza be playing quarterback by then? That'll be the big question.
Absolutely. I would maybe
might be his first game.
Drew
and I joked. I think when
maybe the Jackson Dart when they missed it by a week.
I think when you were gone, Drew and I joked like we were talking about Mendoza and the Kirk Cousins stuff, and like I think Kirk Cousins is going to start week 1, but also when will he play? I'm like, I think Kirk Cousins is not going to start the whole year, but they might have him debut in some big primetime spot. Now that's not a primetime game, but against the Chiefs, could you imagine Mendoza's first game? As a Chiefs fan, I would rather play Kirk Cousins, but that would also add some more intrigue to what could otherwise be
it would definitely be interesting.
Same as the Jackson Dart thing. No offense, I'd rather have the quarterback I know is not very good.
And then what was the other one? That's that rumor. You said there's one
and
more.
And then there's Week 14 against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, for this show, that's a notable
one.
That's
again a road game. That'd be December 13th. CBS standalone 325 slot.
December 13th.
No surprise. It feels like Nance and Romo have had that game covered for the last 5 years whenever they've played.
The 13th, that's probably too late. That's probably close to Christmas time for us to do a road trip to Cincy to watch the Chiefs in Cincy with Drew, because that could be a lot of fun.
How far of a drive is that?
Probably 8 hours.
Is that it?
If I had to guess. It's about 7.5 to get to Indy. It might be longer than that, actually.
Nuts.
Yeah, tickets to that game will be
I'll be honest, Drew, and
a lot.
This is going to sound like a shot because it is.
Drive time?
Week 14.
9 hours.
Week 14. bit of a risk for the health of Joe Burrow, right?
Yes.
They're banking on Burrow being healthy week 14 of an NFL season. That's actually, in fairness, he was healthy week 14 last year. He wasn't
That'll be
healthy
his first game back.
He was also
he wasn't healthy in the middle
He's
part.
been healthy week 14 the last 2 years.
It's the beginning part of the season he's been the troubles, right?
Last year, 2 years ago, he played the whole season.
And then 3 years ago is when he lost the whole season to the injury, or just part of it.
The back half.
back half.
That was the hand wrist thing.
Man,
God, he's had all
600 miles on I-70 East.
Yeah, you just take I-70 all the way over.
Straight to Cincinnati.
Down, yeah.
I don't want to go to Cincinnati.
I mean, I don't want to either, but I think for our show, that would be a fun one given all the conversations we've had on this show for 5+ years or whatever. I guess not. Drew hasn't been with us for 5, but you get the point. That we've had for the back and forth and the rivalry that maybe exists there.
Yeah, it's
The
interesting.
rivalry definitely exists. I still think it's the best. I still think it's the Chiefs' biggest rival because I don't think the Bills count.
Yeah.
From the standpoint of the fact that they hate each other as much as they do. It is
the mayor did a lot to help what you're saying.
The mayor
of
Jamar
Cincinnati.
Jamar
Chase
Chase
talking. I think.
And then what's his name with
Mike,
the Burrowhead?
Mike Hilton saying that.
I will say-
I think that all of that encompassed together. Plus, it's week 14, so I think hopefully both teams have playoff implications, division implications. It's late enough in the season where it feels like that game even has more juice, along with the fact that it's, of course, Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow playing against each other.
I would say the one advantage since he has in the who's the better rival, it's tough. The Bills have gotten to play them a lot more, but since he got him once,
They did.
It's
and it was to go to the Super Bowl. It wasn't
yeah.
like they got him once in the regular season.
But
they got him to go to the
regular
Super
season
Bowl.
games. I don't
The
care.
only
Yeah.
tricky part- the
they
only-
got him once.
the only-
That's the difference between them and the Bills.
The only tricky part, though, is that this was 3 years ago, 4 years ago at this point.
know. Yeah, it's
that's my
starting to
own.
get,
That's
like,
my
ancient
only
history.
That's my only hesitation. Yes, that game absolutely meant more than any other Bills game per se, and they got them. But it's been so long.
They also don't like each other. I think even going back to
I agree
the
with
last
that.
time they played 2 years ago, and Jamar and he got mad at Trent McDuffie and he was in the ref's face. It feels bigger. Like the Bills game, it's like, oh, it's Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes again. Hopefully the game's as good as it has been. Where
He's like
it's
too nice to say he hates the
yes,
Chiefs.
it's like get your popcorn ready. Jamar Chase is going to say something, and it's gonna be a fun game. Chris Jones is gonna talk. It's that week is always good because these two teams hate each other as much as Chiefs fans do the Broncos or the Raiders, or maybe even more than either of those two teams at this point.
What else are we have a ton of the schedule that we still have to learn. What's the biggest question you have remaining? We know Thanksgiving night.
If they play on Christmas, I would say
I think Christmas is the big one to watch. And then I do want to see, just based off of what we think certain teams are going to be. Like when's that Chiefs Patriots game? I think that's an interesting one. I told you I want to see the Chiefs Rams game. When is that? The Rams are a Super Bowl favorite, and I legit think they're going to go to the Super Bowl this year. The Rams, that is. So when are the Chiefs going out to LA? And that's more of a
I always
selfish.
look for the toughest stretches.
I gotta say
That's something
Sure.
I like when the schedule comes out is, okay, where's the most manageable part of the schedule? Where is the toughest part of the schedule? Whether it's a stretch where, let's say, they open against Denver and somehow they get paired up with the Seahawks the week after that. It's like, okay, it's a tough open to the season. Or is it towards the end? Or exactly where do things line up where you could see them pulling away in the division? Or this is going to be a tough stretch that if they can be above 500, they might win the division just by being 3-1 in this stretch or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I think the problem with and we'll do this topic tomorrow, I'm sure, which is the toughest stretch. I think we're going to have a hard time choosing this year because look at the opponents on their calendar. We're going to think of any divisional game against the Broncos or Chargers as a part of a tough stretch.
Sure.
The 49ers won 12 games last year. The
Seahawks,
Patriots were in the Super Bowl
Bills,
last
Bengals,
year.
yeah.
The Seahawks won it. The Rams were almost in it. It's like Bengals and Bills will consider difficult parts or stretches of opponents, especially because those are road games in addition to the ones I just mentioned. Like, the Chiefs are probably going to have 2 or 3 difficult stretches. My question is, will they have any stretch of the season in which we say, that's 4 games where maybe you can take a breath?
Not
Because
on
I think there's a
4
chance.
games, I don't know, but you better,
2?
Not on paper. Now, as we all know, the
Yeah.
season develops and there's injuries. We find out
Sure.
one team ends up stinking or what team's better. But yeah, on paper, after tonight, I don't think we're going to say, man, that's an easy 3 or 4 game stretch. I mean, unless somehow it's stacked where it's Jets, Cardinals, Raiders, and they happen to play them
That
3 straight
actually
weeks.
is the
Okay,
example,
that's
yeah.
about
That's
it. I would rather those just be sprinkled in, right? I mean, there's also the caveat of the Mahomes injury, which we all think he's playing week 1. That's fine, but still, is Mahomes? Would you rather be playing the Patriots in week 8? Mahomes is 7 games into this thing, or like they're doing, which is playing the Broncos week 1.
I'd rather face some of the tough opponents later
No, exactly. I'm with you.
when they get a handle on what the offense looks like after Mahomes has recovered a little bit more and Ken Walker's been involved and the defense has had some time to the secondary's had some time to grow before they got to guard Higgins and Chase. I like that game's late in the sense that they'll have time for Noel Williams and Mansour Delane and these guys to get their feet wet, understand the system. I want as many bad receivers early as possible. I don't want Jackson Smith and Jigba week 2.
Isn't that where you
against a incredibly young secondary?
Yeah,
not particularly.
Isn't that where you'd rather? I'd rather want the. Would you rather? So you're saying you'd rather the easier opponents earlier on in the season?
Yes,
to get their feet wet.
Because you're hopefully having Mahomes fully up to speed and Kenneth Walker and Delane and this entire group. Whereas week 1 you're having a quarterback coming back from serious injury and you've got a lot of new pieces maybe involved. And so that would be the thought. Now I know there's some people that are saying, no, look, just get him out of the way, and then by the time he's fully ready, have the easier schedule, and you can roll a bunch of wins off. I don't think this team wants to get in a position after a 6-win year where they get off to a 2-4 start or something like that. I don't think that's going to happen, but you get my point. I think they need a good. I think they need a good start to the season. Every team wants one, but I just think they need one after a 6-win season.
I would prefer it's not I guess you're asking the bigger questions. It's one of the questions I do have is what do the first 4 weeks look like? And can it get worse than it already looks for game 1? Can it double dip of Monday Night Football against the Denver Broncos and then Sunday afternoon against the Seahawks? And you're like, ugh, maybe not. And then the third game isn't the Jets or Cardinals. It's somehow the Chargers in week 3. Their schedule started off pretty tough last year, didn't it? Now, they ended up stinking. But I felt like
they had Philly right away, didn't they?
They had Philly and the Chargers. Yeah. They had the Chargers week
in Brazil, and then Philly.
And Chargers ended up being, and then Philly. So, and then then it lightened up. It was only 2 weeks. Then it was the Giants and Baltimore. And based on what we know of those two teams, that's when we got lulled into a false sense. They won 5 of their next 6 games after that.
Well, the Sunday night win against the Lions, and I think we all thought against the Lions, and they beat them. That was the turning point. They're good to go.
And then they skunked the Raiders. They easily handled Commanders, and we're like, you know what? And then they lose a road game to the Bills, and we're like, that's normal. Who cares? And then it fell apart after Indianapolis. It fell apart.
One other just NFL schedule note just came out a few minutes ago. Jordan Schultz saying the Giants are going to go back-to-back primetime games to open up the season. So they're going to go week 1 Cowboys, week 2 Monday night in LA against the Rams.
Ooh, tough start for a team you think might win the division.
We're going to get our answer early. I told you, the Giants are my dark horse division champ. That's a hell of a start. Now it works both ways, right? They go and they start 2-0 and you're feeling amazing, but they could very easily be 0-2. Out of the gate. All right, up next, let's talk some Royals baseball, though. After another loss in Chicago, yesterday was even more frustrating. Seth Lugo's now had some poor starts in back-to-back outings. He was not happy about it, to say the least. We'll hear from him next.
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
FanDuel is the clubhouse leader for betting major golf because right now all customers get a 25% profit boost every round of the second major. Use them on those top finishes like top 5, 10, 20, and more. Boost your winnings on anything from outright winners to round leaders to tourney matchups with a 25% profit boost every round of the second major. So don't wait. Visit FanDuel.com/local to download FanDuel and take your swing at boosted winnings. We'll probably get a leaderboard update from Drew a little bit later on in the show. What's going on at the championship? That's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel Sportsbooks, the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm worried. Since your accident, we've got medical bills and you're missing work.
I know. I just don't know where to start.
We call SWL Injury Law the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do.
If they can help us get through this.
We've helped people just like you recover what they deserve. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Graduation season is the busiest time of the year, and you want it to be perfect, so you need to trust Hy-Vee with your important celebrations like we do. Choose from a wide range of budget-friendly catering options like the classic grill out for just $7 per person or the high chai Asian buffet for just $14 per person. And don't forget the personalized baked goods, flowers, and more. Leave all the prep work and messy cleanup to Hy-Vee with full-service catering for any size celebration. So sit back and relax. Your perfect graduation party starts at Hy-Vee.
If the high cost of filling up is weighing you down, lighten your load at Hy-Vee. This Saturday and Sunday, get a 30-cent per gallon fuel discount with every $60 purchase. Stock up on groceries and stack up the fuel savings. Earn 30 cents per gallon with your $60 purchase. 60 cents per gallon with a $120 purchase. The more you spend, the more you'll save. Your next fill-up could be free. Don't miss the 2-day Fuel Saver event this weekend only at Hy-Vee.
You know the feeling. It's 2 a.m. You're awake, running the numbers in your head. Payroll's coming. A client hasn't paid. Costs just went up. And you're thinking, how am I going to make this work? That's where LendSeek comes in.
That was me. I had payroll in 3 days and money tied up in receivables. I couldn't wait weeks for a bank. I went to LendSeek, and within minutes, I saw real funding options. They were clear, upfront, no games. By the next day, the money was in my account. Payroll went out. Crisis over.
LendSeek uses AI to match your business with the right funding, up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours.
With LendSeek, it's not just funding, it's knowing you're covered when things get tight.
If you've been in business for at least 1 year with at least $500,000 annual revenue, apply today. No upfront costs, no prepaid penalties, because in business, waiting isn't an option. Start ready, stay ready with LendSeek. Apply at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code MULTIPLY to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code MULTIPLY to borrow up to $10,000. Use code MULTIPLY to borrow up to $10,000.
Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more. Visit our inventory at ShawneeMissionFord.com.
Hey, it's Gold, and I have exciting news. Ford has announced employee pricing for everyone. Over at Shawnee Mission Ford, you pay what they pay, and you still get the rebates and incentives offered by Ford, along with the top trade-in value from Shawnee Mission Ford, who's on a mission to do more in 26.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Rob Brennan. We hope you're enjoying Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's biggest sporting event. It's presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. New episodes released every Wednesday on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, we're just getting started here on a Thursday. It's Cody and Gold. If you missed it to start the show, we announced we are bringing back the Cody and Gold Garage Sale.
That's right.
Very excited about that. And, of course, all proceeds benefit the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. And the garage sale, it is coming up less than a month away. Wednesday, June 10th, we'll have the full auction site again with some awesome experiences, some really unique items. Anybody that's participated in the past, we always appreciate your support, and hopefully you'll support the museum again. And yes, some of the classics will be involved again. We will have the Block Cody from Singing passes.
And that one always
Those
goes
were
for
popular.
more money than I would like.
Yeah.
I also do custom songs.
That's
for what it's worth.
Yeah, you did do one last time. I remember that.
I've done those before. Those have been very popular in previous times. Maybe it could be to promote your business. Who knows? It'll air on this show. And by the way, that one's not blockable. We've made it since if you spend the money for charity, that one's not blockable. Right. I'll make a promise that if between now and June 10th, when the Cody and Gold Garage Sale is, if I find my old glasses, I'll put them up for auction.
Okay.
If I locate them at any point in the next 3.5 weeks, my old glasses can be up for auction Or, I don't know, we can do an experience where you take a metal detector to my yard and try to find them. But
there are some.
I tried pretty hard, and now I know there's poison ivy there, so you might not want to spend a lot of time.
There are not many limitations on the items we will put up for sale. There's the one limitation. I've seen 2 people text this in today. Not happening. No, you cannot have any leftover pain medication. Those have been thrown out. Thank you.
Thrown out?
Yeah.
Didn't even keep them.
I didn't use them.
I keep them for a rainy day, just in
What?
case.
You're not supposed to do that, I don't think.
Well, but legally, they're mine. What's the difference?
It's a controlled substance. I don't think it's not prescribed for a year from now.
No, but it's not a controlled substance. They're not going to.
It is a controlled substance.
I'm
Oxy
saying
is.
I don't think that applies to me holding on to a medication that belongs.
I
and
just
was
if I don't use it, I just
prescribed
throw
to
it
me.
out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't do that. Not kidding. So I've got this poison ivy, and it's a huge pain in the ass. When I got stung last year by that wasp in the mouth, unbelievable that happened too. When that happened last year, I was prescribed some prednisone, but it cleared up. They gave me like 2 weeks worth.
That's
I didn't
different.
need it.
That's a steroid.
So I know, but
I'm on that right now.
I've used the rest of that for this poison ivy.
You do you.
Oh, I hold on to this. I guarantee you, if you went in my
What's
closet
in your
right now,
medicine cabinet?
any pain medicine there might be muscle relaxers from when a kid was born. Who knows? There's all kinds of just pain.
Throw that stuff away.
Well, what if you got hurt and you just needed to?
Then you get it. Then you go back to the doctor.
Well,
I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying you can't have Tylenol in the medicine cabinet. I'm talking about the prescription stuff. Anyway,
at least it lasts a year.
Someone says Cody waits for a rainy day and then apparently gets messed up. Yeah, I didn't know that was you.
Hey,
there's some people I would have guessed in the building, not you.
Well, I just said I keep them just in case. I obviously don't get through the amount either. I go back. One of the clear moments of, and then we'll talk about Royals baseball. I was having knee trouble when I was working in restaurants. When I was working at Skies, like the rotating one. And my knee was hurting all the time and all this stuff. And the doctor's like, hey, you need surgery. I was like, hey, it's got to be after the busy season.
Right.
So once we get through the holiday, we'll do it. And he's like, no. And I wonder how people got addicted to Oxy during that run. That was like during the time in which there were just like pill mills and stuff. I'm not kidding. The doctor prescribed me for 3 months. I didn't use them, but the doctor prescribed me for 3 months, 40 pills every week for the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's not supposed to happen.
While I was waiting to have a surgery. I'm like, you just want me to take a couple of Oxy a day forever? Well, yeah. I bet those have been nice. No, I eventually threw those away. There were a lot of them.
I bet you got a bunch of expired stuff in your medicine cabinet.
There might be some, but sometimes they're not as good anymore after a while. Someone says, Cody has a glass of wine and a perk.
Jeez.
Chiefs lost.
Oh boy.
It's not like that. I thought we all saved the pills. You just threw them away?
I didn't use them. I was actually disappointed. I didn't use them. But they gave me one the day of the surgery before I left the surgical center, and then I never went to them. So what a waste.
Yeah. Well,
Let's talk some Royals baseball.
Next time. Yeah,
that was a little painful last night, huh?
Look, back-to-back one-run losses. There are 4-7 in one-run games. It feels worse than that because it feels like the important ones that are one run are the one, once again, they come from behind, they're down 3-0, they make it 3-3, they make it 5-5, and then eventually suffer or make it 6-5 late, and then eventually suffer the loss anyway, even though Bobby Wood Jr. hits a home run, and the team and parts of it are definitely working. Here's the problem. They have to get back to what their strength was. What was their strength? We are the best starting pitching team in baseball, or we're one of the 5 best starting pitching teams in baseball. Well, Lugo got roughed up. He got touched up a little. Noah Cameron's been getting touched up a little. Kolek didn't have a good start a couple times ago. This run where they're 5-5, where they're not playing bad baseball, but they're playing average baseball, has come with less good starting pitching. Less good starting pitching is bad for a team who can't cover it in the bullpen or doesn't have enough offense to cover it, or the problems
the base
that come
running,
with it.
the base running, the mistakes,
stuff,
some of the defensive mistakes that you have. You can overcome that if, as you said, what you're elite at is pitching like they're elite. Well, that is come back down a little bit to earth, at least for this week, and it has led to a disappointing series already here in Chicago. I know they have a chance to salvage one, and boy, oh boy, do they need to. Because you once again, you look up and it's like, okay, they're kind of right back where they were. You know, they're still sitting on 19 wins. If you even want to play the standings game, which I really don't want to do this early in the season because I think it's more about getting to 500. Yeah. But if you want to play that game, they're 4 back in the division, just like that. So and you got the Cardinals coming up. You've got the Yankees, the Red Sox, all on the horizon. The rest of the Mariners.
It's not getting easier the rest of the month.
No, it's not. So and Lugo having 2 back-to-back outings like that is pretty stunning. Yeah. He was ultra frustrated last night. He was talking about the challenge system as well. Listen to this.
I think we need to, me personally, need to just be a little more conscious of, if I execute a pitch, then be willing to raise the challenge, instead of worrying about getting it wrong and losing one for the hitters. So I think that'd be beneficial.
Do you want to challenge more yourself personally? I know you guys as pitchers have stayed away from that. It's the early part of the season.
I mean, the top part of the zone, it's pretty hard to tell. I knew in the first inning I got at least a couple of them right in my mind, and then I went back and looked and they were all right. So after that, I was challenging them. I knew they were there. I did one, but Diaz got credit for it. But I was ready to go after that. So I think just getting better about how we're playing the game, the different rules and how much of a difference that makes. I mean, for years you get one off the plate and it's not there, but batter can't do nothing. So if they're going to get us, then we got to get them. So we just got to really be more strategic with how we use it and make sure that we know what we're doing out there.
Do you like that it's in the game?
I do. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can think about just about every game I had, good or bad. I think the size of the strike zone was a contributing factor. So if we're going to be more fair and we're going to have the challenge system, and we got to use it the right way.
I mean, look, admittedly, he probably had some self-realization last night because he looked pissed on the mound. He had a 26-pitch inning. He's giving up runs. He looks frustrated. He doesn't agree with the calls. Tap your head.
Right. You're a vet. They should let. I mean, he should be someone he's allowed to certainly do that. He calls his own game. I know it's a little bit different for him compared to where Salvi or Carter would be doing.
I understand that the Royals have largely adopted the catcher will do it. They see it better. They have a better angle than you. They'll always have a better angle. They're looking at the pitch the entire time. And so for the most part, that's been the Royals thing. But if Seth Lugo wants to take control of his season and says, I'm gonna tap my helmet when I know it's off, then let him for a little bit, because at least in the meantime, or his hat, I guess in his case, but in the meantime, he can at least figure out that where the system is and if he's right and if he's correct in his identifying it. But the starting pitching has got to be a bigger thing. And last night, look, it's small things. Q doesn't bother me as a manager in total, but small things do bother me. Last night, Lane Thomas comes up with runners on, hitting from the right side of the plate, and his splits against lefties or righties are significantly different. And Jack Caglione, who plays the outfield, is standing there, and his splits against lefties and righties are different. And so, part of it is just, how is that not a pinch hit? You seem to play the numbers 99.999% of the time. The numbers say Lane Thomas doesn't hit there, Cags does. Why didn't Cags hit? And so, sometimes it's it seems like they're going with the numbers all the way up until the couple of times where it continues to make sense. And I'm like, are you going to do it? And they had, hitting-wise last night was frustrating. They had runners on just like the night before. Multiple times.
All year.
Multiple runners on, nobody out, one out, just get a runner home, strikeouts, ground outs, double plays, running into outs. They did that again last night. The feeling you don't want to do is come out of this series and then all of a sudden feel like now the White Sox have jumped you into the Division 2. Now they're ahead of you in the standings. I just mean from a franchise
organizationally with where they're
organizational,
at, their minor league system and the guys they have coming up. And I do understand that the Royals over the last couple of years have had plenty of guys come up and are contributing, to the big league club. I think it's pretty obvious what they've all of a sudden got out of some of those guys, and so the farm system is not where you want. But yeah, you got to be careful about looking at Chicago now and wondering, are they in the exact same spot as you organizationally, all just like that? When you were just in the playoffs in 2024, the White Sox were one of the most embarrassing teams 2 years ago in baseball. Or didn't they break a record, or at least tied it or something? But didn't they? I don't know what the exact win total was, Cody, but they set a record,
all-time record. Yeah, they were pretty bad.
That was not that long ago, and
when
they're
Royals beat them
now
12 out of 13 games or something.
They're already now in a similar spot as the Royals, just like that. Now it's a long season. I don't know. I don't think we should guarantee the White Sox are finishing ahead of the Royals.
I would still assume the Royals will. Odds markets will tell you the Royals will finish ahead.
Now people are understandably ticked
they won
off.
41 games just 2 years ago.
Yeah, and here they are,
2024.
Here they are, 25+% of the way through the season, and right now they look like a better baseball team. I'm not convinced that they will be by the end of the year, but they are
100 games 3 years in a row.
Yep. And then, you got people that are, of course, upset. Last night, Vern, we had Vern on the show yesterday, and we were asking him what the fan reaction has been. Did you hear a caller last night?
No.
Vicky, okay? Oof. Drew, have you heard this? Oh, you're going to love it. This was
When they get mad, they get mad.
This is horrible to watch. I have to turn the game off. Can't watch them lose. I can't see pitchers giving away games when the batters are getting runs. You can't do that. What is wrong with a manager not letting Lynch go? 5 innings. Half an inning ain't just going to cut it anymore. I'm paying too much to watch the game. Yeah. To have no production from people who were supposed to produce. Am I not correct?
Not sure.
Well, yeah, you're getting paid to do the right job. They can't do it, then say, I can't cut it, so get out of the game.
Man, she's saying quit.
I love how Vern is just sympathetic. Yeah,
I'm trying to decide if you're right or not. Not sure.
Not sure.
Not sure.
Am I not correct?
Not sure.
I just like it's so funny.
Oh, man. Baseball, baby. Living and dying by each night with 162 games scheduled.
She's sick and tired of paying for it, apparently.
Yeah, well, that's more than
Which is fair.
We continue to keep an eye on the NFL schedule leaks. Do we
Okay.
still trust this NFL Nerd account? We mentioned the two that they mentioned earlier.
Just give it with the caveat that it's a rumor.
This
you know?
account has been pretty accurate so far. They're the ones who have, obviously, everybody has the two Chiefs games that we know, the Thanksgiving one and Week 1. That account, who also has them playing Week 4 against the Raiders and Week 14 against the Bengals, now says the Chiefs will take on the Colts for Sunday Night Football in Week 2. Are you here to tell me that it's going to be back-to-back primetime games?
Well, then, I mean, is there any doubt about Mahomes then at that point?
I mean, if they're just going to load up primetime games to open up the season, it's hard to. I guess that gives them slightly more time.
Daniel
to rest
Jones
going into it.
should be ready to start the Colts season after his injuries. You'll have two quarterbacks in that game. Actually, the first 2 weeks are that we're just going to see two games with both teams' quarterbacks with big injuries, Bo Nix, Mahomes, and then Daniel Jones and Mahomes. We're just going to have 2 straight weeks of quarterbacks coming off injuries in prime time. Okay.
I just
I mean, the Colts, I don't know what you guys think bigger picture about them. I think they will maybe be pushing for a wild card spot next year. I thought the Colts were so fluky last year before.
I don't even think they'll be pushing for a wild card spot. I think they might win 6 games, 7 games.
Okay.
What about their team seems sustainable from last year? It didn't seem sustainable when they were winning in the middle of it.
Lost Michael Pittman. They still have Jonathan Taylor. Early in the year, Jonathan Taylor's fresh. The Chiefs' run game would get tested pretty early on. The interior, see if Tonga's addition and Peter Wood's addition would help. So that's just a rumor. Again, that's not confirmed, but okay. Let's file that one away. Colts, Chiefs, Week 2 maybe. Sunday Night Football in Indy. Is that what you said?
They brought back Alec Pierce,
in
right?
Indy? Yeah, they did. Alec Pierce got the big deal. Is that
I don't remember where that game is.
I guess I can answer that real quick.
Hold on. Let me see. I don't remember.
I can find that out.
That game is, I don't remember if that one's on the road. No, that's at home. It would be home.
2 home prime time, and then clearly go. And then that would make sense with the Raiders game maybe being Week 4 on the road.
Might be.
Week 3, who knows where they're going.
Look, I will say there's a worse start to the schedule if it's Colts Raiders, at least in the first 4. Like, that's 2 of the easier-ish opponents they have on what appears to be a difficult schedule. Because, and you and I talked about this, the Chiefs' strength of schedule is the 5th toughest in the NFL this year. They're not getting the real benefit of, oh, wow, look at them. And I'm not saying it's the end-all, be-all. It doesn't tell you everything. It is a lazy way to evaluate a schedule on its entire premise. But it's also not nothing. This is the winning percentage of the teams from last year. If anything, in the Chiefs' case, it somewhat tells a lie because of the teams who did worse, who we would expect to be better. Teams like the Cincinnati Bengals, who did not win that many games, that we would expect to be better based on their winning percentage, or, a couple of others kind of sprinkled in there. Now, do I think it's inflated by the number of games the Broncos won, the Jags won, and the Patriots won? Will any of those 3 teams win the number of games they won last year? No, probably not. But I would say the Chiefs have at least a league average difficult schedule, even if the strength of schedule says it's 5th hardest.
Yeah, I don't think when the season ends it'll be that. As you mentioned, the turnover in the NFL is so great. That's why we love the regular season parity. Maybe the playoff parity is not always there. It was last year, but in general, it's regular season parity. And so there's so much roster turnover that I think we've discussed this from a gambling point of view for a couple of years on sports betting. The strength of schedule that I like using, and I say I think you agree.
Sports gamblers.
Is the win totals are more of a judge of the strength of schedule, the over-unders preseason, than the opponent win percentage from the year before, where some of these teams have a different quarterback now. Like, I don't care what even the Raiders. So, like, the Raiders' opponent win percentage is .529. Well, the Raiders on the Chiefs schedule, I'm not saying they're going to be worlds better, but, like, we're judging them with Geno Smith versus now maybe Kirk Cousins or Mendoza. I can't use last year, a new head coach. There's too many variables that have changed. So I like to look at the win totals and who has, if you could go, and we can do this, who has the highest win totals on their opponents, right? Some teams are 9.5, 5.5, 10.5, whatever. That's to me a better judge of it, because I do think the books are a little more knowledgeable on some of that versus just basing it off of win percentage from a year ago where the roster and coaching staff could be completely different.
Warren Sharp put that out. Not
Okay.
surprising.
Yep.
He's very good about that.
What does he say?
Strength of schedule, he would have the Chiefs as the 10th.
Okay, so 5 spots better, I guess, if you're easier. I guess maybe the right way to phrase
he's
it.
got it in the green. Does that mean 10th easiest or 10th hardest?
Well, green should be easy.
10th easiest.
So it's complete opposite of
Yeah,
that's the
based
point.
based on forecasted Vegas win totals right now, the Chiefs would actually have the 10th easiest schedule in the NFL. Some of them still hold true, right? Saints would have the 2nd easiest. Bengals would have the 3rd easiest. Browns would have the 4th easiest. Those are some of the teams that, based on last year's wins, it would be the hardest. And then some of the other teams you would find that are kind of in the middle. But the Chiefs would be on the better end of strength of schedule, with pretty much everybody in the NFC West being screwed and the NFC East being screwed. That's a huge chunk of the teams that are just getting the absolute worst of it. That coupled with somehow Dolphins have the 2nd worst and the Cardinals have the hardest.
Okay.
Cardinals picking number 1 overall next year? They got the hardest strength of schedule based on win totals and
it could be.
stink.
They could be.
I think they should just start Carson Beck week 1.
And then next year, set
What's the
yourself
point
up
of
to
starting
draft.
Jacoby Brissett? Just start Beck and see.
And then in 27, you got Dante Moore or Arch Manning or something like that with Jeremiah Love and Marvin Harrison Jr. if he figures it out.
And if Beck was the goods, I genuinely, part of the reason with Beck is I don't want to find out weeks. I don't want to I start him week 9 and he looks pretty good and I maybe talk myself out of no, hell no. I want to start him from if he's good right away, he's great right away, he looks great right away, and I get to do whatever the hell I want. Then I'm not picking 1st overall anyway, and I solve my problem. But if the guy just stinks, I give him 17 games and the guy can't play, who cares? I'll stick a quarterback in next year's loaded draft.
One other schedule note, not directly Chiefs related, but you can start to, cross-check some of the reporting and figure out and eliminate certain weeks that the Chiefs could be playing certain opponents. Jordan Schultz just tweeted out the Bengals will open their season at home against the Bucs. So Joe Burrow against Baker Mayfield week 1. That's how Cincinnati will.
I'm not mad at that at all. Thank goodness they don't play
matchup.
a good defense. I was worried it was going to be Browns again or it was going to be Texans again. Can we please just?
But the Bengals defense is going to get tested right away. You would think.
Oh well, yeah, that's totally fine. I'm talking about them facing a good defense.
Yeah.
Where were the Bucs last year? They were below average, weren't they?
They were 8-9, weren't they? And they missed the playoffs.
They definitely missed the playoffs.
I meant as a defense. Sorry.
What's his name retired? What's his name retired? The
Levante David?
Yeah.
Yeah. But also he wasn't.
Their defense is fine. It's just not this. It's not. Yeah. I was worried they were going to play Houston in week 1 or something like that. I think, please.
A top tier defense.
Anybody else than a good defense just for week 1, please.
The good news is you got a league average one. We'll keep an eye out on those schedules, obviously, as things go on. I did see your former Jayhawk, Darren Peterson, was in the news. Again, the NBA draft comes around the corner here.
June 23rd.
Not terribly far, so a little over a month away. Dabonza looked depressed that the Wizards got the number 1 overall selection. It seems like everybody's trying to downplay their stock to get further down the draft.
Well, yeah, it's better franchises.
He said he changed his position. He said he views himself as a point guard.
I got to say, Darren Peterson was talking about having his high school pop, and that still is easily the single biggest surprising thing to me in watching Darren Peterson play versus, I think, the bill of goods I was sold as the type of player. He didn't look like he could jump. He didn't look like an athlete. He didn't look like the best athlete on the court. I thought that's what I was told Darren Peterson was. Not the most skilled, but also could just jump through the roof. And I don't feel like I ever saw that out of Darren Peterson. He says it's creatine. Is that what I saw?
Well, so 2 things. Yeah, so there was the report last week. I wasn't on the air during it.
We talked about that one a
little. But the creatine report, which his team, and he was saying that creatine was causing him to have full body cramps. Now, I do not claim to be some workout expert. I am still very new to the whole thing. I do take creatine. One thing I know, you got to drink water. But I also know it's the safest supplement that's out there. So the creatine is not why he was having full body cramps. There might have been other stuff. I just don't buy the story. Yeah. I hope, by the way, it is behind him for his sake. But I don't think it was creatine. We figured it out. We're all good to go. No, there was other stuff going on, obviously. There had to have been. Now, he claims
neurological thing or something.
He claims that he is back to high school form.
Yeah, I feel like I'm back at that level now. Obviously, I wasn't where I wanted to be, just with what I had going on. But I feel like I'm back at it now.
What's the difference of being able to get back at it? What's changed for you?
Figuring out what it was, and that kind of helped my mental as well. Because when something's wrong, you don't know what it is. It can be rough. So helped my mental figuring out what it was, and then now just getting back to it, feeling good.
The biggest part, based on the reporting during the season and then towards the tournament when we found out more details, I could see if you really didn't know what it was, though, I can't imagine how that's impacting you mentally. So maybe that is the biggest thing for him, is that mentally he is free again in his mind and can just go play basketball. Maybe that's the biggest thing. I just don't buy that the creatine stuff was causing him to have the full body cramps, and all year that was the issue because he was worried about cramping up again because of creatine. Come on. And I've defended him all year, and I still think people at times were way off base with what they were saying about the kid during the basketball season. But I'm also not going to buy his agents in camp now trying to act like,
he's fine.
It was just creatine.
I think that I'd still, genuinely, if I were an NBA team, I might take him third or fourth. I might take Caleb Wilson.
I'd still draft him top 3.
I'd take him top 5, but I'd be a little more reticent than I've ever been. Not just because of this, but because I'm not sure what's actually behind him. I don't even know what's actually going on. I know what Caleb Wilson's injury is, and I saw him be an elite level athlete before that. I know AJ, I know their athleticism. I've seen it. I have to assume high school Darren Peterson is the athleticism he possesses.
That was not that long ago. That wasn't 5 years ago. I mean, that was
a year and a half ago, probably now at this stage.
Yeah.
And he hasn't looked the same since. So I don't know. I'd be a little bit leery of it, but this just feels like a weak ass excuse or a way to try to get himself to the Bulls at 4.
That's
why he said he was a point guard. That's not his position. He playing point guard.
No, because Washington, of course, has Trae Young and stuff already, and you're starting to look around at that roster.
Keontae George and Isaiah Collier on the Jazz. You're not going there.
So that I do think his team is trying to position himself to get to a different spot. We'll see if it works. Do we all now just think AJ is going number 1 overall? Is that kind of the consensus?
Yeah, I think we're going number 1.
Yeah, I think so. He's the heavy favorite. He's 1 to 4.
I think Caleb Wilson could be the best player in the draft, though.
Okay, that's your guy.
I think Darren Peterson also.
I still think Darren Peterson's worth the risk at 3.
So do I. The perfect place for Darren Peterson would have actually, in my opinion, been the Pacers because he didn't have to be the star. I
didn't even get a chance to talk to you about that.
You don't have to do the media, Darren. You don't even have to be the best player on the team. You can just show up and play. That's all you got to do. I don't think I think that would be the best place for Darren. Instead, he's going to be. Maybe if he goes to Utah, he's not the face of the franchise because they already got Lowry Markin in. They've already got Keontae George and those guys. Jaren is there. He wouldn't have to be the guy right away necessarily. That's the face of, if you're going to Washington, you are the face of the franchise.
No doubt.
If you're going to Memphis, they're probably trading Ja. You are the face of the franchise. So.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to talk to you about Drew, your Pacer.
Oh, they got
lottery.
screwed.
That sucked.
They got screwed.
They tried to tank. It was the right move under the rules at the time. And it just didn't work out.
3 of the 4 teams that were supposedly tanking either didn't have a pick, the Nets have the 6th pick, and the Kings have the 7th pick.
I gotta say, the NBA,
shout out to Adam Silver.
They have a very difficult time getting away from the lottery is rigged because every year it just comes up exactly the way the NBA front office would like it to come up.
They need to just
which makes it seem awfully fishy most of the time.
The way that you solve it though is you do the ping pong balls live. I know it's going to be a stupid process, and it looks dumb, and it's boring.
But then it ends all doubt.
Everybody is watching the ping pong balls.
We're getting a live stream the day
obvious.
before, where it's live, but it's not a part of the broadcast.
Now people will think that's fake too. I mean, it's got. I
mean, people still think they didn't land on the moon and all this other stuff. So
there will always be somebody claiming something
but
didn't
maybe
happen.
Less.
Doing it like the World Cup draw or the Champions League draw, where you can go and watch it live, is the way to do it, in my opinion. If you're going to keep doing the lottery.
All right, coming up next, let's get back into some Chiefs football a little bit. And one thing that used to happen all the time with this football team that Cody thinks needs to start happening again. We'll tell you what that is next.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Cole Reagans, and you're listening to Cody and Gold. Weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Graduation season and Memorial Day are here, and whether you're celebrating a new grad or honoring the holiday, Smokehouse Barbecue makes it easy. Planning a big bash? We do large parties right. Host your crew in one of our private banquet rooms, or let us bring the party to you with professional delivery and catering for any gathering. If you're going to fire up the grill, don't forget the sides that steal the show. Grab a pint of Smokehouse famous beans and their amazing mac and cheese as well. Visit them in Gladstone, Zona Rosa, or Independence, or at smokehousebbq.com.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more, getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Hi, I'm Carter.
And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack.
Jack had a home he needed to sell fast.
And Jack thought he had it all figured out.
So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers.
Jack chose the highest offer.
But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out,
leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do.
Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer.
Jack got suckered.
Make sure you aren't hung out to dry.
Call our dad at Rex Buys KC.
Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals.
No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises.
Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process.
Now, don't be like Jack.
Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com.
Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
As a fitness coach, my active psoriatic arthritis can slow me down. With Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, I'm treating my skin and joint symptoms so I can keep moving. Skyrizi, a prescription-only injection for adults, helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And for those who have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible. With Skyrizi, there's no daily dosing. It's just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
Range Bait with Dusty Likens is now up on the Fan's YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter channels. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
11 o'clock hour here on Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. Of course, video stream up and running, brand new 4K cameras. Very excited about the video setup. Looks awesome. You guys can watch it on YouTube, Twitch, X, and Facebook. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube if you have not already subscribed. So appreciate you guys bearing with us when we were switching over, but it looks the best it's ever looked. Plain simple.
Yep. We look nice. We're now the
we'll let the people decide that. Yeah.
The eighth best looking mid-market midday show. We weren't even, by the way, we have cratered in the rankings.
Yeah, we have.
Do you guys not like us anymore? What happened?
Yeah, we definitely have. I don't know what it is. If it's, if we need to grow out beards, if what we have to
Maybe.
do.
We'll do what it takes.
Something has changed. We're just getting older is what it is, I think.
Maybe that's what it is.
You
I do think one of the items I looked into last year before the Cody and Gold garage sale stuff happened that I think I want to take place is maybe we can put our faces on an album cover. What do you think about a custom vinyl? One only of all my songs. One pressing.
I don't hate
a
that.
single pressing of a bunch of songs. And I'll put the ones that never got released on there. You want the George Karloftis song to the AJR song? It's recorded. Nobody ever heard it, but it exists. You can have that one too. You can have all the mess ups over the years. You can have the suckiest, or you can request that one's left off. We've never replayed that one. We did play it last Friday though. We got out of the show last Friday playing Happy Mommy Day.
Oh,
do you remember when I made that one?
Yeah, not to be confused with
Daddy Day.
Happy Daddy Day.
Well, it was to the same beat. We made it because somebody said you had that one for that one worked for Father's Day still. We needed one for Mother's Day. So we'll see. We'll get out there. From the 785 said us loyal listeners, we're still out there. We'll make it work.
Someone says, got surgery, didn't even look Mac surgery to chisel the chin out.
Got to get it pointier,
Yeah, I did not do any of the facial reconstruction. Cody was convinced I was doing that.
Look maxing and ball maxing, maybe.
Yeah, the ball maxing.
I can't confirm that in any way, or I don't want to.
Never consider the ball maxing. I think we're good there. I think we're good. That wouldn't really help our show get higher in the rankings.
Not unless we were going to start getting real and decent on the video stream.
Yep.
Not unless this was turning into Cody and Gold, and then after 7 p.m., it's Alex's OnlyFans account.
Yeah, that's
in crystal clear 4K, Drew.
That's scary to think about. That's really scary.
Which part?
OnlyFans.
I still don't understand that.
I'd also get fired.
I think it'd be one of the
on top of everything else.
One of the single funniest bets this show could make, though, is forcing somebody to open like a foot account for like a month. Or until you earn $500 or something. Until you make a certain amount of money, then you can close the account up.
We don't.
You got to make $500 before.
That's gross.
Oh, it'd be funny though. Oh, it'd be so good. Let's talk about the Chiefs though. Then we can get back to the Royals or some of the other schedule stuff that continues to come out. That same account is now saying the Chiefs might play a late season primetime game against the Patriots now in Week 15. So we can talk about that and some of the other NFL related stuff. But I will say, I was talking yesterday, you and I were in the show, and it hit me then, honestly. We're talking about tight ends and how the 2 tight end sets and how they were behind on running back and all this other stuff. And I was like, what the hell happened here? When did we go from the Chiefs have to catch up to everyone else and not the Chiefs show everyone the way? Can we, on offense, maybe that isn't why they do the 2 tight end, but it'd be nice for once to see you leading the pathway or showing the pathway on offense or defense and the way to build a team. Now, I will say the Chiefs do it different than anyone else. They built through secondary and have for a number of years. And because cornerback pay is going up, maybe the league is trailing them a little bit in that area. But it has been years, Gold, since we said, oh, look at what the Chiefs are doing. Even one play, even a single setup or a single formation. And said, oh, there's the Raiders doing the thing the Chiefs do. Or there's the Rams copying off Kansas City. What happened? They got to get back to that. Get back to the creativity that has the league following you, not the other way around.
Ideally, yes. I think how we got here is, look, they pushed all the chips to the center of the table when they were in the middle of the dynasty run and going to 3 straight Super Bowls. They were maximizing the roster that they had. They were willing to maybe risk the future a little bit from a roster standpoint. And then on top of that, as we've said over and over, as much as I agree that Andy Reid has to adapt, and he has shown his career he will, and the biggest test might be this particular season, but they were winning on average, 13 games a year. They were going to AFC title game after AFC title game, Super Bowl after Super Bowl. And so it's very difficult to talk anybody. I don't care whether they're talking sports or anything else, Cody. If everything is going great in your life, and let's say, from a financial end and everything's good, you're like, why do I need to change my, if you feel good about your diet and your workout routine, like why am I changing that until it doesn't work? And yes, you need to stay in front of everybody. But I think when you were at the top of your game, in this case, the Chiefs were for many, many years, I think it was difficult to pivot. Last year creates a natural pivot point. And the hope is, of course, now they can get ahead of the curve. They're playing catch up with the running backs a little bit. And I think they have caught up by signing Kenneth Walker. We'll see if the
That's
scheme
years behind the trade.
I agree.
You know?
I'm just saying, like, that's how you're asking, like, how it happened. I think that's what happened. They were winning so much is how it happened.
Yeah, and I get it.
When you're a losing franchise or coming up short every year, you're more willing to, I think, take in feedback and try a different path because it's not working. When it's working, it's very difficult for people to change. I'm not saying that's right, but I just think it's reality. So now it does not work anymore. You won 6 games. You got to pivot. You don't have to scrap everything, but you got to pivot. And you're right. Will we be sitting there after a primetime game in Monday Night Football against the Dolphins, the Broncos, and will there be some scheme-wise, a play, whatever, that once again has people in the league saying, oh my gosh, Andy Reid just pulled that one out of nowhere, and then we see it for the next 5 weeks in a row, and everybody's copying off him. It's been a couple years since we've seen that.
It's true, and the league adjusted to them. The league figured out the too high shell safety stuff on them. They weren't the team who started doing it to others. They all started doing it to the Chiefs, and then they were behind on that one too. And so, like, there's this portion of it that it's like, hey, you got to be like the leader in the clubhouse again. That's how you stay on top or are on top, is you are figuring out some of these things ahead of other teams. Or at least, how about this? I'll settle for be an early adopter. On the next trend that's going through the league that looks like it's popular, be an early adopter. Don't be behind the ranks. Don't be the last team to adjust to it. Be an early adopter to the too high safety stuff. Be an early adopter to running backs or back. Find a way to adjust inside the league where you are a part of the ever moving chain in the NFL. The last couple of years, it does feel like, even the years that they were winning in some ways, it just felt like they were like, hey, this works and we're not going to change it. And I'm not saying that's wrong in a lot of ways, but there's because they were winning. But you and I had said this last year too. There's never been an easier year for the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid to make real adjustments, to try to get ahead of the curve. All that stuff is, the curve part is easy when you're coming off a 6-win season in which you picked 9th. Now, I know they ended up picking higher, but we're picking 9th in the NFL draft. They had a top 10 pick. So, you got behind and you got comfortable. No more comfort now. What is the new thing? Where do you think the league's going now? Is it that everybody has a great running back, so you concede yards on the ground and you just say, hell, we'll play great, red zone defense? What's the next step on defense? What's the next step on offense? And figure out, I guess, where you go from there. It just feels like they haven't been ahead of the curve in a long time. Few years, probably, is my answer. As a reminder, if you guys missed it earlier, the Cody Gold Garage Sale's back. We'll give you more details outside of that. But I want to talk NFL schedule as we continue to get leaks out there on what's in place. Jordan Schultz is pretty trustworthy and been all over it because he is accurate 99.9% of the time. There's 2 that stand out in the rest of the NFL aside from the Chiefs, who we'll talk about again during the Chiefs Red Half Hour. One is first Super Bowl rematch in an opening game since 2016. So we're getting Seahawks and Patriots to open up the 2026 season, even though that game was an ass-kicking. And they don't do that as often as they used to do. So that one kind of stands out. And I think what you said earlier, which is, forget the Chiefs even as a part of this for a minute. They are a part of it. The Thanksgiving slate this year is nuts.
It's unbelievable. It's awesome. Starting on Wednesday night, I know the Thanksgiving Eve thing is weird, but the NFL could not have set up a better 24-hour period of games.
Sunday's going to stink. I'm not even going to want to watch football on Sunday. Go through the slate so that people know exactly what we're talking about. You said, so Wednesday night.
Yeah, we'll find out what the Sunday slate is. You're just saying what we get on.
Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Yeah, I think starting things off on Wednesday night with the Packers and Rams, a Super Bowl favorite in the Rams, a Packers team that's going to be in the mix. That fan base is unbelievable. That's on Netflix, by the way. Then Thanksgiving, we get Ben Johnson and the Bears going back to Detroit. Despite the Bears winning the division, they were 0-2 against Detroit last year. That game's in Detroit. Then it's Eagles-Cowboys. I understand we get sick of the Cowboys, but it's Eagles-Cowboys. That's a pretty damn good matchup. Then it's Chiefs-Bills, Thursday night, Thanksgiving night. And then Black Friday is Broncos-Steelers. Maybe with Aaron Rodgers. If not, then it's not going to be a good game. But if it is, maybe it'll be interesting enough. And that's on Amazon. That's a crazy 5 games in 24 hours.
It is.
It's awesome.
That's why I was saying Sunday might stink. But it is every single heavy hitter across the NFL without question.
Yeah, Sunday could be weak. We don't know who has a bye week that week yet either, on top of it. So that could change things as well. But you also still have teams like the Patriots and other potential playoff teams, Seattle, that are all still playing that week unless they're on a bye. Like this idea that there's no good matchups, I don't know. I'll do the trade-off on Thanksgiving week. I want good games on Thanksgiving. It's not long ago a lot of it is the Lions are good now. So in the past, it was always Lions, Bears, or Lions, Cowboys, and there was a stretch where both teams stunk. And so automatically, when you only had 2 games or whatever on Thanksgiving,
the games you weren't getting any good games.
Now they've expanded it, and it for sure because the Lions are decent. That one's locked in every year, and the Cowboys are at least going to be interesting. And then now what they've done is they've made the Thursday night game usually one of the best matchups of the year.
They are, yeah. Typically, they're going with heavy hitters. Now the Chiefs seemingly find themselves on holidays a lot. And I know we're going to talk more about that in the Chiefs Red Half Hour, but I mean, I can't ignore that it's a great slate. That for a team, if a league is trying to say, hey, every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of Thanksgiving now, we own that era. And for the first time, setting it up as a triumph, I think because they knew they were setting up as a trio days for the first time, they wanted it to hit. They wanted the dopamine rushing in your body, Gold, and they thought, well, I got a few matchups for you. Try this. You're not going to want to tune away from the TV Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We're going to own you for 3 straight days of nonstop football coverage. I will say, I did find it funny. I didn't see nearly as much uproar that the Bears have to open up on the road. Gold, are they okay? The Bears, Drew, as a reminder, the Bears won one of the most difficult divisions in football, the second hardest, I would argue, in football last year. And they won their division. They didn't even, they have to start on the road against another division winner. So they didn't even get the benefit. Remember?
Yeah, but it's not against a team in their own division. That's why they're on. That's why being on the road doesn't matter.
Conference.
I know. I understand
so
that.
your line. Okay, that's fair. Your line is if it's against a divisional opponent.
Yeah, which is why I thought that.
At least you have a line. I'll give you that.
It didn't matter. Which is why I thought they'd have Denver hosting just because they won the division and they're facing a divisional opponent. If you won your division, you're facing another division winner. It doesn't matter, in my opinion.
Okay,
but
so
my
you're
opinion
saying,
doesn't matter. So
no, I wouldn't say that. I mean, genuinely, I was
but I'm saying generally, what I think is not what Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell does not care what I think.
Look, I just think like you have a line, and I think that's fair. I think if you're a Broncos fan, you're not allowed to bitch about that without being also angry for the Bears. Because I don't think a fair line,
sure.
They still have to play on the road and they won a division. Like they accomplished the same thing you accomplished. You didn't accomplish anything different.
If that's your precedent, then they should be mad.
You got to figure out what the precedent is. There's been no precedent for the thing they're complaining about, I guess, is part of it. We'll see how the rest of the Chiefs' schedule plays out. Obviously, we've gotten any number of leaks. I'll tell you about them all during the Chiefs Red Half Hour.
Has there been a full season leak yet?
No.
For the Chiefs yet? There's been a couple. There's been a couple full season leaks.
What's going to happen
NFL
is
Nerds got like 6 games out for the Chiefs right now, so we'll see.
What's going to happen is here over the next couple hours, we're going to find out 1 or 2 more games for 5 other teams, and then suddenly you can cross check and you can start narrowing down. And that's where all of a sudden, once you get like 50% of the schedule done, then you start seeing way more because everybody can start Xing out certain weeks there it's not possible, and you can use some common sense and figure out where some of these games are going to be.
It is kind of crazy. The Patriots, it's an opposite conference, but they went to the Super Bowl and they're not even starting the season at home. What do the Broncos think they earned? Like they won a playoff game. Part of it is just like what did you think you earned here? Like you want participation
the only thing you earn from the prior year being great, even if you don't win a Super Bowl, is that you should get like 3+ primetime games. You win your division or you're an AFC championship team, and even if you didn't get to a Super Bowl, the only part you can complain about is, hey, why do we only get one? If you've somehow only got 1 or 2 primetime games, I think that is a fair complaint. That's what's always been kind of quote unquote promised. Be a good team, you're going to get on primetime a lot. Nobody's ever been promised to have a home game to start the next season unless you are the Super Bowl champs.
Yes.
That's it.
Agreed. That is the one part of the schedule. And I also say it's not an easy thing to put an entire schedule together. When you factor in these other sports in these cities and travel and
all the conflict.
You got to work around the international games and give them buys after that. There's a lot of conflict. It's not easy to just say, oh, we'll give every division winner a home game to start the season. It might not even be technically viable to do that inside of the way the schedule maker stuff works.
I mean, I know Mike North in the NFL, who does all the scheduling and stuff. He talks every year about how they, how much thought they put into it. And I don't doubt. I think it's gotten more and more complicated for obvious reasons with the different days they're playing games on now. But I'm guessing with algorithms and computer programming, 90% of this is still just done by a computer and kicks out like 20 different options they can pick through. 10 different options, then they can nitpick. But like a computer's doing 90% of the work here.
Yes.
You're plugging into a program. Here
Sure.
are our someone can code out. Here's the
But
conflicts.
there's only so many different versions of it you can get.
Fine, but at least it narrows it down, and
yeah.
then they can make the decision from there.
It's all just an algorithm.
It has to be.
Just plug it into Chat GPT and say,
Wow, I don't know
please
about
create
that,
I know
Yeah.
they don't do that.
Yeah.
Please create an NFL schedule
I bet
for
you
us
there's.
based
I bet
off
you
of these conflicts.
If they open their books, I bet you there's some company or some computer program that's getting paid a ridiculous amount of money to come up with this
yeah.
for them.
Yeah. And look, the prime time, and by the way, all of that is not even to factor in. Networks bid for these things. Hi, we're ESPN. We have Monday Night Football. We'd like the Chiefs twice, please. We'd like them against the Patriots, and we'd like them against the Broncos. Please make that work in your schedule matrix as well. We'd prefer it be this week for Monday Night Football, maybe not the other one instead. And then you just kind of run into this whole mess of things outside of it. Do you think the Patriots, just out of curiosity, we're talking about those two teams real quick, Patriots or Broncos right now, gut instinct, more likely to regress?
Broncos.
Patriots.
Ooh, everybody's got two different answers.
So my stance on the Broncos would be not necessarily even the Bo Nix health thing. I actually think he'll be fine. It's that the one-score game aspect, which was a huge storyline for the Chiefs for multiple years when they were winning one-score games and everybody was saying that'll come back to get you. Yeah, I think their defense is still going to be very, very good. But the one-score, they had a ton of, look, it happens, some luck. And clutch luck, however you want to phrase it, down the stretch. In every game they had to make plays, they did. They get credit for that. That's why they won 14 games. So I think they're more likely to regress from a pure win total number as well. They get 14. I could see them falling back to an 11-win team. That's 3 right there. The Patriots, I think, will regress from a win total as well.
Will they win the division a second year in a row? Will either?
There you go. There's a different question. Who's more likely
Who's
to
more
win
likely
their
to win their
division?
division?
I will still
it'd be the
say
Broncos.
I'll still say the Patriots are for
Ooh,
the
interesting.
division.
Okay.
I'll still say the Patriots. I think because the AFC West is more challenging. I can give you 3 teams that could win the West. I don't think I can give you 3 teams in the East.
I can only give you 2 in the East.
That would be my reason
Yep,
why I would
that's fair.
say that.
You don't think the Jets are winning the division this year?
No, I think they're
Bring
gonna
back Geno Smith?
I think the Dolphins and Jets might struggle just a little bit.
The Dolphins are going to be one of the worst teams in the league.
Yes.
Even though they decided, I guess, to build their entire team around Malik Willis and Devon Achane. So I guess good luck on that version of it. I just didn't know. Drew, it's interesting you said the opposite. I think it's a good argument for
I
either.
just think the Broncos team is too good. Plus, the wide receiver room for New England is not as good.
I know.
You
I
would
guess
think
I'm just
because you lose
penciling
to
in.
Stephon Diggs, you're
Are
bringing
you-
Romeo Dobbs, but
Are you penciling in AJ Brown like I am there though? Because I am.
That's happening.
I guess I'm just
it hasn't
assuming.
happened yet, so no.
Okay, fair.
I'm going off of what it is right now.
Sure.
That's fair.
If it is what it is right now, I can't argue with the Broncos wide receiver room being better and the Patriots having real questions. The problem with the Patriots, they do have questions on offensive line. Will Campbell, they're going to let him start again, but he got exposed in the playoffs.
I would start Lomu and then kick Will Campbell into guard.
They do have
Maybe
to figure
better
out
that
the O-line issue. I guess for me, and Drew's not using this as his reason, but I think a lot of people, though, are this Vrabel Rossini stuff. I actually think it's going to have zero bearing on the 2026. Believe it or not, as fun as it is to talk about, zero bearing on the 2026 football season. So for those that are like, too much of it, sure. And I don't think that's happening. Again, I don't think there's much that could still happen that would force him to have to quit. More photos of him hanging out with Diana Rossini, as I said yesterday. Oh, spoiler, we've known this already. I don't need another photo of them hanging out. We know that's not going to change it. It would have to be something just ridiculous on the football end, that somehow she was involved on the football end, not just personal matter that he embarrassed his wife and she embarrassed her husband, et cetera, or kids, whatever you want to say about the situation.
Football coaches are remarkably good at burying personal stuff and not taking it into a facility. I think part of it is because you're just there's so many things to do and such a routine, you're forced into the routine and away from that. I don't think it'll have a bearing on that either. I do still think
people watch Drake May struggle in the playoffs and they're like, wait a second. I think he's fine. I think he'll be fine.
I will say part of that is I've still got questions about May and Nix. And I want to see one of them repeat it and do it again and prove to me again before I CJ Stroud anoint them or, I've done that we've done that with quarterbacks or Jaden Daniels. It is okay to say, I'd like to see one more year, please. I'd like to see one more year like you did last year. Prove it to me. He led the league in attempts last year. Bo Nix, do it again, right? Be accurate again. Throw for 4,000 yards again or whatever, and then get us there, and then maybe we'll have a conversation.
Trash of the day.
All right, trash of the day involves a bank robber, which is always a hot topic on this show for multiple reasons. Chiefsaholic, Cody's past history as a bank teller.
And then giving people tips on ways to get away from it.
This one's pretty simple. You'll see why I used it, because I'm just like, look, if this is what you were going to do and you were already going to make that decision, did you really think this was the correct attire? So a bank robber in Santa Rosa, California. She allegedly robbed a Chase Bank on Tuesday morning. 32 years old, allegedly went into the bank, handed a teller a note, demanded cash with a written threat, threatening to kill people, okay?
Oh, not nice.
So,
not great.
Yes, not nice, Cody. Thank you for phrasing it that way.
It's not very
and
nice.
got an undisclosed amount of money and walked out. She was back in custody an hour later.
Damn, she got caught quick. What happened?
Well, she had bright blue hair, was wearing a leopard print jacket.
Supposed to blend in.
Right. So if you're going to rob a bank, bright blue hair, leopard jacket, very easy description. Didn't even try to change her outfit after, or if it was a wig or anything. Nope.
Yeah, I'm reading the article now. It says by the time
nobody
the police
ever
arrived,
said they were smart
witnesses gave the
people
officers
robbing
a highly identifiable description. When you have brightly blue dyed hair, maybe if you change, you put a
That's
black
what I'm
jacket
saying.
on and like
If
dye
you
your hair
were-
black.
If you went in there and robbed it with blue hair and the jacket on purpose to stand out like that, but then all of a sudden you were just dressed like a normal person, okay, I could understand trying that path. This makes no sense. Don't do it anyway, but
Don't rob banks, but
1 hour later,
if
you
you
got
are
caught.
gonna rob a bank, do
you got
better
caught
than
an
that.
hour. Like, that's a disappointing effort.
Yeah,
you know?
don't even get to like enjoy the money, I guess, at that point. You know, you didn't even
Yeah,
actually.
she
get
might have been able to
spend
buy
it.
a quarter pounder at McDonald's real quick after the
barely.
robbery. That's it.
Only an hour.
Man, couldn't even go to a sit-down restaurant in time.
You didn't even get enough time to think maybe I got away with it. Like they don't catch you for 2 days, and you're like, I don't know, maybe I got away with it. No, just caught in an hour. You can't. Right? The pictures and the leopard print jacket are crazy.
Yeah.
How did you think you were going to get away with it? There's just no way you ever thought that was going to work. I hope you never have to rob a bank, Gold. But if you do,
hold on. The way you phrase that, I hope you never have to, as if that's a real choice.
well, I mean,
You hope you never have to rob a bank. Well, this is not a, with any credit, it's not like well, I had to do it. No, you didn't. What?
yeah, people get in desperate times. You know, they feel
Sure, you didn't
desperation kicks in.
Nobody has to rob a bank.
That's fair.
What?
Well, they
You
might.
worked at a bank. I'm shocked by this answer.
I told you we got robbed.
I'm sure.
Just the one
I
time.
have a family member that works at a bank as well. But I don't know, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. Either way, lesson learned, I guess. How long do you get for writing the note? Do you get less time?
Well, the key
Versus,
for
like, you
her,
have
she
the
did not
weapon?
have a weapon. That'll save you a couple years. The minute you have a weapon,
But they tell you to
she
do
did
exactly
thre-
what
she
they
did-
say.
But she didn't. She did, as you said, write a threat
Threaten.
to kill people. But I think that it's not armed robbery. It's the armed robbery. You have a weapon. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
it goes up another 10 years?
Yeah,
Something like
probably
that?
ratchets up quite a bit. At least a couple
Ask
of notches. I would
Chiefsaholic.
think. What? I mean, I'd have to schedule some time on a video call.
Can we get a jailhouse visit in the garage sale this year? Guaranteed.
What would that go for?
Jail, a lot of money.
What would it go for if we had a
I'd
guaranteed
pay a
jailhouse,
few bucks for it, just for you, just so you could go talk to him.
like a Cody and Gold jailhouse visit with Chiefsaholic?
Yeah, talk to his attorney. Get that figured out.
Maybe his attorney can give a consulting fee as a garage sale item.
No thanks.
You get a 1 hour. He'll write an inspiring speech about you. Can we get that for the garage sale? He'll write an inspiring courthouse speech about you.
From the beginning of this case, folks, the government has been blitzing, and Xavier's pocket was collapsing.
We get that for the garage sale.
That's the trash.
He'll
of the
give
day.
you one inspiring speech about you. If you're listening, we're in. We're in.
913-586-7965. The Jay's Southland Tow Service text line.
Xavier stepped into the pressure.
I just love this audio so
He
much.
took responsibility for his actions.
Up next, we'll get to the Chiefs red half hour. You mentioned Devon Achane in Miami. Now that we know what he got paid, makes you feel a little bit better, doesn't it? We'll talk about Kenneth Walker and Achane next.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
New treatments for joint pain are here. By now, you've heard about regenerative medicine. If you're wondering if you're a good candidate, answer these questions. First, does chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints keep you from doing the things you enjoy? Golfing, jogging, time with the family. Does it hurt doing the things you need to do, like getting out of bed, sleeping, working, and walking? And finally, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? If you answered yes to any of those, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Learn about exciting advancements in regenerative treatments that can give you long-lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Get your free consultation today. Call QC Kinetics. That's QC Kinetics. Here's the phone number.
Call now, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
There's a pill version of Ozempic.
Hello, I'm Ozempic. And I'm other GLP-1s kind of like him. Hey, did I hear there's a pill version of Ozempic? Yep, you sure did. Ask your doctor about which FDA-approved uses of the Ozempic pen or pill may be right for you. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and learn more about Ozempic semaglutide tablets 9 milligrams and Ozempic semaglutide injection 2 milligrams.
There's a pill version of Ozempic.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast.
Pump up the volume.
When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
How do airplanes fly? What's in this box? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Learn how to store your gun securely and make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter.
Royals coverage is brought to you by Peter's Clothiers. Need a new suit? This week only, Peter's Clothiers is taking half off all Jack Henry suits. Choose from a selection of colors, styles, and sizes at Peter's Clothiers. But hurry, this sale ends soon. Half off Jack Henry suits only at Peter's Clothiers, 124th and State Line Road.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Rob Brennan. We hope you're enjoying Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's biggest sporting event. It's presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. New episodes released every Wednesday on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome in to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Every day at 11:30 with Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Let's talk a little Chiefs football. Chiefs Red Half Hour here on Cody and Gold. Coming up in about 8 minutes, we'll get back into what we know schedule-wise. Chiefs are playing Thanksgiving night in Buffalo at the Bills' brand new stadium, Highmark Stadium there. Be their first opportunity to get a win in their new building. That'd be pretty fun on Thanksgiving night to go in there and give another L to the Buffalo Bills and their new park.
During the regular season, they haven't been doing that quite as much.
Nope.
Certainly not zero, obviously, but the postseason is where they've gotten the better of them.
Sure.
I still think they've got to be. I will stand by this, and I know that it's probably homerism. I still think that they should feel worse about their season than the Chiefs. Like, not that they had a worse season. That's not the argument I'm making. But they should feel worse. And the reason why they should feel worse?
You just mean from the opportunity that the deck was clear.
Dude,
is what you're
it
saying.
was wide open.
You're saying the deck was
they
clear.
They were going up against Bo Nix. They couldn't get their ass to the Super Bowl with no Lamar Jackson, no Joe Burrow, no Patrick Mahomes. What the hell are you
I get
doing?
the point. I get the point.
Totally,
they also ended up firing their head coach because of it.
Totally blown.
I mean, they fired Sean McDermott, and is he just taking a year off? Is that what we learned? He just like
Yeah, I
or is
think
he
well, remember he didn't end up having a ton of interest. So there was at least a portion of that went into. Yeah, Drew, I think they should feel worse about their season, even though they definitively had a better season. They lost in the divisional round. They didn't even get to the AFC title game.
Brandon Bean.
I mean, that's...
Yeah, but Josh Allen had the worst playoff game of his career, I think. I think
Another reason why I'd be upset.
But no, if you're a Bills fan, I'd be more mad because at like the 13-second game where you did everything right and you still lost. That one, I'd be so much more mad at that. If you're the Chiefs, you missed the playoffs on the prime year of Patrick Mahomes.
We'll talk more Chiefs-Bills Thanksgiving coming up in just a second. We do know that's happening on Thanksgiving night in Buffalo. There was some running back news yesterday, and it was a name that I know we were all interested in potentially acquiring, but it became very clear the Dolphins were not going to trade him this offseason, so he quickly was kind of wiped off the wish list way back in early February.
He was high on my wish list there for a while.
Devon Achane, and his pass-catching ability, a big part of that. He stayed in Miami, and now he got his new contract, and we know the numbers. He is now going to be the NFL's third highest-paid running back, $17 million a year, $32 million guaranteed, according to Jordan Schultz. 4-year extension, $68 million. It's the most annual salary guarantee for a running back coming off a rookie contract.
Most total value for a number for a quarter or for a running back too. Not highest average per year, as you mentioned.
Right.
Third on that, only behind McCaffrey and Barkley.
Now, I think he's a hell of a running back. I think he's a hell of a running back, and there's some advantages to having him versus Walker, right? There would be some. But the Kenneth Walker deal looks better today. It just does. It just does. I'm not saying it's a steal by any means. It's 3 years, $43 million still with $28 million guaranteed. It is not like it's a sweetheart deal for the Chiefs by any means. They paid Kenneth Walker a ton of money.
They did.
But it puts it in perspective like, okay, this is kind of the going rate. Kenneth Walker is also 25 years old, and he essentially has 2 years of guaranteed money. If things went south and it didn't work out or he got hurt, after year 2, the Chiefs could cut him and only eat $4 million. So it's a pretty safe, structured contract for Kenneth Walker. But when I saw the numbers for Achane, I was like, okay, all right, would you rather have done the Achane deal and given up draft capital, or just do what the Chiefs did for Walker? And I'll just do what they did for Walker.
Based on if it's all things created equal, Achane's the better running back, and I would like him.
Even with the capital?
No. Okay. That's the problem. I said if things are equal, if it was just like I could sign them both, and I got to choose between one of the two running backs. Hell, even if it was I had to pay Achane more money, I would pay Achane more money because I think he's the better running back. He's had a 1,300-yard, 8-touchdown season to go with several hundred yards receiving. His best has been better than Kenneth Walker's best. He's also been the lead back in an offense and the number one guy versus Walker's largely been in a shared backfield, although a heavily shared in his favor backfield. So I would have done that number. But knowing I would have had to give up a draft pick and cough up $64 million, the Kenneth Walker plan is better. It makes that deal still make everything that's happened at running back, the ones that were available in the draft, the ones that were actually ended up being available in free agency or via trade, the single best option they had at cost-benefit analysis point was Kenneth Walker. He was the single best option. They signed the single best choice. And so he's not the best running back. He's not the best one they could probably get their hands on or pay or a million other things. But based on everything you had at your disposal, money, draft pick compensation, who was actually available, like Achane wasn't even available, then Kenneth Walker was the best choice. So I'm comfortable with it. His number coming in higher than Kenneth Walker's makes me feel good. He's a better back, but I would thought those numbers would be somewhat close, wouldn't you?
What was Breece Hall's deal that he just got?
Yeah, because he got a week ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Breece Hall ended up getting 3 years, $45 million. He's a couple months younger, I should say. 3 years, 43.
Would you have given up essentially
$29 million guaranteed? But fans wanted them to trade a third round pick, second round pick last year mid-season to Breece Hall and to pay him.
So for Cody's point though, do you think Breece Hall is better than Kenneth Walker? And if and knowing that the deals are almost the exact same, would you have given up the pick to get Breece Hall?
No, that was the whole thing in the middle of the season.
That's the problem. Is that because a second round pick is R. Mason Thomas or a second round? You know what I'm saying? Like I just put it in the name of players sometimes, and it makes it easier. Money's the same. You can either have Kenneth Walker and R. Mason Thomas or Breece Hall. And my answer in that case is R. Mason Thomas and Kenneth Walker. And I don't even know if R. Mason Thomas is good, right? I don't know that.
R. Mason Thomas was a second round pick.
But I guess that's what they were talking about. They're talking a second or a third.
The Chiefs gave up their third essentially to get Mansour Delane is what they did.
Yeah, but I guess they were talking about a second or third. I don't know if Breece was going to go for a second or a third, but we don't even have to make it the late second round pick if you want, right? It doesn't really matter to me where it goes or the fourth, Drew. It's like when I get the choice between two players or one, and the difference is not night and day. When we're talking about it, Saquon Barkley versus Isaiah Pacheco, I'll give up the pick. But when we're talking about the difference between Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker, it's a little tighter. It's not that there's not a gap, but it's quite a bit tighter for me.
I mean, it turns out who was actually available. Like Breece Hall and Devon Achane were never available this offseason. That's what we found out.
Or the deal just was never what the Jets wanted. Everybody probably offered a fourth for Breece Hall, and they're like, nah, it's not going to cut it. And they never traded him.
You're right that I guess definitively nobody. There's always yes, if they offered 5 first-round picks, that he would have been available. I mean, I can't answer that, but the reporting out of Miami consistently was that they believe Devon Achane is a building block for their future. They're not trading him. And by the way, GMs have said that, and they've still traded guys. So I get what you're saying, but I believe that they actually believe that in Miami. And so he, to me, was not available. Breece Hall, if Breece Hall was a free agent, he was the number one running back in free agency. He wasn't, though.
Yes.
Kenneth Walker was the number one available running back, other than, I guess, drafting Jeremiah Love, but he would not have been there. He went third overall, so he was not available. The Chiefs got the best available running back without having to give up capital on top of draft capital on top of cash.
And even then, it might have been an overpay. Achane might not have been available for less than a second. Just knowing that they were willing to pay him $64 million to go with it. I agree with you in this sense, Gold. There are running backs, if they all became free agents, I'd take over Kenneth Walker. Hell, probably 15 of them. Maybe 20.
Okay. 20?
Is it not 15?
No.
15, I think, probably, right?
Oh, I think there's only 8 to 9 running backs I'd rather have.
Without looking too hard, I don't want to.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I get your point. Not 15, though. That's crazy. Kenneth Walker's not just an average back in the league.
I think when it shakes out,
I think he's an above-average running back.
If it's for
although if that's the case though, then you think that deal's terrible then that the Chiefs just did.
No, that's just the pay. You pay the third highest paid running. People pay the 14th best player in the league the third best money all the time.
But if you're doing it at running back, that's a terrible deal.
It's actually
for the
easier
Chiefs.
Running back because it's less money.
It is less money.
It's worse at wide receiver or several other defensive end.
I agree with your overall premise, which is players get paid more than they're actually all the time.
It's probably 9th or 10th.
But I think that's a bit.
15,
I think it's pretty harsh. If I think you'd be surprised. There's not 14 running backs you'd rather have than Kenneth Walker.
It's probably 9 or 10 in fairness, because it's Barkley, McCaffrey, Breece Hall. I just told you I'd rather have Cook or Achane or Gibbs. Like I can get to 7, 8, or 9
There's
before I
easily.
have to
I mean, the first 6 are easy to rattle off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor has been a better back. All the other stuff that comes with it. Now, if we were factoring in age and length of contract and all this other stuff, well, then the match age. Kenneth Walker's still young. He's 25 years old.
Right.
Talk about Achane being young. He's 24. They're about the same age. They're not far off from that. Let's talk a little bit about the Chiefs' schedule, though. We found out yesterday for sure that the Chiefs will be taking on the Buffalo Bills on Thanksgiving night. So they're going to head to Buffalo. They're going to take on the Chiefs on Thanksgiving night. But we're starting to get a good landscape of it before we break that one down. Schultz now says it'll be week 7 for the Chiefs against the Seahawks. There are multiple reports now that say the Chiefs and Colts will be week 2 for Sunday Night Football. So we'll see if that one's true. And then I've also seen that the Chiefs and Rams will be Thursday Night Football in week 13.
Thursday night?
On December 3rd. The one that interests me the most is if the Chiefs and Bengals rumor is right, the Chiefs would take on the Bengals the Sunday Night Football one late in the season. There's a week 15 Patriots one. They say 7:20 Monday Night Football. That would take out Christmas Day. If they did week 15 against the Patriots, another rumor that's out there, or Monday Night Football, I don't think they'd play on Friday, do you? You don't think they'd stick them on Christmas Day if they're actually playing Monday Night Football against the Patriots?
I think now that the Patriots, I thought we already know the Patriots are playing somebody else on Christmas, don't we?
Patriots are playing on Christmas?
Because of what we're discussing now, I don't think, I think the Chiefs Patriots was only going to be on Christmas if that was I don't believe the Chiefs are playing on Christmas
says it's
now.
the 21st.
Yeah, I don't believe the Chiefs are on Christmas now that the Patriots game is not on Christmas. I guess is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah.
I guess I'm saying because it's on the 21st, I didn't think they'd play that.
That is also a fair way to speculate on it as well.
So far, the spread seems decent, depending on how you look at it.
We're waiting for the quote-unquote easy game still. Where are the Jets? Where are the Cardinals on the schedule?
Colts are week 2, according to at least one report. I don't know if that's going to make you feel any better. I would put that as one of the easier games on the Chiefs' schedule.
I mean,
despite the fact they won a decent number of games last year.
We also don't know when the bye week is yet. That'll, that plays a huge role in this. Is the bye week an early week 7 bye, or are the Chiefs going to get a week 11 bye heading into the Thanksgiving, the week before Thanksgiving or after Thanksgiving? They're not going to get a double bye like that. But could they get a bye week heading into the Thanksgiving game? That would be nice heading into the Bills game. If you told me the Chiefs bye was week 11, I think right now, without seeing the rest of the schedule, I think I want the week 11 bye. Give me a bye before the short week on Thanksgiving. That way it's not a short week anymore.
Oh, yeah, going into Buffalo?
I don't know if they would do that.
If you gave me the dream scenario, hell yeah.
Because then you basically get 2 long weeks.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. They
I'd
won't
be
do that.
all for it. I don't know if it's ever going to line up that way, but I'd be all for it. Look, I am personally a bit exhausted of the holiday games, not prime time. There's a limit to prime time. I do enjoy a good noon Sunday game like anyone else. But the holiday, dead on the holiday games, it's tough, man. Every year for Thanksgiving, every year for Christmas, seemingly. Any time there's some random holiday, the Chiefs seemingly are playing on it. It is getting tough, I imagine, if you're a Chiefs fan thinking every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, you got to give up part of your time. So if they're just on Thanksgiving this year, but for the first time in 4 years, because they've done 3 straight Christmas Day games, right? For the first time in 4 years, they don't actually have to play on Christmas Day? Please.
That's not what the team wants. I know that.
I know that, but I don't care. They don't have to get everything I want.
No, I'm just saying. Like, we know the team has been all in on trying to create this Christmas Day tradition. I hope they're not on Christmas Day. I can understand Thanksgiving. We're used to football on Thanksgiving. And I told you earlier, I think Thanksgiving night is way more doable for families, I think, at least speaking for mine,
I agree.
than in the middle of the afternoon. You can still do everything you want to do, and then at night, maybe you've already left, or maybe you're just going to watch it with your family. If the team loses, it doesn't put everybody in a bad mood, all that. So I prefer the Thursday night. Christmas is just still like a new tradition around the NFL. We're not used to it, and so it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, I do get that. Thanksgiving, it's just like night wasn't a tradition our entire life, but now we're used to it. Since the Chiefs did the very first ever Thanksgiving night game a billion years ago. The thing about their business end is they've been chasing this forever. Since they did that one, they volunteered and said, hey, we'll be every Thanksgiving night. Hi, we'd like to be the third team on Thanksgiving that plays every single year. And then they desperately were like, hi, we'd like to be the only team who play, or we'd like to be a team that plays on Christmas every single year. I think if the NFL could redo it, they wouldn't just have the Lions and Cowboys play on Thanksgiving Day. And that when they had set up that tradition and the smart teams who got in it, they realized that there's value and that the other franchises want it too, that they can't just blindly put the Chiefs on Christmas Day, because what happens if 10 years from now they got some stinky quarterback and they're 2 and whatever, and they got to waste their Thanksgiving night game
Well,
every
and
year.
to
They've been there with the
Christmas
Lions for
Day
years,
game.
though.
I know, but they
He's
don't
saying
want to
that
repeat that mistake.
He's wondering if they don't want to get in that
they
trap.
I think if they could get out of that, they'd get out of it now. I think if they could say
just-
it's not Cowboys and Lions every year, they'd just get out.
No, the Cowboys, they would leave on there forever. That's
Yeah,
just the
maybe
brand,
that
the
one
brand
maybe,
part. And I think, though, I understand in the complaining about the Thanksgiving and Christmas games. Totally get it. I'm not a huge fan of it myself. But also, I remember growing up in this town, and it was such a big deal when it was announced the Chiefs were playing a Monday night football game. And we were like, oh, yeah, finally, primetime football at Arrowhead. And now the Chiefs are on every spotlight slate, and we've gotten spoiled. And we're like, oh, this is too much. This is too much. Fast forward 15 years from now, when the Chiefs are suddenly just on like 2 primetime games a year, and they're not on Christmas or Thanksgiving, people are going to say, man, remember when they were on a national stage and it was cool when everybody's talking about us? So there's the balance of the two. I think we are very spoiled right now. Yes, the Chiefs are trying to maximize every cent of the Mahomes era. And from a business end, totally get it. It's what they should be doing. The fans are being pressed more than ever financially and everything for it. It's also a little bit of the reality of when your team is the team still around the National Football League from a branding perspective. And this is something that is not going to last. I don't think for 30 years in a row, Cody, they're going to be playing on every holiday and every. No, this is the Mahomes era. As long as Mahomes is the starting quarterback, the Chiefs are going to be playing in 4 primetime games. They're going to be playing on a holiday.
I will say it's like, and we see these texts a lot, like, hey, imagine complaining about your team playing on these, just watch it with the fam.
Yeah.
I would say that's asking a lot of different people's family dynamics. So, like, for you, that works great. What if you're in a family that doesn't really watch sports, or my kids aren't huge football fans yet, right? So maybe they don't want to spend their Christmas night watching football with dad. Like, I could try to make them, but they're not interested in watching the game just yet. Or, and I've said this before, the things that bother me, maybe not small, but like, I don't like that everybody's like, you can't watch with your fan because all the people have to work the damn thing. Like, you're forgetting about the, thousands of people that got to go out to the stadium and do this every year and do the job and work. And I understand they signed up for a part of that. And I understand and like nurses and doctors and stuff have to work and the stuff that comes. But this is a voluntary one, The Chiefs don't have to play every Christmas day. And so in a lot of ways, it's just like the culmination. I'm not anti. Thanksgiving's an easy one. Thanksgiving night is not one that really bothers me. Other than from our jobs perspective, where it kind of gets lost in the shuffle maybe. Because by the time we come back on Monday, what changed?
To see the top 10. A suggestion for you to solve your issue.
What's their suggestion? Let's see.
They said, Cody, just get your kids better toys then. They won't care about watching the game with you.
I just, like, you can't force kids being into sports fans. I feel like you can't force them to being in any kind of fan. It doesn't work that way. Some kids just click with it better. My son is starting to get into all kinds of sports, so maybe that's going to click. For my daughter, it may never. Yeah, I don't know.
You're right. Everybody's family is different. For us, like, it's a no-brainer. Like, we're all sitting around.
Not a problem.
We're all sitting around watching the Chiefs game Thanksgiving night, guaranteed. I mean, my nephews are into it. Everybody's into it.
You might be surprised. It's like half and half with my family. Half is locked in, big sports fans, care, matter, pay attention. The other half is just as happy to be standing in the kitchen having a drink, not locked into the game.
But see,
in that case, that didn't hurt anybody either.
But that's my argument of why, when my only, like, this is truly a personal problem, which is why I don't like the Chiefs on Thanksgiving. I like to just casually watch the game. Like, I would still watch every single Thanksgiving Day game that's on television on Thanksgiving. But as you and I know, especially selfishly for what we do for a living,
I gotta watch
it is way different for me to watch a Chiefs game Thanksgiving night than it is to watch a random Ravens-Eagles game Thursday night when I can just
for
casually.
you, it's not the game's not on. Yeah. But if you go get a beer or a second plate Thanksgiving Day, you don't really care if the line's, oh, no, what did I miss? Oh, Amon Ra caught a pass. Okay, cool. Show me a replay. Great, neat, move on. Versus, like,
I think we're going to get Christmas off this year, it looks like, based off of this way the schedule is trending.
Sounding like
it feels like it.
Monday Night Football, Chiefs-Patriots, and I'd be kind of shocked if they forced him on the Thursday Night Football turnaround onto Friday.
I mean, it's the NFL,
I said shocked, not stunned.
The bye week is my biggest remaining question now is actually when the bye week is. I think we've gotten a lot of the major ones answered, or at least a good idea. That Rams one is interesting because I want to go out to LA. So Thursday night, maybe that's the worst case scenario because that makes traveling a pain in the ass.
Does it? You can just fly back on Friday, no sweat. Fly back on Saturday.
Show-wise, though.
Take the Friday off. Enjoy the game.
But I got to fly out there, so I don't like missing the shows after the game.
Yeah, I was about to say, but if you miss the show after the game, then you got no rush flying back. You can fly back Saturday or Sunday.
If that's the case, then yeah, I'll stay there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, fly back Sunday. I
was about to say.
I did. I will say Thursday night's better than if it was a Monday night game. Monday night game would have been a problem.
That creates a different travel dynamic that is difficult for everybody because you got to take more days on or off. Oh, there is our new Odyssey Sports Radio FM station.
That's right. We
LA, maybe
Odyssey
just crash there.
Odyssey, we will have a sister station. We're launching a sports station out in LA.
What's the rumor on which Monday night is or Thursday night is the rumor on the?
He told me week 13 or 14, December 3rd or something like that, or 13th, 3rd or 13th. You're the one that mentioned
week 13.
it to me.
Yeah, no, it's
week 13.
It's later in the year. I just got to find it.
Who's reporting that?
That was the NFL.
The rumor account.
The rumor account that is apparently as good as anybody.
Although
it is unofficial, but it's also not bad. They say week. Oh no, I'm sorry. They're early. Oh no, that's Bills. Where is it? They say week 13, Thursday Night Football, December 3rd. Good time to be in LA though.
Oh, while it's cold here.
Yeah.
December 3rd. At least it's not Thanksgiving. It's not around Christmas. So, from a traveling standpoint, I wouldn't go there if it was on Thanksgiving, obviously. So.
No, but from a travel, it's after Thanksgiving. And
I'll mark that one down. I want to just be able to book some flights. So give me my damn official confirmation.
I'll just tell you right now, if you want to check flights, check for Thursday Night Football, December 3rd. Okay. Chiefs at Rams.
I will.
Somebody said a new Odyssey station. I think they just flipped the dial to FM.
It's the first FM sports station in LA, is my understanding.
Okay.
I think I have that right.
You guys,
It's also called The Fan. Spoiler.
What?
I know. Shocking.
There are no other The Fans, are there? We're the only one. 96.5 The Fan.
The only one that matters. Yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
Forget these other stations. I think by the time the end of the day, before we even get to the schedule release, we might know the whole damn Chiefs schedule.
That's usually what happens. You know this. On this day, by the time we get to 5 o'clock, it's basically already done. We already know a majority of it. We're just waiting for a bye week.
I saw there's some teams who were doing like the theme stuff, kind of like what the Chiefs are doing.
Lots of teams.
Or what they did. The Bengals did, because Joe Burrow likes Pokemon, they did Pokemon-themed characters as their schedule. Okay. The Chiefs, they put as a zebra-looking character, if you will.
Okay.
They usually do the one of
the referees.
Our opponents as, and then they usually do the full schedule release video.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if any of those are good tonight. I like checking out a few. I can never catch up. I'm not going to watch all 32 teams, but
I'll let people give me the highlights. Like I don't.
I'll let people tell me the ones that are good, and then I'll go find the good ones, and then I'll watch the Chiefs one. What do you think it is this year? Theirs are always so milquetoast. It's just like, whatever.
Oh man, what's some other trends that are going on right now? That's the question. Theirs will not. They will not take shots.
If you want to find their trend, find one from 10 years ago. They don't do anything recent.
Okay.
All of theirs are old as hell. They did Cash Cab. That show was on the air 15 years ago.
They did do the Cash Cab.
They did Cards. They were on, at least that was the one that they did that was on trend.
Was there like a challenge or whatever that was about 10 years ago? I don't know.
The ice bucket.
The ice bucket. That would be crazy.
That would be the most dated thing of all time.
They should just do something funny with Andy Reid with cheeseburgers somehow, and like he's taking a bite into a cheeseburger and it somehow unveils a schedule. I don't know. Come up with something. Just do that. At least people enjoy. Everybody likes hearing Andy Reid talk about cheeseburgers anyway.
I saw terrible news for Andy Reid. I saw the Town Topics closing at 8 p.m.
Yeah, let's not get too deep in that topic. That's turned into a very political conversation for people.
Really?
Unfortunately, yeah, unfortunately. But yes, it sucks to see
Town
that.
Topic.
So do I. The Crossroads location is not staying open.
Have you ever been, Drew?
Yeah.
No.
Man, we got to get Drew to some classic KC places.
We need to make a list the rest of this summer. Let's make a list of Drew's long overdue, must stops or whatever.
Certainly,
in
we can get somewhere every couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We can get to a town topic or
right. We're talking food places,
food or drink.
Okay.
Or I guess
Drew
it could be
has
Worlds of Fun, right? It should be some sites, some like Kansas City specific locations.
Okay, let's compile. Listeners can help over the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
And let's. Drew's been here. This will be in August. Your third year, is that right?
Yeah, 2.5.
Okay, so What's
no? Somebody just said, and with the Chief schedule, here's the Harlem Shake. Just like whatever trend is just crazy old.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm curious to see how theirs pans out. It did not go great for them in the comments of the sourdough posts.
All right, up next, guys, let's get to what's trending. Let's talk more about what we announced to start the show today with our garage sale coming back and the Royals trying to salvage one in Chicago.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Well, you guys know I had surgery last week, and hopefully at some point I'm going to smell again. And I'll be honest, one of the smells that I am actually really looking forward to is the new car smell. So every time I jump in a new vehicle, thanks to Shawnee Mission Ford, and right now it's a 2026 Ford Mustang Mach-E. Look, I love it, but I missed out on having like that new car smell. I haven't smelt new car in 3-4 years or so. I'm hoping in the next couple weeks I will be able to do that. And you can test drive a new vehicle and enjoy all the new technology that's in a 2026 over at Shawnee Mission Ford. And right now, at Shawnee Mission Ford, they announced employee pricing for everyone on a Mach-E Bronco or a Mach-E or a Bronco or a 2025 Mustang, a Bronco Sport, 2026 Escape, you name it. Employee pricing going on now at Shawnee Mission Ford. Employee pricing is what they pay, you're now paying, and you still get all the rebates, the incentives offered from Ford, along with the top trade-in value from Shawnee Mission Ford. American value for American values. Shawnee Mission Ford is on a mission to do more in 26.
When Bill Lambert started Midwest Heating, he realized something very quickly. The most important thing a customer can give you isn't their money, it's their trust. I'm Airman for Midwest Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Midwest and Lennox are now offering up to $1,400 rebates on high-efficiency home comfort systems and 0% 60-month financing with approved credit on these qualifying Lennox systems. Every day, we strive to meet the highest standards in the industry, yours. But we are human. If we make a rare mistake, we make it right, and right away. That's what Bill instilled in all of us. Now, the third generation stands on the shoulders of the past, improves on it, and passes it on to the next. Give us the chance to earn your business. Just dial 943-8787 or go to MidwestHeating.com. Trust your air to the best. Midwest Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
At Liberty Mutual, we love helping people with things like customizing car insurance, just like how we customize a song for you. Catered country tune. Liberty Mutual, saving you bucks by protecting your truck. 'Cause Birdie told me to only pay for what I need. Thank you, Limu. I'll always trust in Limu with Liberty, 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 Liberty.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a data analyst.
Hey, what model did you use for these quarterly projections?
Astrology. If Mercury's in retrograde, sales tank. If Venus is rising, we crush Q4.
You built our revenue forecast off horoscopes?
Yeah, the Zodiac never lies.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The 5th annual Cody and Gold Garage Sale is back Wednesday, June 10th, with all auction items benefiting the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station. What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
Number one on what's trending, we know more and more of the schedule starting to leak out. Here's what we do know for sure, an update from yesterday into today. The Chiefs will be playing Thanksgiving night over on NBC. Chiefs in Buffalo taking on Josh Allen and the Bills as the Bills have their brand new stadium there in Buffalo. So that goes with a heck of a Thanksgiving lineup for the NFL. It starts on Thanksgiving Eve. Packers, Rams on Netflix. Thanksgiving afternoon, Bears, Lions on CBS, Eagles, Cowboys on Fox. You mentioned the Chiefs Thursday night. And then on Black Friday, it's a divisional game, or at least a game involving a divisional team. The Broncos taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers on Amazon.
The other schedule leaks for the Chiefs say that they might be playing Sunday Night Football against the Colts in Week 2, Week 7 in Seattle against the defending Super Bowl champions, and then later in the season, a Thursday Night Football game in Week 13 against the Rams, and Week 14 rumored to be against Cincinnati on that. And I will say, Rams Week 13, they'd get 10 days rest before a road game against Cincinnati, and then they would be hosting, hypothetically, the Patriots the week after. That's a hell of a stretch.
No, they did the Chiefs a solid there by giving them an extra
but did they
couple
give them a
days,
solid by doing Rams, Bengals, Patriots?
No.
Like that?
No, that's a tough stretch.
That's a tough stretch, so at least you get the extra day. Next up on What's Trending, the Royals continue their series tonight against the White Sox. Down 2-0 in the series as it sits right now. Lose again last night by 1 run. Similar story. They got down early, tied it back up, got down again. Bobby Wood Jr. hit a 2-run home run in the 9th to bring within 1, unable to come through. They'll need Chris Bubich to get him the win tonight. He'll go up against K. First pitch 5:40. Vern's on Deck show at 5:30 tonight.
NBA postseason last night, hell of a game between the Cavs and the Pistons. Detroit now down in that series 3-2. James Harden, all the talk about him, to his credit, 30 points last night. He was awesome. 117-113 win. The Cavs up 3-2 in that series. There's no NBA playoffs tonight. They are off the calendar. And then on Friday, they pick things back up with the Pistons, Cavs, and then Game 6 of the Spurs Timberwolves series. Over on the NHL side of things, the Stanley Cup playoffs continue tonight with 2 games. The Canadiens and the Sabres series tied at 2 apiece. Then the late game tonight, the Vegas Golden Knights could wrap up their series against the Anaheim Ducks in Anaheim. 8:30 puck drop.
Next up on What's Trending, the PGA Championship is underway out there just outside Philly. A couple of names you don't recognize at the top, though. Minwoo Lee, is at 3 under. That's where all the leaders are. Spieth and Theegala at 3 and 2 under as well. None of the big names up there at the top. It's playing relatively tough, I would say, because a lot of the leaders are all the way through 17 or 18 or the full round. Outside of it, I did see, however, I don't know if you saw this, they had a golfer get a 2-stroke penalty for showing up late.
What?
Can you show
How do you show up late to a major?
Garrett Higo showed up late, got a 2-stroke penalty for being late to his tee time.
And shot 69 1 under.
How do you?
Damn, so he would have been 1 under, now he's 1 over?
He was 1 minute late to his tee time. And he was there practicing. It wasn't like he overslept. He was 1 minute late to his tee time.
Can we chill on it? It was a minute?
It said he showed up at 7:19 a.m.
Okay,
I think his tee time was 7:18.
Well, a minute seems crazy, but also this is your one job. Figure it out.
Yeah.
How do you? It's a major. How are you showing up late?
He just wanted some extra practice time, I guess. Is what it was.
1 minute. I mean, the problem is it holds up the other guy, and I understand.
The golf part of it is like, get a grip. It's 1 minute, but also football game starts at noon. Your ass better be on the bench. Baseball game starts at 6:40 tonight. You better be standing on the mound,
right?
Correct.
Getting ready to throw. Like one way or the other. These things have firm start times.
I'm glad Jordan Spieth's playing well. It's good to see him at 3 under par right now, tied for the lead.
I haven't seen him play good golf and.
He's been really good he's been really good the last this calendar year, but he hasn't been good enough to win. But he's been in the hunt more than he traditionally has been, which is good for him.
Sure. Scheffler doesn't even go out to 105 today, by the way. Somebody was asking, so a little later until we'll find out what he does.
That is what's trending here on Cody and Gold, and we were excited to start the show today. We announced the 5th annual Cody and Gold garage sale. We're bringing it back. We had to get some stuff situated. We wanted to do it last year. Had to get it cleared. We did. Once again, we are partnering up with the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. Really excited to work with them. All proceeds from the garage sale benefiting the great museum here in town. And we have some really fun experiences. Again, we're working on a few more. We'll continue to unveil those as we get closer to Wednesday, June 10th. That is the day of the garage sale. We'll have our auction site up and running starting at 7 a.m. on Wednesday, June 10th. If you guys have been around the show, you know that there's some really, really amazing once in a lifetime type of experiences, I would say even, having a chance to have a private tour with Bob Kendrick at the museum. That's not something you can just walk in and request.
No.
Okay?
Hi, I'd like a personal
That's not
tour
how that works.
with the president.
There's also a lot of quirky items. There's some fun stuff in there, random, Cody's old glasses. It might be lunch with the show. It might be hanging out with Carrington and Rob. It might be,
the MacArthur's 9th Infantry banner.
Yeah.
It can't be taking up space in our closet anymore. One of you could be the proud owner of it.
We raised, I think, $15,000 or so the last year we did it, which was a couple years ago. And so we're obviously always trying to reach more than that. And I know a lot of people have been asking about the garage sale. When are we doing it? And so we are finally able to officially announce that we got the garage sale back, man.
We got plenty of weird stuff. Somebody said bring back selling old junk. We have plenty of that.
Mm-hmm.
All kinds of random stuff. And then we have autographed stuff from people you wouldn't think. I think we have an autographed Adalberto Mondesi baseball in there. Maybe that's the one you want.
Luis Reese Zamet helmet.
Yeah, Luis Reese Zamet helmet. Look, we don't get the premium stuff all the time here. For the premium stuff, we like to get the premium dollars for the museum, but we do our best. So, and if you ever think, genuinely, this is a very collaborative thing, it always has been. If there's an experience you wish existed inside of this, recommend it. 913-586-7965. If there's an item you wish we would offer up that we've talked about on the show, like Drew's Hooters outfit.
It's going to be in the garage sale. Someone's bidding on that.
So, the old Pasquassi jersey that we had custom printed was in there a few years ago. We're open to any and all of those things. We like to keep it interesting and entertaining for you. We like to make sure people stay engaged. What was that? There was a couple earlier. I mentioned that I was interested in doing a vinyl of the songs because I think that would be funny.
Yep.
What was the one?
Well, we're going to have the
earlier?
Club 610 spots, or I guess not Club 610 anymore. Fan Club Friday. It was Club 610.
Hasn't been Fan Club, yeah.
Yeah.
Hadn't even changed the name the last time we did it.
That's true.
So, there are plenty of choices available to us in the experience game, and we like to make them as unique and specific to this show as possible. Like I said, maybe you could do
Someone wants the Kramer house sitting experience where they get to sleep in Cody's bed, like you allow Kramer to.
In my house?
That's just a weird. I know that you said that we don't kink shame on the show, but that's some weird stuff. I don't care. You guys can
draw the line at that kink.
You guys, whatever it was earlier too in the show. I was telling Mac, there's some weird stuff that y'all are into.
I will say. 2 years I've been giving Cody a hard time why he's letting somebody else stay at his bed when he's not at his own house. It's weird. It is very weird.
I don't think it's weird, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I will say, there's always
would be. Would
somebody
this
has
be
to go to
weird
my
for you?
poker game
Cody.
in my house, but it's then I got to give you my address.
Cody,
can I vet you before? Can I make sure you're cool?
I think that's
would this be where you draw the line? Because you said you know Kramer, coworker. If a random person bid to house sit for you,
my wife would kill me. My wife would kill me. I can't just
yes, that would be.
You know what it is?
That would have to
She'd prefer a random stranger to a listener of this show. And this is not even against the listeners. It's if I invite you to my home, you now know where I live, and honestly, you could probably find that online anyway. I can't imagine it's that difficult.
Yes.
But at the same time, Typically, I don't just like invite people to it. So
yeah, we'll have a lot.
We'll see.
We know we're going to do like a lunch or dinner with the show, the entire show. Golf with the producers is going to be part of this. So those are confirmed things, but we're open to new ideas. I won't say anything. Nothing's technically off limits yet, but we'll see.
We
I
didn't
think
just get cleared by legal, so we're trying to play it cool. Somebody asked you to donate your stents. You said they already threw those away.
Yep, they showed me them after they pulled them out yesterday. They were disgusting. I don't think you want those.
Someone asked for a father figure experience with me.
Oh gosh!
What? Have a catch? Fix something?
You better make sure you have something to get fixed.
Someone phrased it differently. Someone said a daddy experience. That's a little bit different. That's a little different, Cody.
Drew won't take me up on it. Drew won't take me up on the father figure experience. Maybe I could do that for somebody else.
It's a little bit different.
Maybe somebody doesn't like their dad, or just wants this kind of father figure in their life.
And someone already asking the most important question: can you ship items from the garage sale? No, we do not.
We've had
pick
to
up
limit
only.
that. We
No
just
shipping.
don't.
Got to be semi-local. Ability to pick it up from the station if they're items. Experiences, obviously, mutually agreeable date, and you got to make it to the experience that day. So we'll have some more details as we get closer, but really excited to finally bring back the garage sale. We've had a ton of fun with it. I think you guys have really enjoyed it. You guys have supported it amazingly over the 5 years that we've done it. This will be the 5th year, but the 4 years, I guess, we've done it.
We really appreciate it. By the way, the entire Schedule 1 has leaked now officially. The NFL Nerd account that has it, I think somebody else has confirmed. The entire week 1.
Oh, week
not the
one.
whole schedule, but week 1's been out.
Okay.
We already knew the Chiefs game at least for that.
Here it is. We'll run through it real quick. Monday night, we know the Wednesday night football game, Patriots, Seattle. The Thursday game is the Niners Australia game against the Rams. We know Sunday night football is Giants, Cowboys. Monday night football, Chiefs, Broncos. Then in between there, you get Jags, Browns, for those that like red zone, Bengals, Bucks. You get Colts, Ravens, Falcons, Steelers, Bears, Panthers, Bills, Texans, Jets, Titans, Saints, Lions, if this is accurate.
Not very many divisional games,
which
which
is
nice.
Late afternoon window, Commanders, Eagles, Packers, Vikings, Chargers, Cardinals, and Dolphins, Raiders.
I will say, the only one that surprised me there is Bills, Texans. That's a nooner. That's just like a week 1 noon
on the road
regular ass football game.
That one is going to be Nance and Romo. They're going to find a way to do that one.
I mean, even more than the 325, you think? In fairness, I don't know what the other Nance and Romo. They'd rather do that probably than Chargers, Cardinals, or Raiders, Dolphins.
Raiders, Dolphins is going to be,
unless Mendoza's starting, I guess. But
yeah.
Then at least we're talking about something outside of there.
Imagine the Raiders lose to the Dolphins, though. Miami fans would be unhappy. Raiders fans would be too.
Yeah, I don't know. That one's at least interesting, but at least the leaks continue to come out. We'll monitor them. Then, of course, we'll react to the full schedule when we know it's 100% accurate.
When is tomorrow. The Sunday week 1? September, is it the first Sunday? The very first Sunday? Week 1, I guess. Is it the very first Sunday in September, or is it?
No, it's the second one.
Okay.
It's a late start to the season this year.
Yeah, okay.
September 14th is like the Chiefs game. 13th is the first full Sunday of NFL games. So it's actually the full, almost the end of the second week of September before we get football this year. So it's a slightly different, at least.
So essentially we're
energy than before.
4 months away from the Chiefs game.
Yeah. We do get some other suggestions on the text line, by the way. I'll keep an eye on those for the garage sale. I always like unique stuff or unique ideas, and we want to know what you want to bid on anyway, since we're trying to raise money for the museum, who is growing and is trying to grow like crazy. We think it's a cool thing in Kansas City now. Imagine if it's in a facility 5 times its size.
The renderings look amazing for it.
Yeah, and could have a hotel attached.
It is going to have a hotel, yeah.
And so down the road, I'd love the tour of 10 to also come with a hotel night stay for somebody or whatever. So we'll see what happens. But either way, keep an eye out on that. We'll keep more stuff engaged. The Royals, however, I'm stuck in a weird spot with them where I do still think they have talent, the same as I did in the middle of the losing streak. They're clearly not playing good baseball. They've now lost 6 of their last 8, I think, because of this 2-game losing streak, or 5 of their last 7.
They're 5-5 in their last 10. I know that.
And yet, because they had a sweep at the front end of that against the Mariners. So I don't think they're playing bad baseball. In the last 20 games, they're pretty much playing 500 baseball. In their last 10 games, they're pretty much playing 500 baseball. But the problem is at some point, Gold, you've mentioned this, they got to get back to 500 before we can start ramping up the pressure on the team. And they're having a hard time getting back to 500. I think largely because their starting pitching isn't living up to it lately. And they can't win they can't win as many of those close games late where they're getting in trouble. They're 4-7 in 1-run games Is that awful? No. Is it as good as it needs to be? Absolutely not, especially for a team whose margins, would you agree at this point? Their margins are thin. It's a slim difference between them winning and losing right now.
The one constant has been they've been bad at base running and times questionable defensively. And you can overcome that if you're getting the elite starting pitching, if you're having your key 3 and 4 hitters play like they're your 3 and 4 hitters, and Salvi, if he ever gets going this year. You mentioned Vinny. I understand the average has been better.
Yeah.
The runners in scoring position, what's important.
That's been equally bad.
And last night, though, he was able to do that. I think you're right on the starting pitching right now. I mean, Seth Lugo, 2 outings in a row where he has looked average. That's something they can't have happen. That's just the pressure that he's under. It's a reality. They can't afford that. They are not good enough to overcome that right now. And when we were discussing, the road to 500 and the division, the divisional standings is not even the part that I've been trying to focus on, even though now they're 4 back. It is get back to 500, and now they're kind of right back where they've been in the wash. They're back in the same scenario. They're 4 or 5 games under 500. I still will maintain this. Even during the winning streak, I get criticized, I think, from some saying, how are you not back in? They've won 7 in a row. Get back to 500, please. Yeah. And they still have not been able to do that. You said you're giving them until the end of the month. They got 2 weeks to make up.
I thought I was looking pretty good there when they got to just a game or 2 behind 500. But, yeah, that means they got to win 5 more games than they lose. And they're not – look, here's the truth. They're not getting there probably by the end of the month at the rate it's going. They got to take on Boston and Seattle and New York.
St. Louis this weekend.
St. Louis this weekend, who's playing good baseball. And they still got to find a way to salvage a game against Chicago tonight. And so they've still got a really difficult schedule. Look, this is the problem with digging a hole. Over the last 20 games, they're actually 12-8. 12-8 over the course of a season is a 100-win team. It just is. That's how it works in baseball. Over the last 10, they're 5-5. Okay, an 81-win team over that. They're not playing bad baseball. They're playing shockingly average baseball, wildly inconsistent baseball. And now they've lost 5 of 6. That's the problem. They've lost 2 in a row to Chicago. They lost the final game in Detroit, and they lost 2 against Cleveland. So they've lost, not 5 of 6, 5 of 7. And so when you lose 5 of 7 games, well, then you put yourself back behind the 8 ball again, and you got to start getting wins. The starting pitching is who's going to have to carry him out of this. Like it or not, even without Reagans. Lugo, who had a rough night in the early stretch of the game last night. Bubic tonight. Noah Cameron when he comes back around. They need these guys to be the strength of the team again. That's how they won games last year. That's how they got above 500 even last year. The offense is better than it was last year. Is it perfect? No. It's not Gold. It's not perfect. But it is better than it was last year. But the starting pitching has to be as good is a part of the problem. And then they got to figure out, I still think they got a massive problem because any team who has a left-handed starter at this point, even if they're a crappy one, starts them against Kansas City because they know that they get to face Starling Marte and Lane Thomas hitting 3rd and Vinny hitting 6th like last night. They get to, and the guy who started last night is excellent against lefties. He's not just good against lefties. He is awesome against lefties. The hit Vinny hit, the little flare, that was the first hit he'd get up to a lefty this season. So, if you got a great lefty, they're screwed. If you got a mediocre one, you're in good shape against the Royals because you take out Carter Jensen, Jack Caglione, you push Vinny down the lineup, and you're facing Starling Marte and Lane Thomas and Nick Lofton. It's just they've got a massive problem that they don't have a workaround on.
Because they based on the way the front office assembled the roster, they of course, like a lot of teams, will be banking on
all their good players are lefties.
But they're all yes, the way the roster is constructed. But I'm just saying we said this in the offseason at times. It's like, hey, the biggest concern is that they are banking on guys that had career type of seasons, having minimal drop off, and they're banking some players that did not have good years a year ago figuring it out. Well, what has happened so far? Look, Bobby Wood Jr. is still playing at an unbelievable level, MVP type level. Vinny has just simply not been as good. Salvador Perez, I know we usually wait till June or July, but we're waiting for that still, if that comes. Michael Garcia has been very good, not too far off actually from what he was a year ago. The outfield, mixed bag, I would say right now. At times better than you would have thought. It certainly has been better than what it's been over the last 4 years, but that's because the bar was so damn low.
Yeah.
And then we all know about the bullpen and Carlos Estevez and the disaster that has been.
I said I'd wait on Salvi. I mean, it's really hard at this point to argue that it's his body's not.
Well, he's not healthy right now. He's not
just
healthy.
Finally, caught 7 million games.
Will he get healthy this year? And I know he's played through injuries before, but is it finally caught up? I don't know.
The other problem with digging yourself a hole. You can't just give him a week off. And look, telling Salvi take a week anyway is impossible. But
we saw the reaction to that a couple weeks ago. Just asking about mentioning the word mental break, and it caused a whole thing for 24 hours.
Can't take a week off. Like don't have the ability. Got to get back to it. I think what scares me is that I don't want to get. This is like a bigger picture problem. I do not want to get to the end of this year and feel like now the White Sox are more scheduled for success over the next 5 years than the Royals. Like, how would you let yourself get there? You have control over your starting pitching staff. You have control over your young players. You have Bobby Witt Jr. here and Vinny, and you have pieces. You have things in place to be a franchise that is in position to win baseball games for a number of years, 2, 3 at least. Don't let the White Sox jump the order. They lost 100 games 3 years in a row. Used to beat them up. They've won 11 or more games against the White Sox 3 years in a row. Of the 13
that's when the manager starts to get questioned, though, right? I mean, if it gets down to that at the end of the year and you're like, well, we have all the pieces, all the players are there, we're locked in.
Oh, that's a management.
It all just turns to manager at that point. I think it has to.
Yeah, I think it's both. I mean, if here we are, we're talking about how lefty heavy they are. We're talking about certain players not meeting expectations. I mean, that would also be a sign that the front office poorly constructed the team. I mean, I think it goes both ways. I know Hugh is the guy in the crosshairs for every Royals fan right now.
Yeah.
When it comes to decisions, and by no means am I saying I agree with every decision he makes. I think there are plenty that don't make sense. The other night we talked about I don't know why Kolek was still in the game. I mean, we can do that game. I still think it's always that balance of like how much deep down is the manager on a given night actually hurting or helping your team. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I think it is a much smaller amount than anybody wants to actually admit.
If you're saying you have the talent, though, then it's not JJ. It's the manager.
I'm not fully agreeing.
Sure.
I think there's some areas where they do, and there's some areas where they misevaluated the roster.
Or the talent's not living up to it. So like last night's a
good which is the manager or the players at that point. It's not JJ.
That's the Alex Zumwalt thing and why you shouldn't be the hitting coach.
It's like last night's a good example of JJ put players on a field who could get guys on base. Q put them in an order in which they could get on base. And then what happened? Struck out. Vinny struck out at a pitch by his eyes. 2 nights ago, it was Cags and Carter Jensen who struck out at a pitch by their eyes. And
I'm just saying the same people.
No,
if and this is fine. Everybody has a reason for why the team's not good right now. If you think that, well, they just ran it back and the offense isn't good enough, that's not a Q thing. That's a J.J. Piccolo and a front office thing. If it is that J.J. Piccolo assembled a great roster and Q just ruins it every night, well, then obviously you think it's Q. But you can't tell me you think, well, of course they just ran it back and then tell me it's also Q's fault. That means you actually think it's a front office problem.
Yeah, my
the real answer is probably both.
Well, it's a little bit of everything if you come up short of expectation. My issue still remains, which is the only real question I have with Q at the moment is sometimes you seem to play the numbers and other times you ignore them.
More than fair. And it's frustrating.
Last night, Lane Thomas hit against a righty who he's much worse against statistically. That's why he hits third against lefties. He's great against lefties. You said you brought him in because he's great against lefties. He's historically 100 points better against lefties. A righty comes up. You're down in the game. You trail late. Jack Caglione is on the bench, plays the outfield like him. Why can't he hit there? My questions are those.
Yeah,
when the numbers still favor that, why not just do it? Or then they favor Kolek getting out of the game because every number he tells you he's getting his teeth kicked in if you keep him in too much longer. Why is it most of to start the game, he follows the numbers. And then we get in the game and it seems like there's a little bit more variance in it. So that part gets me sometimes, I would say.
My biggest complaint overall still is this offense is still not good enough for you to be treating your 6th overall draft pick as a platoon player.
Yeah,
I agree. It just can't. Salvador Perez is not hitting right now. Carter Jensen, you're asking him to do a hell of a lot. Those two guys and Carter is right now as far as being in the lineup, but those two guys just have to be in the lineup every night. Yeah. Eventually, the long-term plan is for Cags to be in the lineup every night anyway. This team is not good enough. You're 4 under 500 already. It's middle of May. This division is still there for the taking, thank goodness. You got to just have Cags have the opportunity every night to get better against lefties. This platoon thing is ridiculous.
Yeah, I would think. Look, last night's game is not the example for me because the guy is he'd given up 0 hits to lefties. But in all the other cases, Gold, I'm with you. Like in every other case but last night, I'm with you. But it's also, if you're going to take him out of the lineup, you got to have a plan for when they throw the righties out of the bullpen to just shove all your lefties back in the lineup and take advantage. Take advantage of the numbers twice. I understand it puts you at risk of who we have on the bench, who we can. You were trailing. You needed a ball over the fence. You needed a late inning hero. They almost got it out of Bobby Wood Jr. But hey, look, and that's a small one. In the end, I think it's this year, it feels more like the players have been letting him down. Lugo hasn't been as good. Noah Cameron hasn't been as good. These are players you can reliably count on. Salvi, Vinny. These are players you have historically counted on. It's okay to say, I'm relying on these players. They have historically been very reliable players. And that if they're coming up short, be like, why? Drew's point of maybe the manager's not, I don't know.
I mean, from an offensive end, again, the answer to me is
would be Zumwalt, yeah. No, and I get that
for a year.
It's interesting, man. We're just kind of stuck in limbo. I
My
hope they
guess
win
is the
tonight
way
and then
it sure
sweep the Cardinals and make me feel better. I'm not like all the way down like they got no chance, but it's still the same problem.
But I'm convinced we're going to be having similar conversations for 2 more months where they're going to just be floating around 500. And that's where they're going to be and live most of the year.
Yeah, we might be.
I think it's just because you got the second best player in all of baseball, if not the best player. You got a Gold Glover in Mike Hill. You know how good Vinny is because he's been there. You got Salvi, who's a Hall of Famer.
But did
and
we already
Tags,
see the
we know
best?
how good he is because of all he was in college. How are you? Plus the rotation, it was one of the best in all of baseball. So how?
I know
the talent is very clearly there and it's being given to you. But where is that?
Yeah, the only problem
where is the expectation at?
Yeah, no, that the expectation was to win the division. You're absolutely right. The expectation, the bar is high, and there will have to be, if in fact they don't reach those expectations, there will be consequences to that. I will push back only on my only concern right now, honestly, watching Vinny is, have we already it's the April thing, now it's May, and in fairness, he got a hit with runners in scoring position last night. Because of his health, his age, and everything, have we already seen just the best of Vinny Pasquantino? Have we already seen the best?
Based on his age?
Like, we're acting like that there's better to come. Have we already seen the best?
Like
I mean, how old is he?
I don't think so. Let's see. No, he's like, he's 27, 28.
I don't know if you necessarily expect him to get better. It's just if he gives you what you're expecting him to give you, he isn't necessarily an all-star.
But he's not giving you what you've seen in the past, even. This is my point.
I think we've seen the higher end of Vinny's potential.
I think it's hard to say he's washed at 27.
By the way, let me be clear. I did not call him washed. I'm saying
I'm saying, have we seen the
yeah.
peak version of Vinny? The last 2 years, he's hit very similarly. Similar on base percentage, similar batting average, similar pacing RBI numbers before he got hurt. He had way more home runs last year. But if you're telling me his best season is 32 home runs, 113 RBI, and a 264, 323, 798 slash.
No, it's a hell of a
maybe,
year. But maybe. I'm just saying, I don't know if we'll see that ever again, I guess is my point.
I don't know.
We can talk more about this as the month goes on.
It's crazy. If I looked up the 41 games to start last year, it'd probably look a lot like this year's 41 games.
Up next, let's talk some more Chiefs football. The strength of schedule argument. I think it's a little misleading about the Chiefs, plus the random question of the day.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more, getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Graduation season is the busiest time of the year, and you want it to be perfect, so you need to trust Hy-Vee with your important celebrations like we do. Choose from a wide range of budget-friendly catering options like the classic grill out for just $7 per person or the high chai Asian buffet for just $14 per person. And don't forget the personalized baked goods, flowers, and more. Leave all the prep work and messy cleanup to Hy-Vee with full-service catering for any size celebration. So sit back and relax. Your perfect graduation party starts at Hy-Vee.
If the high cost of filling up is weighing you down, lighten your load at Hy-Vee.
This Saturday and Sunday, get a 30-cent per gallon fuel discount with every $60 purchase. Stock up on groceries and stack up the fuel savings. Earn 30 cents per gallon with your $60 purchase, 60 cents per gallon with a $120 purchase. The more you spend, the more you'll save. Your next fill-up could be free. Don't miss the 2-day Fuel Saver event this weekend only at Hy-Vee.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a best man speech, but getting one from some random +1.
I am honored to be standing here today, also confused and a little hungry. Does anyone want to switch entrees? Pretty sure I checked beef.
You wouldn't settle for just any speech, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-1424. 800-499-1424. 800-499-1424.
Royals coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
For over 36 years, Metal by the Foot has been your source for steel, aluminum, brass, and stainless. Located in KC and Topeka. Online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Rob Brennan. We hope you're enjoying Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's biggest sporting event. It's presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. New episodes released every Wednesday on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
We'll get to the random question of the day coming up in about 8 minutes here on Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. Hope you're having a great Thursday in KC. We've got Royals baseball in the air tonight, of course, as they are trying to salvage one in Chicago. We were talking a lot about the Royals there in the first segment of this hour. We also continue to remind you that we announced the Cody and Gold Garage Sale is returning for a 5th year. Very excited to bring that back. Wednesday, June 10th. More details to come, but all proceeds benefit the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. So we're very excited to have that back on the show, and something that we were really excited to start.
We missed it
a ways back, and yeah, we definitely did miss doing it a year ago. A lot of you have asked us, and we are excited. We got some of the stuff cleared that we needed to, thanks to the old corporate lawyers.
Yep. Finally got past you, didn't we?
That's right.
I shouldn't threaten now. Hey, do you think we could do? People were asking earlier about like different experiences and saying, hey, maybe we could do this. What about an experience in Springfield? We can find like a bar. And
we have Drew organize it.
Drew, would you reach out to the same place we went and see if they want to do an experience with you?
I don't even know if I'm going to go on the trip after. I don't even know if I'm going to go this time.
How much would it go for? An experience with Drew, to that bar, with Drew and the owner, just the dinner for the 4 of you. Do you know how awkward that would be?
I'll tell you this. I won't name that or the other place that we were referencing. I'll tell you this. I'm not going to have that cashew chicken at whatever place we went to either. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that was so bad.
You did not like the cashew chicken.
Awful. It was some of the worst Chinese food I've ever had in my life. It was terrible.
Yeah, you really. I forgot. You really
horrendous. And I love Chinese food. It was awful.
I forgot all about that. We'll keep you up to date on the Chiefs schedule.
That was
by
me,
the
you
way,
and
as
Dusty.
well.
Yeah, we went.
Yeah, where was I at? Oh, you guys rode down together?
You were still on your way.
I rode down with Dusty.
I was already down there.
I
going
got
to
down there
Mississi-
later than you.
I was already down there going to Missouri State's football stadium.
That's right.
Yeah, why don't you go to Missouri State and watch a game with Drew? That's an experience.
Yeah, there we go.
Go drive to Springfield and watch a game with Drew. Have some wings.
Maybe we could get a UMKC experience. Then we could do all kinds of different
Mr.
stuff.
Professor, yeah.
I got to reach out to the Royal, see if we can get a hot dog race one. Somebody mentioned that. It'd be fun if I went up against listeners. I'll still lose.
If that's possible or not. Yeah.
I'll still lose.
That
It's
would be
possible or not.
interesting.
We ask questions here. Sometimes we have.
Where was the bad Chinese? I'm not going to name the restaurant. It was
I
in
don't even remember.
Springfield.
Is it an upboard show?
Yeah,
Text line?
we don't
Trying to get us into the gutter.
Yeah.
And just something at the top said Springfield is an asshole. Just like
That's
just
what Logan.
immediately, what, the
based
whole
on
city's
everything
gonna
that,
come after us.
based on everything that Logan, our guy Logan Weber said, because he worked there for a while. That's the same thing
The
he
whole,
said.
the whole city can't come after
Crazy.
us. Relax.
Did you guys know, real quick before we go? So in the college football video game, you get paid royalties based on how much Missouri State was played. They were number 69 in terms of teams played.
Nice.
They got $100,000.
Oh, not bad.
They got $100,000 in royalties because they were played that many times.
Because they were a brand new Division I school, or why were they?
I think
picked so
every
much?
school gets paid a certain amount based on the percentage of, like, if Georgia's played the most, they get like a stipend. And Missouri State was inside the top 70. They get paid $100,000 in royalties.
All right, kudos to them. Definitely kudos to them. I didn't realize outside of it. We continue to monitor the Chiefs schedule release. There's leaks
We
that would put out
continue to
leaks.
monitor the schedule release as
One,
if it's like a
two,
severe
I
weather
know.
storm coming in.
Right now, the leaks include week 1, 2, 4, 7, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So if half of these accounts are right, and some of them we know are true, well, then we got like half of the Chiefs scheduled at this point.
Good.
And I'll say at this point, weeks 13 through 15 or 16 look like they might be the real pain in the ass for the Chiefs. In the early part of the schedule, while might have multiple primetime games because the Colts might be Sunday Night Football week 2, be a little bit different.
We'll save some of the conversation for tomorrow. I know. I was going to ask, which, now that we are having a better feel from this, which would be the road trip you would take and stuff. We'll get to that maybe tomorrow on the show when we have a better map of everything coming up. You're right about the strength of schedule stuff, though, because I think it is misleading, and we all fall into this trap. We're like, hey, they finished third in their division last year. They finished with 6 wins. They had a top 10 draft pick. Why is their schedule so difficult? And the thing we always all have to remember is the strength of schedule is based off win percentage from a year ago. And the roster turnover, let alone maybe coaching staff turnover, is so great in the NFL that I don't really factor in the strength of schedule from last year. I think we kind of know when a schedule on paper is difficult. Your division is going to make up a huge chunk of it, yes. You're playing.
That's 6 of your 17 games.
You're playing the defending champs, and then you're playing the other team that's was in the Super Bowl, the Patriots, also on your schedule. Yeah, the schedule's not going to be easy. But some of these other teams, the brand new quarterbacks, new head coach, I think the Vegas win totals are a better way to look at and average that together of who has an easier or tougher schedule. I do think because of the Chiefs,
a factor of both, might give you a better picture.
Yeah, because of the Chiefs division. Yeah, they don't have a cakewalk of a schedule that you would typically see maybe from a 6-win football team the year before. I also don't think they have the 5th toughest schedule in football. And there's also just the scenario that we all know that happens in the season, which is by November, the team we thought sucked ends up being better, and the team we thought was like, look at everybody on the Chiefs that had the Chiefs on their schedule last year. They were all like, oh boy, that's going to be a tough one. The Chiefs are coming to town.
If you got them in the first half of the season, it was a little harder.
Yeah.
But if you got them in the second half, it was nothing. Look, win total strength of schedule would say the Chiefs have the 10th easiest. So versus the regular strength of schedule, it says they have the 5th hardest. So they have one of the largest discrepancies between the two. So the truth is, Gold, I think it's probably in the middle. If you do win total, I'm going to give you one example of a team.
Yeah.
Because I want you to kind of get a feel for it. The Chargers. They, based on strength of schedule, are somewhere in the middle. Based on win total strength of schedule, they have the hardest in the division and one of the 10 hardest in football. Does this sound like a 10th hardest schedule in football to you is the question. 4 games against the Chiefs and the Broncos. That's not easy, right? Certainly. They get the same 2 games against the Raiders. Then their other home games are Jets, Cardinals, 49ers, Texans, and Patriots. That sounds dicey. And their strength of schedule based on win percentage last year is a little harder, but That's not easy. On the road, they got to take on the Bills, Ravens, Seahawks, Rams, Bucks. They still get the Chiefs and Broncos on the road, obviously.
Yeah.
Their only easy road games are the Raiders and the Dolphins, hypothetically. And so when you start looking at it, like you would think based on strength of schedule, the Chargers have a harder schedule. Once I start looking at theirs, I'm like, no, I see how we got there on win total. Because there's some teams in there whose win total I'm definitely ramping up. Because the Chargers have to face a 6-win team in the Chiefs. That's a harder game than whatever 6-win team is on half of these teams' schedules. So the Broncos schedule looks easier. The Chargers schedule looks easier. Look, it's all going to be a bit of a lie. If you'd done it based on win total last year, the Chiefs, we thought that their win total was the highest in football. Their win total is one of the highest in football again this year. Oh, it's tied for?
I think it still is one of the highest, yeah.
So
10.5. The Chiefs are over under 10.5 this year.
Yeah, it's right back in the same range. But they're good at those over-under numbers. Not for just money. They are a relatively good predictor. Are they way off on one or two teams? Sure. I'm sure the win total last year for the Patriots was like 5.5.
And Seattle was probably 9.5, my guess is.
Maybe lower, right? And so it's not that they don't get them wrong. It's that they get 60 to 70% right. And that's just a better indicator than do 70% of the teams record match what the record was last year? My answer is no. Without looking, there's no way, right?
No, I would agree with that. That's part of the fun of the NFL season is that we think we got it all figured out, and then we get chaos. And the parity in the regular season is great. Maybe we don't always get it in the playoffs, but in the regular season is a lot of fun. So I don't know. I enjoy schedule day, and I know it is just TV networks and times and things like that. But I don't need to watch this show tonight. But I do enjoy the trickle of the entire week of primetime games and holiday games and finding out what teams are playing who. You and I both like doing Survivor as well, and with our friends over at Circa and everything. And so for me, it's fun because you can already start looking at that. How are they going to do Survivor this year with Thanksgiving having an additional game on it, Cody? The Wednesday Eve. Is Wednesday Eve, Thanksgiving Eve, now going to be part of the Survivor contest? Remember how they separate that particular week? Stuff like that is fascinating to me. And then, of course, fantasy football season right around the corner for a lot of people.
We all are, obviously, as we kind of like try to pay attention to it in the strength of schedule and like you said, all that, and the leagues. Drew, how much do you think Chad Ochocinco is a good resource? He has put out 17 straight games that he listed. He put out all 17 games for the Bengals. Do you think he's got the right one?
I think he does.
He put out the whole schedule with a week 6 bye before taking on the Ravens.
I'll trust Chad.
Why would he send that out if he didn't have it? Do you think he has it? You think one person in the front office still? He hasn't played in 10 years. What are his connections?
Probably still has connections there. Probably still has connections.
I would say I'll trust him.
You're going to trust him? You think this? I want to check this later. See who these people
save
are.
It and we'll check it.
See if he knows what he's talking about.
Check Coach Ochocinco's work. Well, a couple of these games we already know, so he's not wrong on those.
Yeah.
Like it's already been reported on the Bucks and a couple of the others. So, but he's got the whole 17 games, man.
All right.
He's got it all laid out.
Who's the Chiefs Ochocinco? I need somebody to do the same thing, please. Thank you.
Dwayne Bowe. Wide receiver who was good a decade ago? It's Debo. Okay. Come on, didn't it? Am I wrong?
No.
Who's we don't have a better comp. Dwayne Bowe to this point is still statistically the best one of the best wide receivers to ever play for the Chiefs.
Yes, he is.
We know he's not the best.
Yeah, he probably fits in that category, I would say.
Chad Johnson is...
The Bengals have had a lot of really good wide receivers.
Yeah.
A.J. Green, T.J. Houshmandzadeh, Chad Johnson, Isaac Curtis.
Isaac Curtis at it. Who the hell's that?
I think he just got elected to the Hall of Fame, didn't he?
Okay, I was like, who the hell's Isaac Curtis?
I legit don't know. Maybe I should, but I honestly
A.J. Green should be a Hall of Famer, but I don't think he will. I don't think he's going to get in.
He's a Bengal Hall of Famer, is what you're saying.
A.J. Green was him and Mike Evans basically had the exact same career through the first 7 years of their career. Through the first 7 years, Mike Evans, of course, has played longer and has a.
He played in a different era, but Isaac Curtis never had a 1,000-yard season, but also different era of the NFL. I get it.
Right? Yeah, but I mean, man couldn't get to 1,000 once. He only got to 900 once. He only got to 800 twice.
He's a Bengals Hall of Famer.
But he's not an NFL
Former 15th overall pick.
Didn't include, that's not even including Jamar Chase and T.
I appreciate you knowing the history of your team because Isaac Curtis was playing 15 years before you were born, Drew. 2 decades before you were alive.
He was probably teammates with Chris Collinsworth then.
Yeah, maybe. I guess at least.
Because Collinsworth played in the 80s too with Boomer Esiason.
Do you think that the Chiefs' win total should be as high as it is?
What is it, 10.5?
I think it's about right. I think they're.
It's at the top of. I don't think it should be at the top of the NFL. I think it should be like a game back at the top.
I think it's right when we consider how open the AFC is. And if I think the Chiefs are a playoff team, a wild card type of team. Well, over under 10.5 kind of is that swing.
Are they second in the AFC? Cody, is it? I don't know. I didn't know if you had it up. That's why.
I don't have it up now, but I think that they were.
The Ravens were the first, right? I think.
11.5 Baltimore. Rams, Bills, Seahawks, Lions, Packers, Eagles, Chiefs 10.5. Texans also 10.5.
So only a single team.
Broncos 9.5. I still think I know they're going to regress, but I love the over 9.5 on the Broncos. I'm sorry. I think they're
14 or 15.
I think they're still
getting
to 10 wins. Come on.
It is hard to kind of look at that.
Do you think they're making the playoffs? If so, I think they get over 10. I think they get over 9.5.
If you think the Chiefs are a
it might be
playoff
as simple
team,
as that.
Yeah, for those teams, it is. If you think they're making the playoffs, take the over on the Broncos. If you think they're falling back and missing the playoffs, is it 10.5 for the Jags?
Texans is what Gold said, which is interesting.
Texans 10.5. Jags are 8.5.
Ooh,
I don't
kind of like the over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it, they made it just low enough. I thought they were going to be higher, and I could take the under on it.
It's weird. I like too many. I think I like too many overs though, because Pittsburgh at 8.5. I know we don't know if Rodgers back. I still like the over 8.5.
I like under on them.
I think they get.
I think
to 9.
they finally don't get.
You think
9 and 8
out?
gets them under over 500?
Their
That streak
own
dies
fan
with
base might
Tomlin.
want them to
If
go under.
Rodgers is back, I don't think they bottom out. If it's Drew Aller or Will Howard, well then obviously I'll take the under.
I think that streak dies with
The Commanders 7.5. You believe in Jaden Daniels 7.5?
Dang. That feels low.
Their roster stinks.
They got some issues.
They got some, on both sides of the football too. We talk about the Patriots wide receivers. Do you like the Commanders? I don't.
Other than Terry McLaurin.
They redid their entire offensive line. I'm not in love with their wide receivers. Their best running back is a guy who was an undrafted free agent or 6th rounder or something. It's small, but it's still it's just not a roster I trust, Drew. That's all.
Yeah.
Random question.
For you, Gold. For you, Drew, over on the text line, 913-586-7965. Remind you can always interact with the show over on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. That's where we got some of the garage sale suggestions over there. We are now over in 4K.
Yeah.
Bright and shiny new cameras. Somebody was asking if the old cameras can be in the garage sale. I believe they belong to the company. Cannot just be hawking them. Yeah. They might be our remote cameras going forward. So we're not willing to cough those up just yet. But if you'd like to see the show in video, it is available over there as well. I actually am asking this question, Gold, based off of something you did last night.
Okay.
Saw you went to the Charlie Puth concert with seemingly most people who I follow on Instagram. Because I was just I'm not watching everyone's concert video, so I had to switch out. But nice night.
It was beautiful out at Starlight.
Did he play some of the hits?
Of course, yeah. He has a new album. That's why he's on tour. But he played the hits. So if anybody's familiar with any, We Don't Talk Anymore, See You Again. Here's funny about. So I almost texted you last night. So Charlie Puth, Starlight, great show, awesome. But See You Again, which Wiz Khalifa is part of.
Yeah.
Cody and I were just in Pittsburgh, last month, and we saw Wiz Khalifa sing that song without Charlie Puth.
We did.
Then last night I saw Charlie Puth sing that song without Wiz. It's just weird that in a 3-week span.
Which one was better?
Charlie Puth, because the song is the song is more about.
I think it is Charlie Puth's song.
It's his song featuring Wiz.
Yeah.
Anyway, but no, you're right. There was a lot. I saw our buddy Joe was out there. I saw a few other people from our station. Heiss was there. Some Greg from down in our sales staff was there. And I just went with 4 or 5 of my friends, and it was I mainly also went because if it was July 20th and 100 degrees outside, I wouldn't have gone. But it was a nice night. I like some of his songs. I think there are songs that everybody kind of recognizes if you go back to 2015-ish.
I like Starlight as a venue a lot. Yep. All that makes sense. But the
What's
question? So the question I have so I saw you out there, and I was thinking about it because it relates directly probably to outgoing level and age level. But at my age, there's a cutoff, and I want to know what everyone's is. When somebody says, hey, Alex, we're going to meet at the bar, we're going to meet at the restaurant, we're going to meet at the concert at, what is the time that you're like, oh, hell no, or not interested? Hey, man, we're thinking we're going to go out next Saturday night. We're thinking we're going to meet at the restaurant at 9. 9? We're going to start at 9? Not at 41. I'm not starting at 9 under almost any circumstance unless my arm is completely twisted. And we did it in Pittsburgh once, and I couldn't believe it. It felt so late. I think my actual cutoff has gotten all the way down to 7:30. If this show isn't getting on the road starting at 7:30, we're not getting the ball rolling. I'm not super interested in beginning my evening any later than that.
So this has started a little bit, but you're 41, so we're 6 years apart. There's certain elements that are trending in that direction for me, but not to the full extent where you're at. Like for dinner, just in general, like I'm not eating dinner at 9 o'clock. Like I'm not doing that. That's crazy to me. But if you're just saying, hey, a buddy texted you, wants to go get drinks. It's a Saturday night, and he's like, hey, we're going to go and get drinks starting at 9:30. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that still.
No, that's
The one that
I have
gets me-
kids and stuff,
Yeah.
so like I'm not starting at 9:30.
That's true. You have kids, you're married, it's a little bit different. The only time for me where it'd be like, it's already like 11, like if it's 11:30 and I'm already out of the house, I'm out. We're not going out.
So where your time is late.
Yeah.
Someone could text you. You could be in
At
your apartment at 10:30
on a Saturday or Friday.
on a Friday night and
Yeah.
said, "Hey, we're going out. We're getting drinks. Come out."
Yeah.
You could still be talked out the door.
Yeah.
No
later than that though.
No chance. Someone not that long ago, our friend Pete, not maybe like within the last like 3 months, on a short notice weeknight, invited me out at
Weeknight
like
is tough.
8, and I did it, and he was stunned. Couldn't believe that I made it out. I said, "This is the one you got me on a good day. The kids were showered. Whatever. Like you just caught me. You found this like perfect window of time in the entire Milky Way galaxy that I could make this work." And so I said, "Sure, why not?" But I mean, again. After about 7:30, man, that is my line. 828, they say 7:30. They said they're 42 years old. From the 620, they said, I'm not leaving the house after 6:30 if it starts. From the 816, they said, this is hilarious because I am the 7:30 bus. I'm 37. I get home before 5 a.m.
Get up before 5 a.m.
Get up before 5 a.m. If you get up early, like I imagine a weekday for Dusty, I imagine you
Not
invite him
going out
out
on
for
a
a
weekday.
9 p.m. But he's also single with no kids.
Yeah, but if you're
That changes the math
if
a
you're
little
waking
bit.
up at 4:15, you're not staying out till 10 o'clock at night on a random Tuesday. No chance.
Not I mean, not. It would
Like
have to be
last night,
special case.
like you were bringing up the concert last night. I think we left Starlight 10:30 ish. Got out of there pretty quick. I was back home by 11:10. Cody, I was home by 11:10 last night.
Okay, that's not bad.
No.
From the 816, I'm 28. There's no way in hell I'm going out after 10. Man, you got to it early. 28 and you're giving up at 10? At 28, I could have been talked out the door at 10. Not commonly, but I mean, or like, I guess a year before that, like, because I had kids at 30. Yeah, no, that's fine. 28, I could be talked out of the house then.
The weekend is where it's just so on a weeknight. There's no way if you text me at 10:30, am I going to get drinks on a weeknight?
What's the weeknight time for you? 8? 8:30?
8:15 at the latest.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say the cutoff's different on a Tuesday night. There's no doubt. Someone says 43 years old. I have a wife and 2 teenage boys. When I get home, my ass doesn't leave. There is no time. What time are you guys going to bed? I don't fall asleep till 11
On a weeknight?
midnight. I don't know.
On a weeknight, I try to be pretty close to falling. You know, it's tough if there's a Sunday night football game. It's different.
You trying to be in the bed by 10?
I usually try to like 10, 15, 10 o'clock be in bed watching TV. Yeah. As far as actually falling asleep, 11 o'clock if I can, but most of the time it ends up being like 11:15-ish.
What's the latest you've stayed out in the last year? You make it to the bar, lights turned on? I haven't done
1:15, 1:30?
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't made it.
Heck, you and I, I guess Pittsburgh was different times, and that doesn't count.
No, and even that was 12:30. I mean, it wasn't like we just started earlier and we're gone all day. What's the latest you stayed out, Drew? You don't strike me someone goes out at all. You
I
go
don't
out?
go. No, I don't go out very often.
We gotta get
at
Drew
all.
out.
If
We should.
it depends, like if it's
I
so.
want to see you tie one off, Drew.
So if I'm with my brother and sister or whatever, like if I was down in Tampa and they wanted to go out and get drinks at 10:15 or 10:30, yeah, I have no problem with that. Like I'm good for that. If it's just somebody like if you guys ask me, probably I don't know 9:30 like would be the late.
Like if on Saturday
I don't have
night-
a problem. If you guys were like, hey, we're going to get drinks with a bunch of people, a bunch of listeners, and you just wanted to go do something, like you go have drinks at Kelly's or whatever. You texted me at 9:30.
Spur of the moment, you'd come? At 9 o'clock.
I would
Saturday-
drive all the way from the Legends.
Saturday night text, 9 p.m. And I say, Drew, we're going to be at Kelly's in 30 minutes. I'll see you there.
I would have to think about it, but I think there
I think I'm getting hard
there
now.
is a chance
I
that
know
I would
I'm
go.
getting a no from
Yes.
you. If I sent you like on a Saturday night,
Okay.
you're in your neighborhood, you're out even, I don't think I'm getting a yes from
Well,
you.
if
at
I'm
9.
already out somewhere else, I'm not going to then go to Kelly's.
But if you're at home, I don't think I'm getting you out that way. It depends on how far it is from your house, too. Maybe I might get.
That's
a
a
yes from
long
you.
drive, and that Uber's a little pricey.
From the 816. My girlfriend is 21 years younger, so I got to be ready to go with her after 8:30 to 9 anytime on the weekend.
Hey, that's the trade-off you made,
So
sir.
that's like the life adjustment thing. It's like, dang, I don't know if I want to do this, but
Don't blame us if you bit off more than you can chew. This is not, has nothing to do with us. That was the other thing I briefly joked about in the air. Not as serious as I am about the spaghetti idea, but when they were talking about the bars being open for 23 straight hours, I'm like, find a bar that's open 23 straight hours and we'll do a show there for 23 straight hours. Not for charity or anything.
Just because.
Just to prove we can do it.
Yeah.
I said, but I do want to have like I do want to have some drinks during that.
Wait, so I'm curious now about that's going out from the 913. Sometimes our beer league softball starts at 8:30 and 9:30 games. On those days they're up to like 2 a.m. Single no kids.
Single no kids is the key part.
That just changes the math on it.
Are you good with games starting at 9 o'clock?
No.
I feel like if you
I mean I don't prefer it. There's a reason probably why I don't play in any leagues anymore. Very randomly, some random listener or like a couple years ago, someone I used to play slow pitch softball with will send me a random text and be like, we're short one guy. Do you have time to play softball? I'm like, what time's the game? And if they'd said 9:30, I don't have the time anymore, Drew. Yeah. Like 9:30? No, you got a 7:30 game and you want me to play right field? Fine.
That is the random question of the day. Up next, let's fill you in on what is now being reported for the entire Christmas slate, which would mean the Chiefs are not on Christmas. We'll see if that is actually the case, but we'll fill you in on that. That's coming up next.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
That wreck really took everything off track. Can't work, can't help with the kids. The bills are stacking up.
Then stop waiting. Call the Car Crash Kings, SWL Injury Law. Car crashes, that's what they do.
Yeah?
Yeah, they go to work so you can get your life back and get paid what you're owed.
Don't get pushed around. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Summer means longer days and more deals at Lowe's. This Memorial Day, shop Miracle-Gro 0.75 cubic foot garden soil, 5 bags for $10. Plus, get select 1.5-gallon red, white, and blue annuals hanging baskets, 2 for $15 to show off your favorite plants. Stop traffic with stunning landscaping and save while you do it. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27, excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
The baseball season is moving along, and it's rivalry week in the sport. And FanDuel is introducing rivalry weekend bonus bets. Bet on a home run this Friday and get bonus bets for every home run that player hits this weekend. So whether you're backing a player on your favorite team or you're simply fading your rivals, there's more ways to get in with the action with rivalry weekend bonus bets. Head to FanDuel.com/local. It's almost written in stone that if you're born in Kansas City, you got to hate St. Louis. We don't like them. They don't like us. That's what a rivalry is based on. So with the Royals and Cardinals going up against one another, it's time to take advantage of rivalry weekend with our friends over at FanDuel. So head to FanDuel.com/local. One more time. That's FanDuel.com/local. Your home for home runs. It's also the official sports book of us right here at 96.5 The Fan. And required. Must apply Blast Bonus Token. Bonus issued and I will drop a bonus back. Expires in the street which can apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When Bill Lambert started Midwest Heating, he realized something very quickly. The most important thing a customer can give you isn't their money, it's their trust. I'm Airman for Midwest Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Midwest and Lennox are now offering up to $1,400 rebates on high-efficiency home comfort systems and 0% 60-month financing with approved credit on these qualifying Lennox systems. Every day, we strive to meet the highest standards in the industry, yours. But we are human. If we make a rare mistake, we make it right, and right away. That's what Bill instilled in all of us. Now, the third generation stands on the shoulders of the past, improves on it, and passes it on to the next. Give us the chance to earn your business. Just dial 943-8787 or go to MidwestHeating.com. Trust your air to the best. Midwest Midwest Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So, even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code WAGON for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WAGON for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's WAGON.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Yo, it's Jay Uso from WWE, and I'm Jimmy Uso. Chumba Casino and WWE are hyped for the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. I know, I can't wait. There's nothing better to do while we're waiting than playing Chumba Casino. Sign up today and you could win a VIP experience with Chumba Casino and WWE for SummerSlam. So what are you waiting for? Play Chumba Casino and enter for your chance to win. Let's Chumba. Yeah.
Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
The Cody and Gold Garage Sale benefiting the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum is on Wednesday, June 10th on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
1 o'clock hour, Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. Hope you guys are having a great Thursday. Couple new items on the schedule front. Again, these are not confirmed yet, but now there's the Twitter account, NFL Nerdington or whatever, Nerdington on NFL has been correct on a lot of these already based on what some of the reporting has been from Jordan Schultz and others. So we'll just tell you the latest rumblings and rumors. The one that just broke during the break is that Chiefs-Broncos on the road, Week 8, 3:25 kickoff. We know the Chiefs are playing on Monday Night Football at Arrowhead against the Broncos. But this would, if this is accurate, the Chiefs would be playing in Denver on Week 8. Fox or CBS, 3:25. So you're probably, I guess it's a CBS game, and you're probably getting Nance and Romo for the Chiefs and Broncos Week 8, if in fact November 1st is accurate. The other thing, and I teased it before the break, is it looks like for the first time in, 5 years, the Chiefs will not be playing on Christmas Eve or Christmas. Thank you very much. If that's the case, I'm happy about that. Christmas Eve, according to the same report, is going to be Texans at the Eagles on a Thursday night. Then on Christmas Day, Packers, Bears, Bills at the Broncos, Rams at the Seahawks. It's a strong slate. Very
Bills
strong
and Broncos,
slate.
that's the divisional round rematch.
Yeah, and then Rams.
That eventually lost Bo Nix for the season.
Both are big-time rematches.
So, look, I'll say, great. Finally. Look, I know that the Chiefs don't like it. The Chiefs have, as you just pointed out, and Harold Kuntz had figured out, between Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, it's been 5 years since they didn't play on one of those days, and you were locked in. So can the Chiefs, if they're not going to do it every year and you can just come to expect it, get one off? Sure. Especially because they are... What? Get a game off. Relax. God, that text line.
I'm over here.
I'm just...
Hey.
Get a game. Get that day off.
Hey. You don't even try to save it now. Don't. You don't need to save it.
You're all the worst.
This anyway. Combined with Vern's drop yesterday would be...
What was Vern's?
Banging each other in the outfield.
That was a slightly different feel on that one. The point being that the Chiefs could use a game off of Christmas Day once, unless they're going to permanently make them that. And if they're not going to permanently make them that, eventually the NFL was going to concede and not put them on their 4th consecutive Christmas Day game or 5th consecutive game on either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. And because they're playing on Thanksgiving night and they got a million other primetime games, I think it's fine for them to sit this one out and put some other teams on the schedule. So selfishly, yeah, I'm excited about the fact that they wouldn't play that day if the schedule leak is correct. There's plenty of them now. They're saying they might face the Broncos for a second time in week 8, which could push them into the top half of the schedule.
I mean, as we said, once you start to get a chunk, it makes all of a sudden we're going to start seeing a bunch leak out because
we got about half the
you can cross-check a lot of it, and it's pretty obvious. But I mean, the biggest thing from today, honestly, other than it looks like they're not going to play Christmas, is waiting for when's the bye week, and then now the Chiefs are going to have 2 games to open up the season on prime time, Monday Night Football, at Kansas City, or I should say in Kansas City against Denver, and then the Colts game as well at Arrowhead. 2 primetime games at Arrowhead to open up the season. I mean, this absolves any of my concern, I guess, about Patrick Mahomes not being ready. There's no way
it's kind of hard for
he's missing 2 primetime games to start the season. No chance.
Even if you were a bit of a doubter, which I certainly have been, that you can just pencil him in for game 1, even if I thought it's better or more likely than not he would be available. The fact that the networks went primetime, hypothetically, if that Colts schedule leak is correct, well, then they're not worried about it. I think it was Schefter this morning on, talking with Pete Schrager, said, well, they think he's on path to be available week 1, and he should be available week 1. I just always wonder if there's a point where, if he says 1 August day, Gold, where it's a little bit stiff after a training camp practice, that they wouldn't look at themselves in the eye and say, no, we still got 10 years left to make sure that this doesn't happen again. It's just like I understand you could be healthy, work as hard as you want to be healthy. There's just a part of it still that makes me wonder, even if you're 98% sure he's fine, are you sure you wouldn't want to just wait the week to get to 100? There's this part of me that says, what is the rush when you have this guy's career, not this guy's season, sitting in the balance, And I'm not saying having one injury doesn't stop you from playing. It clearly doesn't. Lots of guys have these, especially at quarterback, or even if he lost some level of explosiveness, which he might not, then, you'd be fine. He's a quarterback. You can work or manipulate around that. There's still that lingering thing. But the primetime game makes me think, no.
Makes me think he's going to be fine, but also it's the fun aspect. I mean, I guess there's also a negative side, but the fun aspect is if Mahomes and the Chiefs look great in week 1 and 2, then everything's back on just like that, right? If he looks totally unfazed by the injury, if the run game works the way they're hoping it works, and somehow right out of the gate against a playoff team and the Denver Broncos in week 1 at that stage, or the Colts on the week 2, it'll be fascinating to see what the narrative shifts to. There's also the negative side of it, which is if the Chiefs look bad and start off 1-1 but look terrible offensively, or 0-2 or something crazy like that, then it's the complete opposite. The entire country saw it, and everybody's going to be done with the Chiefs already after 2 weeks.
Well, yes. Especially if it's the Colts. The Colts, a team that I don't think is going to be particularly good this year, and will be having a quarterback coming off his own major serious injury all the same, and is obviously worse than the guy you have when healthy. And so that part will change it a little bit on that end too. And so a lot of it is just kind of the schedule stuff becomes interesting once I have the whole schedule, because I do want to know when the bye week is, and I do want to know what their toughest stretch is, which seems like it's shaping up for late December, early January, if you want to be honest. Right now, the rumor has them facing the Rams on the road, followed by the Bengals on the road, followed by the Patriots at home. So it's not like that'd be a fun stretch of games, but also the Patriots might be a little bit worse. And week 12, by the way, reportedly be the Bills. So you'd go 4 weeks in a row of Bills, Rams, Bengals, Patriots. That sucks for the end of the season.
I know the answer
but you
would
and I
be,
would also like the idea that late in the season's a better time to do it because they'll have a handle on their offense.
I know the answer would be neither for you guys, but if you had to pick one to be bad to start the season, just in terms of how they if the first 2 weeks, we don't know how the rest of the season goes.
Okay.
But would you rather pick the Chiefs are 1-1 and the offense looks terrible, or the defense, or they have to score 30 points to win the game?
Oh, 30 points. I'd be fine if the defense looked bad for the first 2 weeks. They used to do this during 21, 22, 23.
You'd rather the offense look really good and the defense really be struggling.
The offense is the bigger question. I think I'm going to the season recognizing that I do think opposite Karlaftis, they're going to struggle to get after the quarterback still. To me, they did not do enough on the defensive line unless they signed Cam Jordan or something. So I think the bigger question, and I think for most fans in Kansas City, would be if Mahomes looks awesome and Rashee Rice is locked in and Kenneth Walker is a great piece to this explosive running attack, and the offense just looks more efficient than it has in a couple of years, I think that would be a big win for fans on top of winning a football game.
Honestly, but the offense have been so bad for so many years. If you tell me right now, you can guarantee me for the first 3 weeks, one side of the ball is going to look a lot better, I'll take the offense. Spags defenses used to take
Slow
6, 7,
process.
8 weeks to get together. And this year probably should be the same. Half of the defensive line that Alex is talking about could get better by the end of the year.
Your first
but
and
our
second
rookie-
corner are gone. Your starting safety is gone. Your starting free safety is gone. Yeah.
It would genuinely make sense, right? It would genuinely make sense. On offense, still Rice, still Worthy, better running back, same quarterback, same offensive line, same tight end. Like, what's the excuse for starting slow? No heroes here to save it. Cyrus Allen's not going to turn the page week 9, I don't think, right? And so their offense, to be good right away, it should be more polished and developed as a unit than the defense to start the season anyway. I would think, don't you? I mean, it just makes more sense that way. So
I
if you
think
give
it's
me the choice,
offense.
I
I would, if we put up a poll question right now, my guess is Chiefs fans, it would be 80% saying offense over defense as far as like what they would want to see be really good the first 2 weeks because of where we've been stuck at talking about the offense and the complaints and how they have just not been as explosive.
Do you think, I was just going back to like think about the schedule a little bit, and you mentioned the Chiefs aren't on Christmas because I think the NFL's released it at this point now anyway. So do you think that they are trying to, based on their Thanksgiving and Christmas Day schedules, the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of Thanksgiving and Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, they're trying to just dominate, right? Like not win the days. They put the best teams forward. All 8 teams on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day were playoff teams. Like all the Thanksgiving games other than the Chiefs are playoff teams. Like, are they just swinging for the fences? They want to bury the NBA? Is the point to like take it over so you know that Christmas and Thanksgiving are ours?
Thanksgiving's always been there. So I think
Yeah,
I think it's the Christmas matchups, I think, are the
It does stand out that all 8 were playoff teams, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They didn't put a single team that didn't go to the playoffs last year.
on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or on Christmas, sorry. Houston and Eagles, Packers, Bears, Bills, Broncos, Rams, Seahawks. That's the 2 final teams in the NFC. 2 of the final 3 teams or 4 teams in the AFC.
I do think they're trying to kind of take that over, I suppose, which is annoying for me just being a basketball fan. And Christmas has always been basketball,
Yeah.
but I do get why the NFL is like, forget everybody else. We're trying to.
We're the NFL. We do it.
Yeah, you and I have always just differed on that whole thing. Like that doesn't bug me as much. Like to me, the NFL doesn't owe the NBA a damn thing. You know, the NBA doesn't owe the NFL a thing. They don't need to pivot from what they've been doing either. I don't believe that when
The
we're
NBA is
talking
not
about
trying
sports,
to do
with
that,
sports,
though.
sure, fine, but like the NFL does not need to be like, oh, you know what? Another sports league, it's their day. We can't schedule on that day. Like that. Why? There's no rule against that. There shouldn't be a rule against it, and I have no problem with that.
I think it's
there's
more
no
of an issue when
reserving a day for a certain league.
I think it's more of when the game is on a Tuesday. Are you? Why exactly are you doing it? Like when Christmas is on a Tuesday, why are you doing it on a Tuesday? Because it goes into the whole 20 games. It goes into the whole Sunday's bland deal. Like and I'm not saying that they need to just keep it on Sundays and that's the way that it should be, but I do think there's something to that. If Christmas is on a Tuesday, I would assume they have it on the week prior as a part of that week. So you would have games based on what they do, based on what they're doing this year. Christmas Eve, so it'd be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Yeah, that's
probably going to happen.
And it includes, but I.
If your point is just that, like,
there's no need for it. What are you doing it for?
Well,
you're also making the Sunday schedule. You're also making the weekend schedule stink.
But I think those are two different things. I agree with you on this. Like, it is crazy that we're having Tuesday and Wednesday games. I'm with you there. But if your argument is that, like, that's the NBA's time, don't mess with it. Like, that's where I differ with you.
Oh,
where it's
I
like,
don't know any team in the league,
nobody owes any other league anything. But if your point is just, hey, I don't like that it's on Tuesdays. What are we doing? More than fair. I'm kind of with you. I college football, same thing. It's like the NFL. Oh, that's MAC night. We can't have a game. Who gives a damn? Like I don't care that the MAC plays on a Wednesday. Sorry, MAC.
I think those two are different because one's college and one is pro. But
and the NFL's king. That's also the reality.
Like for me, I'm not. You don't have to just take a day to try to take a day, I think is what it is. We're beyond beyond just the NBA thing. This goes back into the whole conversation of why are you doing games on Wednesday, Thursday to begin the season? Like it goes back into the whole thing of the slate in which we all like to, and we all have time off and we like to sit down and watch the games. the slate's not good because you're moving the better games to
That'd be my
different
bigger
areas,
complaint.
which
the streaming
it's not
platforms.
necessary. You know, it's not. But I know. But I'm saying beyond just the NBA thing, it's not necessary for you to go to those links just to try to make more money when
Well, of course not. That's
it
yeah, I mean,
blands
that's-
out the schedule and
into a-
it's inconvenient for people, like Cody's talked about with families and all the other
They
things
gotta
like
find
that.
they gotta find their line. They haven't found it yet. People are still
They're-
buying. So
They're pushing the envelope, and they will push the limit, and at some point it's going to backfire for them. I don't think they're there yet, and yeah, like I'm not saying like you have to be accepting of all of it, but like to me, what we're describing, like what the NFL is doing, they're a business. They're maximizing their profits, and how do they do that? Add more streaming platforms, and how do they do that? Get rid of the doubleheader Monday night and instead play on Wednesday night and sell it off to another platform. That's just like that's why they're doing it, and from a business end. That's Roger Goodell's job. He's supposed to make money for the owners, and that's what he's doing.
No, I totally get it. And you know, for the people who want to watch the NBA on Christmas, like me, I did last year. I didn't watch
nobody's saying you can't watch both.
Yeah, the only game I watched on Christmas was that Chiefs game. I watched NBA the rest of the night, or I double box it is what I ended up doing. I watched the NBA because that's what I like. Yeah, it's for everybody. I do think Do we know if it's all on one network for Christmas?
No,
no, it's all over the place.
I don't know the
Netflix is one of the games.
See, that would bother me. That would bother me the most.
I think
actually more than anything else.
Netflix is going to have, I think, 2 of them. I thought, and then I think the Christmas Eve is on a different.
It's on NBC normally, isn't it?
Yeah, so it might be Peacock and NBC. Speaking, we get the schedule release videos tonight. You and I do the same thing. We get on social. We see which ones are funny. Everyone watches the Chargers one, and then we check for the other. Did you see the report earlier?
Yeah.
The NFL will not, I want to be clear, reviewing teams' videos for jokes surrounding New England Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini ahead of Thursday night's annual schedule release per Front Office Sports.
Okay.
The league is letting teams use their own judgment.
Oh, boy.
Regarding potential jokes surrounding that and content between those connections.
Spotlight is on the
Knock
Chargers.
yourselves out is what they're saying.
Spotlight is on the Chargers.
I mean, someone's going to make the joke.
So, yeah, someone's going to make the joke. The question is, does it get, how far down the line is the, like,
Just
is
how
it-
overt.
Yes. Is it just like, hey, it's a picture of a resort in Arizona and that's it? Okay, whatever. Or is it, no, clearly Diana Rossini, Mike Vrabel, and something else going? Like, that's the, how.
Like, do two teams like put them on like the Sunset Beach together, but it's just the two of them as the opponent? Like, how far down the road do they go, I guess is the question.
Yeah, like is it some graphic where it's like the rest of the teams they're playing are watching in the distance and it's just Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini standing on the beach and that's how they announce it's they're playing the Patriots? I don't know.
Could you imagine if you just put like a Patriot and like you put a Patriot and like a Seahawk, like the two mascots just like standing there holding hands, and that's the matchup for the weekend? Someone's gonna go. I bet I said the over under at 4.5 teams. I think we'll reference it. That is my personal over under. I think that's around the number of teams who will be willing to stick it in their social media campaign tonight.
I think if you're a divisional opponent, it should be a requirement.
I don't think the Bills are going to do it.
You got to poke the bear.
You don't think the Bills are going to do it?
If the Bills don't
Cowards.
do it, this is full on brand for the Bills though. It's full on brand. Everybody likes them. They feel sorry for them when they can't make the the Bills are not going to do it, and because they're too nice.
I will say
It's
I
the
agree.
Bills.
I agree with Drew that there is some air of the Josh Allen led Bills that doesn't feel very cutthroat.
It's not.
Like they should hate people more. You should hate other
It's too
teams
nice.
more.
It's friendly.
He should hate more people. You guys should be meaner. To be great sometimes.
Yeah, but that's a
you
sports
gotta
thing
have
in
a little,
2020.
You got to have a little edge.
Some of that is sports in 2026 versus 1996. I mean,
Oh, sure.
some of that, the
No doubt.
athletes are way friendlier with each other
Yeah, they know each
across
other.
the board. This is in baseball. This is in the NBA. This is across the board. I'm not saying there's not still some players that hate each other, but back in the 90s, the players were not as friendly as they are now.
No, there's certainly a different attitude to it. He just seems like he's the nicest of them all.
Yeah.
Like,
Josh
and
Allen
he feels
bad
he's
for
very
him,
likable.
yeah.
I'm a big Josh Allen fan. I think he's great. But I think you might be correct that because of that, people give him a more of a pass in some areas. That's probably fair.
I also just think that at some point, and this goes back to the Justin Herbert part or anything else, which is there's a time in a field in which you can be the nicest person off the field imaginable. We know plenty of that. But then, like, I need to see Josh Allen plays great sometimes because he's incredibly talented. It is very rare where I'm like, that guy's a murderer on the football field and he'll do anything. He'll cross over every dead body.
No, see, I think Josh Allen does that.
Like,
I would
there's-
argue that
he
there's
does that
times
way
where
less than Herbert.
I would argue that Herbert doesn't do that. I think Josh Allen puts his body on the line and has that killer instinct plenty of times on the field.
He does it more. He doesn't do it as much as I guess some of the all-time greats. He doesn't do it zero. And certainly more than Herbert. That's my biggest complaint about Herbert.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure he has that in him at all.
Yeah.
It might be the single thing I like the best about Joe Burrow because he definitely has that kind of like instinct in a football game when he finally gets his grasps on it. His problem is health and consistency.
Sure. I think even like Patrick Mahomes, obviously we know that as well. But I don't know if maybe it happens sometimes with Josh Allen, but there's a moment where you make a play and they do something like they might shrug their shoulders like LeBron does when he gets an and one. Like Mahomes will do something where he'll truck a guy when he's trying to run out of bounds, and instead of running out, he'll truck a guy, and then he'll flex a little bit. Herbert doesn't do that at all. We don't like Josh Allen isn't. I don't know.
Jalen Hurts is the same way. He's quiet, he has no emotion on the field.
Yeah,
but he's also won a Super Bowl and he's been a Super Bowl MVP, so it's not a requirement.
Sure.
I would like my quarterback to be a little more emotional.
It gets your fans again. It gets the fans fired up a little bit. I think it helps. It makes you more of a character.
There's also just a part of, I think, getting in teams' heads when you have the kind of swagger sometimes required to rub it in their face.
When you're good, you're good, and you're going to let everybody know that you're
good.
When
Mahomes counted on his fingers and all that, and they have lost. The Chiefs, in fairness, last year, that was the least swagger I've seen them have ever, noticeably, because they were desperately seeking some amount of it. So it does come with winning and having a reason to have it. I'm not saying that, but it's always so interesting to just kind of see the way you feel or do it. It's hard because I do find myself disliking the quarterbacks who show that less. Like for you, Gold, you've talked about C.J. Stroud. He shows the opposite of swagger. He seems shook.
He sees a teammate get hurt or anything, and he just shuts down.
It's glassy-eyed for the rest of it.
Yeah, you get him phased early, he's screwed.
He doesn't look comfortable. Like Trevor Lawrence, right? When he is dialed in, he just looks like quarterback robot. No emotion, nothing. Just I'm good at this. I do this. But it's at the same time, it's no, I want you to just be a cutthroat every once in a while.
I want you to do a dance. I want you to, yeah. Like when Joe Burrow grittied after he scored a touchdown. It's like, thank you. When Patrick Mahomes counts on his fingers, when Aaron Donald gets a sack and he's pointing to his ring when they aren't even in it, when that's the game to go to the Super Bowl and he's still doing that. I want to show me that a little bit. I like it.
You do I don't know. There's just something about the rest of it that just feels right, I guess, inside of it. Again, we'll talk plenty of schedule tomorrow as it comes out. We want to remind you, by the way, the Cody and Gold Garage Sale is back for the 5th annual. We had to take a year off for legal reasons, but we're back. That makes it sound so much more nefarious than it was. But now that we've cleared the hurdles, we'll be back with the Cody and Gold Garage Sale Wednesday, June 10th. Same way we've done it before, or at least the last couple of years. 1 day of bidding. We start at 7 a.m., we end at 7 p.m. We give you all day to bid on experiences, things that include going out with us to different places or coming in for a fan club Friday. We'll make you guys some cocktails, any of the stuff in between, all capable of doing. And, of course, the weirdo items we've been storing in the closet. I know for a fact there's a signed L'Jarius Sneed jersey, a signed Luis Reese-Zammit helmet. There's the pillows from the couches of the Hallmark movie premiere that Alex was in. We have pillows on the couches from the official Chiefs premiere.
They say Hallmark on them, yeah.
They say Hallmark on them. They say touchdown, Kansas City, a Chiefs love story on them. So maybe if you were looking for some holiday decorations for later in the year, there's a couple of those available. Do we sell those in pairs?
I think you got to sell 2. Yeah.
Because they came in pairs.
Yeah, I don't think you just sell one. I think
took them right off the couches at the premiere.
But
everybody was doing it.
We didn't steal them. Be clear. We did not steal them. We were allowed to take them.
Somebody says you better keep Dusty away from all this stuff. He
That's
did
true.
take
We
the
got to
Whit
lock the
Merrifield
closet
suitcase one
over
time.
there.
I mean, if something's missing in there at this point,
Someone wants to know, what's the cost for a night with Cody?
What kind of night?
We are doing a show dinner. You guys can have dinner with the show.
Hold on. You
I've had several
Cody,
sexual advances in the show today for the garage.
I was going to say, you've kind of done this to yourself today.
I do. I didn't say what does it cost for a night with Cody. They're trying to make it like all of a sudden we're, indecent proposal.
I mean,
I like being spanked.
Bob, maybe a night with Bob? Maybe a night with Bob?
Hey, man.
I don't know.
We like to try to include other people in the station, so we'll certainly work with them over the next couple of days, too. But if there's something you guys feel like experience-wise, maybe a NASCAR race with Drew, There's choices.
Oh, yeah, I haven't thought about that.
That'd be a good experience, right? You like going out to the races? Get one off? That's unfortunate.
You did
That's
it
the short version, too. That's
correct.
The long version didn't help me. That's so crazy. But either way, the Cody and Gold Garage Sale is back. We'd like you to be a participant in it. Wednesday, June 10th. Tour for 10 with Bob Kendrick, all the other stuff. Pretty soon, probably in the next couple of weeks, we'll start having a lot of those items appear on the site so that you can start looking at the items ahead of time and making it. Always custom stuff, always the silly stuff to go with it. Like we couldn't get Alex's stents. He said they threw them away.
I think they would have let me have them. I just did not. It did never cross my mind to grab the disgusting, bloody stents.
Will you be someone's personal trainer for a day? Take them out to the gym, show them your workout?
No, I need a personal trainer. I need one.
I know, but it's our experiences.
I almost guarantee you, Gold, that if you would have said, "Hey, I'd like to keep the stents," you would have been they would have said you were the only person to ever ask to keep the
I don't know if I
stents.
would have been the only person. I bet you there's some other weird person that.
Then
out
he
there
kept
that
the
asked.
piece of metal that they put in his hand.
Again, these were just
when he got surgery.
pieces of.
That's cool though. I mean, if it's the stents that were stuck up your nose, I don't know.
Yeah,
if
the
that's-
stents aren't cool. It's plastic. They're like 7 centimeters, and they were shoved up your nose, and they were gross, mucusy, bloody, nasty.
Was it as bad as you thought it was going to be? Or
No.
I guess in terms of
the stents being pulled out, no. They're just like, take a deep breath, and it felt like they were pulling out a giant booger, if you want to know the truth,
Ugh.
okay? But you asked. And then the worst part, though, then they numb your nose after that. So it's not numb before that. They numb your nose after
Doesn't make any
because
sense.
then they go in with basically
up.
a suction thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I thought he was in my brain. I mean, this suction thing went so far up my nose and it was like a vacuum. I mean, it felt amazing after. When it was happening, it was. I mean, even though you're numbed, you can just tell, like, how far back does this thing go? I felt like it was in my brain at that point in time. So I got to go back and do that again next week. They do that same thing.
Now somebody's asking if my Pasta La Vista shirt can be up for bid. I only have the one.
They want you to give it up.
Oh, wow.
That was tough. Like
that should.
we once had 2 shirts from Angry Runs when they didn't used to sell them. That came directly from Kyle Brandt, Drew.
That's true.
And they went for big money.
They did.
Because they were the only 2 shirts that came in. Plus that fantasy football trophy's back up too.
Did
Person
not get
never
picked
paid
up.
last
Yep,
year.
we got some great stuff. We're excited. We're very excited for the Cody and Gold garage sale. All right, up next, let's get to what's trending. We'll keep an eye on any more schedule news. I think we have like a 4 to 5 window chunk now of the Chiefs' schedule figured out, plus some more on the Royals and what they're expecting tonight.
You're listening to Cody and Gold.
We're going to try to tickle your tonsils.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Hi, I'm Carter. And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack. Jack had a home he needed to sell fast. And Jack thought he had it all figured out. So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers. Jack chose the highest offer. But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out, leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do. Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer. Jack got suckered. Make sure you aren't hung out to dry. Call our dad at Rex Buys KC. Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals. No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises. Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process. Now, don't be like Jack. Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Ah. Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi, it's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
I need a little ranch, step to the ranch, come on, meet me at the
Introducing the new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club Sandwich. With that juicy Chick-fil-A chicken on a buttermilk ranch bun, jalapeno ranch sauce, and pickled jalapenos, it's a little ranch with a lot of kick. The new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club with original spicy or grilled filet. Available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
Pros, save more on the materials you need to get the job done, inside and out, at Lowe's. Right now, get 10% off in-stock Trex Naturals decking, now available in more styles. Plus, get 15% off select custom entry, interior, and storm doors. Then, we'll deliver it all straight to your job site to help keep your jobs moving. Get the brands pros trust, priced right, and ready when you need them. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27. While supplies last, selection varies by location.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. Royals coverage is brought to you by Peter's Clothiers. Need a new suit? This week only, Peter's Clothiers is taking half off all Jack Henry suits. Choose from a selection of colors, styles, and sizes at Peter's Clothiers. But hurry, this sale ends soon. Half off Jack Henry suits only at Peter's Clothiers, 124th and State Line Road.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Rob Brennan. We hope you're enjoying Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's biggest sporting event. It's presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. New episodes released every Wednesday on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
Number one on what's trending, the Royals trying to salvage one in Chicago tonight. 6:40 first pitch against the White Sox. Chris Bubich on the bump. The Royals now 5 under 500. Vern's on deck show is at 5:30.
Turn my mic on. Next up on what's trending. It's been a while since I got bad about that. Hey, twice, dumbass. Twice today. Next up on what's trending, the PGA Championship taking place just outside of Philadelphia. Couple different guys in the leaderboard, 3 under for anybody who's gotten through their round. That includes Min Woo Lee, Theegala, and a few others, and a pretty decent crew at 2 under. Obviously, a few other guys underway. The funnier one is Garrick Higo. Higo? How's he pronounce his name, Drew?
I couldn't tell you. I think it's Higo, but that might be dead wrong.
He shot a 69, which would have been good enough for the best or tied for one of the better rounds in the game. He shot a 3 under. He's only at 1 under because he took a 2-stroke penalty for showing up 1 minute late to his tee.
That's crazy because Bryson, the one guy who's struggling a ton is Bryson DeChambeau. Did not have a single solitary birdie on his card. I think he finished at 7 over par for the first round, maybe 6. I can't remember, but did not play well at all.
NBA Finals, of course, still a month away or so, a month and a half away, but the playoffs have been pretty darn good. The Cavs have a 3-2 lead now on the Pistons after a 117-113 win in overtime. No games today. We got 2 tomorrow. That'll be Game 6, Cavs, Pistons, and Game 6, Spurs, Timberwolves. The Spurs up 3-2. Over on the NHL side of things, Stanley Cup Finals still also a little ways away, but the Stanley Cup playoffs have been a lot of fun. Yesterday was the Avalanche wrapping up their series against the Minnesota Wild 4-3. They take that one in 5. Tonight, we get 2 games. We get the Canadiens and the Sabres, series tied at 2 apiece. We get Game 6 with Vegas and Anaheim. The Golden Knights could wrap up their series tonight.
Lastly, on what's trending, if you want some Chiefs content this afternoon, stay here. Makes it easy for you. Chiefs head coach Andy Reid will join Carrington Harrison live today at 3:15 p.m. So that's Andy Reid 3:15 p.m. today, right here on 96.5 The Fan.
That is what's trending. We'll talk some Royals in just a couple minutes, but we now think if you base it off of reports and some of the rumors, we can piece together some chunks of the Chiefs' schedule, specifically the back half of the Chiefs' schedule. So Week 12, that's pretty much confirmed at this point. Thanksgiving night, Chiefs at the Bills in Buffalo. 7:20 kickoff, NBC. Week 13, based on some of the rumor accounts that have been accurate to this point, based on what has been confirmed, the Chiefs Week 13, it's looking like we'll travel to L.A. to take on the Rams. That would be a short week, Thursday night football game. So you go Thanksgiving on a Thursday night, obviously. Then the next week, Thursday again. Then Week 14, the report is the Chiefs would go on the road to Cincinnati for a 3:25 kickoff. So that's 12, 13, Week 14. Week 15 would be Patriots in Kansas City, Monday Night Football. If that is true, that's a hell of a 4-week stretch.
Yeah, and look.
And it actually goes beyond that. There's some reports that the 49ers could be in Kansas City right after.
So that's a lot of playoff teams. That's some of the better teams in the NFL over the last 5 years. I don't want to say that your opponents are everything that late in the season, knowing that last year, the end of their season looked kind of easy, and they lost a bunch of those games, but they also lost their quarterback, and we're not a good football team. And the thing about the Chiefs, and where I try not to get too hung up on, is if they're good and they're back at it, the difficulty of their schedule does not matter as much for them as it does for other teams. If they're playing at their maximum or anywhere close to the level they were anywhere before last year, they'll win more games of those than they'll lose. Right. They'll lose some of them, and they'll win a lot of their other games in the earlier part of the season. And the truth is, same thing as I said earlier, I would prefer their schedule be backloaded. Just for the safety of it with Mahomes and for the comfort of the new offensive weapon and the young defense and a million other reasons why. This team could use a fast start for a variety of reasons. So if you're going to tell me their toughest stretch is weeks 13 through 17 or 12 through 16, honestly, I probably would have taken it before you even gave me a look at what the schedule was looking like.
I mean, it looks brutal, but
it does.
And it's fun to talk about, and here we are. But as you were kind of laying out, all it takes, one of these teams, quarterback has an injury or star player has an injury, and the vibe around that game is so different. People looked at the Chiefs on their schedule in the final few weeks last year and thought that was going to be a tough game. It turned out to be easy. Chris Oladokun was playing quarterback. So many things can change. So many. But yeah, on paper, which is all we got right now, it's a hell of a stretch on the back half of the schedule for Kansas City. That also means, though, it's looking like Jets and Cardinals both are going to be in the first 10 weeks of the season. I like that.
Yeah, the schedule leaks right now have them taking on both the Colts and the Raiders in the first 4 weeks. You had the Jets or Cardinals in a week 3 or 5 situation, fine. That's a soft little landing spot for the beginning part of the season. It's just interesting to continue to see it. And the NFL's 5 games between the 3 days around Christmas, 5 games for the 3 days around Thanksgiving. It's like they are loaded up. More Saturday games than ever. They got rid of the Monday night doubleheaders so that they could bring more of these games in. I don't think it's unfair to ask if they're stretching themselves then or if they've gone too far. But to this point, the market still has not found that break point. So until it does, they'll probably continue to stretch it out further and further and further. So we'll get you even more, obviously, tomorrow as we'll actually have the schedule. Plus, I'm curious, how the Chiefs schedule, what we think about the Chiefs schedule release video,
Oh, yeah. No, tomorrow will be plenty to talk about when we actually have the full thing and the picture and what we're looking forward to. And of course, the stereotypical very early thoughts on how they start the first month record-wise and everything like that. Tonight, though, the Royals trying to get back on track. And if they don't, we might have Vicky calling into Vern again.
This is horrible to watch. I have to turn the game off. Can't watch them lose. I can't see pitchers giving away games when the batters are getting runs. You can't do that. What is wrong with a manager not letting Lynch go? 5 innings. Half an inning, ain't just going to cut it anymore. I'm paying too much to watch the game. Yeah. To have no production from people who were supposed to produce. Am I not correct?
Not sure.
Well, yeah. They're getting paid to do the right job. They can't do it, then say, I can't cut it, so get out of the game.
I really did enjoy that call.
Vern. Yeah.
She sounds like she's been smoking. She's
Vern.
been smoking Marlboro Reds though for the last.
She sounded. Somebody mentioned
decades.
she sounded like.
Am I
like,
not correct?
Not sure.
Someone said she sounded like the Brandon Bean lady on.
Brandon Bean.
Yeah, that's not too far off. Honestly, they both probably smoke in the same pack.
I'll say
actually. That's very, very true.
Vern mentioned something on our show on Wednesday, and JJ had hinted at it when you were gone Gold on Tuesday. I don't know if you caught JJ Piccolo or not on the show on Tuesday. I think one thing outside of the starting pitching and the stuff we mentioned earlier that are obvious problems, they are, in my opinion, have put too much on the shoulders of Carter Jensen. He is an everyday player, and I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be an everyday player and all those other things. They are asking him to catch most nights, hit most nights, be a fifth hitter, be a middle of the order hitter for their team. The guy's had 60 career games, and somehow they've turned him into like the third most important or fourth most important player on their offense. He's only behind Vinny, Garcia, and Bobby. And Bobby's been incredible. He's AL Player of the Week. He's going to be AL Player of the Month. He's been amazing. Yeah. He's got like an 1,100 OPS since the beginning of May. So but they've turned him into, because of the catching part of it too, he's like one of the most important players on the team. Like they put too much on him, and they've openly admitted it. But Salvi's injury and the fact that, I don't know if he's ever going to be healthy this year, has caused them into this, or forced them into the situation. And it's putting a strain, I think, on Carter. Because to hit at the level he's supposed to hit is hard to do while you're an everyday catcher. Salvi's a unicorn. That's a rarity. You don't see that a lot. I think we need him back in the DH role more often, but they can't do that until Salvador Perez is healthy. So they're stuck between a rock and a hard spot. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the reality of their situation they're in. I think long term, there's a chance this pays off in a big way for Carter Jensen. Like you're being forced to do it. Some mental lapses, maybe on the pass balls, has been part of the problem. Stuff that just won't happen later on in his career. The issue, again, with a lot of these things we've been discussing with some of the young pieces on the team is this is not a developmental year. This is a year in which they're expected to win the division, go to the playoffs. We know the bar is high. They've created that bar as well. And so, while you're right, there's a lot on this plate, but it's like, in a little bit, it's kind of like too bad. Like this is what you have to work with. This is not a year where it's a growing season for anybody on this roster. It doesn't mean players can't get better. And Carter Jensen, by the end of the year, will be a better baseball player than he is today, I'm sure. But the growing pain stuff, like they need it now. They're already 500 or 500.
500. So they're right back. They got to win 5 games in a row just to be 500. I was hoping they would be there by the end of June. And if not, well, then they're really stuck in no man's land. You can be a 500 baseball team for a little bit of time, and especially in this division, and then eventually close the gap. Fine. Mm-hmm. Fine. I'll wait for you to get hot when you got your starting pitcher back and your starting catcher's healthy. But it is a lot, and I do think that it's having an impact. It has been a long time, maybe Bobby Witt's rookie season, just because of how good a player he was, since they put a guy with 60 career games at this point. They wouldn't even put Jack Caglione on the field every night. He's played more games than Carter Jensen, but they don't have a choice. They were taking it a little easier with Carter Jensen, as in, hey, you don't have to do everything. You don't have to be in charge of an entire pitching staff and in charge of your own. You got to hit better than every catcher in Major League Baseball because you're a 5 hitter, and every other catcher in baseball worries about the starting pitcher that night and their hitters that night and hits 8. And they're just happy if you get on base or bloop a single. He's an important hitter to their offense. The other part is the division is playing slightly better. So it's not just like, the Guardians all of a sudden, remember they were just 500 a few days ago. They're now 3 games above 500. You're 5 games below. Now that's only 4 games in the standing, and the Tigers are in the same spot as you, as are the Twins. And I still don't think the White Sox are going to play great baseball the rest of the time. But while you were losing 2 in a row and 5 of 7, the Guardians won 3 in a row, and the White Sox won 4 in a row.
And that's the thing. And the White Sox are clearly not the same White Sox. So doesn't mean they're going
to.
I don't know if the White Sox are going to win 80 games or 72 games. I don't know where the dust will settle.
But it's not going to lose 100 like the last 3 years.
They're not going to be a 58 or 63 win team either. I think they're going to be closer to a 70 win team.
They won 41 2 years ago. 41. Do you know how hard it is to only win 41 games in Major League Baseball?
That was one of the worst records in history then, yeah?
Yes.
Had to have been.
I think it was the worst in a 162-game season. Or maybe the Rockies just broke that.
The Rockies have been really terrible, too.
Oh, man. There's been a couple the last few years. Nope. 2024 White Sox still hold the record for 162-game. Modern record, 41 on 121, a .253 winning percentage. The worst in baseball history. They broke a long-standing modern era record of 120 losses by the 62 Mets. That was 2 years ago, and they're 21-21. I think that's what's been so frustrating about this team is I still stand by this. And Gold, I think you'd said it earlier, like, hey, is this the best version of Vinny we'll ever get? Last year, maybe.
I think statistically we might have already seen it.
30 homers, 120 RBI, essentially. It's going to be tough to beat. There's no doubt about it. But when you look at, like, they have the second best player in the sport going into the season, one of the better rotations in the sport.
Gold Glover and Michael. Yeah.
And Michael Garcia's having a great season, too.
Yeah.
You got young players who are supposed to be really good. The problem lately, I do think, is that the starting pitching hasn't been what it was last year. And so lately that they're like 500. The offense has got enough going that they should be more competitive. But the starting rotation's in a bit of a lull stretch. Reagan's not as good, or been hurt. Noah Cameron not as good. Lugo had a bad start last night. Like, those things have built up a little bit. They're still 5-5 in their last 10. They're 12-8 in their last 20. I can extend it out, and they're still playing better baseball. The problem is they got to 9 games under 500.
That was always
so they still got to catch up from there.
Always the biggest problem. It's why the trend that was out there, 3 weeks into the season about the average wins for teams that start the way, in Royals history even, that start the way, and it's like 68 wins. And then the best win mark was like 79 or 80. It is really difficult, even if you're playing better baseball, to dig out of a hole. And that's why it looked like they're about to get to 500 again, and now they're back to 500. It's really challenging. Someone is correct. The Royals, since Hawaiian Bros cut back on the promotion, haven't scored over 6 runs. I'm just saying.
Wow. So they could have just kept the promotion up.
Haven't scored over 6. I missed that show the next day. I was fired up.
You were gone for that one?
That was happened on the Wednesday night.
That is a baseball thing to be.
Yeah, man.
So Hawaiian Bros curse. What's the record since then? They're like 2-5.
They've won some games since then. They just haven't scored over 6 since then. That was disappointing. I was loving that promo. It was a good thing, Hawaiian Bros. We had a good thing going. I still went there last week. Or
is this where you guys are at? The Royal season is over. They failed.
What's that?
From the 316. The Royal season is over. They failed. And no one
season's
will
not
be
over.
fired. I think
now you might. I always love this. This is the text we get. Like, and my buddies will text me this too. Like, it drives me crazy. They'll text me in April or May, like, season's over. And I'm like, stop. We're 20% in. And then in September, when they don't make
a quarter of the way through the season.
I understand. And look, right now, I don't think they're making the playoffs either. But my point is, like, to say it's over is ridiculous. Don't text me in September telling me you told me on May 10th that the season was over. No, that's not you being correct even. That's just you giving up on a season when there's still 100 games to be played.
The Bobby part of it is you can't waste these years with Bobby.
For sure, because who knows if he's going to
opt
out no matter what.
He's probably got 3 or 4 more years at this level, at least.
Well, he's
maybe more. But he's hitting 306 with a 378 and an 884 OPS. He is leading baseball in hits. He's
one of the best 5-tool players we've ever seen in baseball history.
Yes. So please don't let him not be a play. He leads baseball in WAR. Please let him play playoff games.
But this team, for a team that was already going to struggle to win, have 5+ game winning streaks on a multiple time basis, they need it because of just how the hole they dug themselves in. They were not going to do that while Cole Reagans is hurt, while Noah Cameron's hurt / not playing well, while Vinny's not playing great. Salvi hasn't figured it out yet. Like, in the bullpen is the bullpen. Like, there's too many things going off. We should not be shocked that this team is not suddenly 3 above 500. They were already struggling, and then now they've got some of their key pieces they were counting on not performing
or not available.
No kidding, they're not winning baseball games right this second.
You do realize
it's a big problem.
If this holds, Bobby Wood Jr. will lead baseball in hits 3 years in a row.
Yeah. The guy needs an MVP award.
211, 184, and 52. Well, the team's got to be better for him to get the MVP this year.
If they end up being a 70-something win team, he's probably not going to win it because of that.
The MVP odds right now probably have him like 3rd.
Judge is his favorite still, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I get it.
He's on a winning team.
Bobby Wood Jr. over at FanDuel, he is plus 500. So he's gone down. It's 5-1. He was like 6 to 1.
Aaron Judge, Yordan Alvarez.
Yordan's having a hell of a year. The only thing, not that I want anybody to get hurt. I'll believe Yordan when he's still playing in July. That guy just can't stay healthy. But Yordan's incredible, but he just can't stay healthy. And then
Shohei leading in the NL?
Minus 320.
There's not even a point of mentioning the NL side. What's the point?
Matt Olson.
No one can win the NL MVP. The question is he also the favorite for the Cy Young over there too?
He is not.
Okay.
That would be Paul Skeens, who everybody thought was having a slow start to the year.
He had
and
a
his
6-run average.
1.86 ERA or whatever it is.
0.01 worse than he was last year.
I did like that tweet. Somebody had pointed out, they're like, yeah, Paul Skeens is great, but
he's fallen off.
He's gotten worse every single year, and it literally showed his ERA of 1.96, 1.97, and 1.98 over the last 3 years.
Falling off, guys. He's falling off.
Insane, honestly.
Yeah, it's incredible. He's not going to be a Pirate forever either. Unless they got some version of.
No, he's got a year or so left in Pittsburgh.
That's what I appreciate this about the Royals in retrospect, that they took the swing and they paid Bobby Wood Jr. and they got it right. They gave that guy triple the highest contract they had ever handed out, and they got it right. They got it very right. But at the same time, I do think winning matters to Bobby. And so, like on Monday, I'd said, I think Kansas City's a great fit for him as a city. And listening to him in postgame over the weekend, I think like the city and the atmosphere and the way that I think it all fits Kansas City. The one thing that currently doesn't fit Kansas City is the winning. I think he wants to win. I think he wants to be an all-time great. I think he wants his name etched in stone one day. And he can be a Hall of Famer and play every single game in Kansas City. But how many playoff games will he get to play in? How many playoff series? You got to prove to him that this is the kind of team. It's kind of why I might be pro early trade this year for the Royals. They got obvious needs, a right-handed bat and a bullpen arm.
Here's the problem. Everybody else thinks they're in it. Nobody's trading early.
Well, there's already been 2 trades.
Oh, Patrick Bailey and the Giants. Okay,
I'm just saying there have been 2.
Yeah, yes.
And I'm not saying
JJ kind of alluded to that, Gold, when you were out.
I'm not saying it's a bunch.
He joined Bink and
there have
Cody.
been. I bring it up because there have been 2 trades already. So it's not like it's not a million trades, but it's not 0 either. So it's it's worth at least making a call. He said nobody called them yet. Has anybody make a call for you yet? He's like, no. It's like, yeah, I think if you're the one buying early.
Yeah. But
you got to be
my
the one
guess is
calling.
Cleveland called the Giants about Patrick Bailey. I don't think the Giants called Cleveland about Patrick Bailey.
They were like, oh, you want to trade already? All right, I guess what you got. Let's get inside of there.
Man, I don't know. It's this team. They're so frustrating because they're just hovering around this same range.
Yeah.
This 3 to 4 under, now worse
3 or
than
4
that.
games back of a playoff spot.
And it's going to be that way, I think, a majority of the season.
It might be.
But we're going to still be like, can they go on a run or not? Like, we're just going to play this game all year.
Maybe.
And fortunately, the division might allow them to play that game all year. Versus another division, it'd be over very early.
Well, because the thing is, like, if you had told me, oh, they're 3 games back of a playoff spot on July 25th, I'd say, okay, they're giving us something to play for. The Royals are in it. Do they need to play better baseball to get it? Sure. But I'll take, what's crazy is they're 4 games back in the division. If you tell me on July 31st they're 4 games back in the division, I'll take it. But my fear is that they will. But now I'll take it. Not going into the season. I'm saying now.
No,
I'll take it.
I'm just more rolling my eyes at it because we just know that 500 is not going to win the division. So I don't really care yes, they're 4 back in the division, but they're 5 under 500. They have to, at bare minimum, get to 2 or 3 games above 500 for them to truly have a chance to win the division in August or September.
It's true.
That's why it's like I really the division standing thing is such a misleading thing.
It's not misleading on July 31st though.
Okay.
Because it's misleading now. On July 31st, we're 60 days. We're a sprint away from the end of the season. So at least it's
You're just
attainable.
saying by the time we get to the deadline, you'll buy into that number more.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes. I'm not saying so much now. Now is just the same thing you're talking about. They just hover and do all this stuff and hang in there, and it's just kind of stuck in the inside of it. And it's just a little bit weird, I guess, on that end. So we'll see, I guess.
Yeah,
which way
they're definitely in neutral, and they're slowly rolling back down the hill, though. Unfortunately,
Well, let's hope that they. And Gold, good for you describing how to drive a car and stick.
I worked hard on that one. It took me a long time to come up with. I was thinking about that all day. Yeah,
that was one of the things when I'd asked a random question of what are the things you wish you'd learned. Someone said, "I still wish I knew how to drive a stick."
Same.
Drew mentioned it.
Yeah,
and I mentioned it's another fatherly thing we could do. Maybe we will make that an experience. You need 2 hours, and I'll teach you how to operate a saw, tile.
Liability
Johnny
issue.
Plum was
I don't
gonna
think
hate
corporate
this.
lawyers are going to like that.
Drive-
I would say
drive a stick.
for the garage sale that we are bringing back. If you're just
Play
tuning
catch.
in on June 10th, the Cody Gold garage sale is back, benefiting the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. Someone did suggest, Drew, they want an experience where they can jog shirtless with you.
I saw that. I mean,
that would be so uncomfortable. Some ripped dude just shows up, and then you take your shirt off, and you guys are jogging together for a mile or two.
more power to you. If you want that to be a thing, I suppose that
Drew
that can work.
So flustered by it.
I just don't know why you'd want to. I mean, if you're.
They saw your shirtless selfie, and you're jogging a year
at least
ago.
the text line earlier asked if they could be the big spoon with me. At least they're just asking to jog
wait,
with you.
hold on. That was actually a text. Somebody actually texted that?
Yes.
Again, you guys don't kink shame. Y'all got some weird stuff going on.
We don't kink shame.
In your brains. Drew will, okay? Because some of that stuff is crazy.
As a unit, we've agreed to that.
So some of it might be a joke, but anyways.
Yeah.
There are some weird things that people are into.
Yes, that is true.
behind closed doors, you know, people.
I do like the fact, Cody, that you said you could have a catch with me outside. Like they're going to show up to the station after and
We'll spend a couple of hours together,
around
father and son. You won't take me up on my, hey, I'll teach you some things, Drew. We can, you know, it could have a mutual benefit, you know? You wouldn't let me teach you how to tile or you wouldn't
Someone
play
said,
catch.
Drew, quit being so awkward. Just let it happen, bro.
He's got a shirtless jog. His Hooters outfit, for those who are asking, will be up in the garage sale this year.
Maybe the person that wins that wants to bid on the Hooters outfit, wear that while going jogging with Drew.
Oh, man. That would be fun. Making Drew jog next to it.
That's worse than him showing up shirtless and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Shirtless is way more normal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Way more normal than running in that.
I would agree.
That thing is like a size small women's.
I will say,
it's not
those shorts were problematic. Problematic.
Yeah. It was funny.
Couldn't be ball maxing in those, man. You'd be running into a problem.
Maybe that is the ball maxing.
Having the sunburn that I had as well, that would be tough.
Yeah, you are burnt, man.
I'm better now. I'm starting to peel. You guys show. I guess on the back of my neck, I'm really feeling pretty good.
Cody was taking pictures of Drew's neck earlier today. How about that?